on, show us live. Any day now, you can show us live. I believe in you. You can do it. Any day now, YouTube. Gonna go live? And it shows I have an excellent connection. There we go. Alright. That's where it took about 30 seconds to go live. Anyways, yes, we're on to night 2. DSP reacting to his own documentary. So many lies, so much bullshit being spewed. Let's watch it together.
Here and welcome to night 2 of my live reacting to the Joon the King documentary, The Eternal Downfall of Darkside Phil. Yesterday we covered a lot of ground. The whole first hour of the documentary covered my early days in the fighting game community and Street Fighter competitions, then how I got into YouTube early on, early reception, my original channels, copyright strike issues, a lot of stuff. And where we left off yesterday, as a quick recap here, is basically when I started going out with my ex, my now ex, and I started branching.
I love that he never calls her by her name. He never says Panda Lee. He always says my ex. Now, DSP, at the time you would have been, what, 30 plus years old? And yeah, you would have been like 35. You only have a single fucking ex? You've only ever dated one person in your entire life. I don't know about you, but that's kind of fucking weird, DSP. At the age of 35, you've only ever had one girlfriend. So when you say my ex, you only mean one person. No, not my first ex, my second ex, my third ex, my ex from high school, my ex from college days. No. Literally, only a single fucking ex-girlfriend. One. Uno. Ichi. One. Kind of weird, that DSP. Be 35 years old and only have one ex-girlfriend.
Out from doing just gameplay content into other things, notably Project 7. And that is where we ended. It was the perfect time to end it there because it was the end of a topic and moving on to a new topic. And I said, let's call it here. So tonight, that is exactly where we will be.
And it gave him time to come up with new bullshit lies and excuses.
Hour of the documentary tonight. If you want to know the truth, I think there may be some stuff coming up in here that, I'm actually not fully aware of the full story of.
How would you not be aware of the full story? It's a documentary about you. Guys, I was too blackout drunk to remember any of that. Taclonius, how's it going? But Vegas was probably worth it, I'm sure.
At all, because I don't really know how much this goes into detractor content and knowing about the detractors and what they've done to me and things like that. Like, I only know from my perspective.
Reee.
I think that this is the beginning of the online movement against me, is what's covered tonight. Probably this is how you don't play, and then the original groups of detractors like the SOK and
Mitch,
stuff like that.
How's it going?
I really don't know that much about that. So this might actually be quite interesting. Okay, and I'm very excited to see where this goes tonight, and go from there. I think we're gonna hopefully if we get the right pacing tonight, I think that we may actually get to hold on because I'm gonna play the audio. No, I muted it. Good. I think we might actually get to the incident, and then
you better get to the incident
to the point with the machinima deal and stuff that happened. But I'm not sure. Like, we'll see how far we actually get tonight.
Nice,
depending on what I have to say about all these different topics. It also depends on, to what extent Joon went into detail on said topics, because I don't know.
Except he's already watched this documentary multiple times. It's
stressful to go through this again.
He's got a script he's reading from because he already watched it and he's reading off the script for his excuses and lies because he couldn't fucking remember any of them. Snort Carl.
Pretty nuts. Anyway, so good stuff coming tonight. If you were here to relax and enjoy and see my reactions to my own shortcomings,
now the transfer
in the right place. We're gonna begin in 5 minutes.
We're gonna get settled in, right?
At 7 p.m. Pacific sharp. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna post up that we are live. I would recommend all of you that are here grab a drink or a snack. If you need to use the restroom, do it now because I'm gonna be going
now, guys.
Unlike
me, who completely fucking forget to do it.
And obviously you don't want to miss it. It is ad-free. Absolutely no advertisements on tonight's stream whatsoever. However, I would ask if you are here and you're enjoying the content, if you could support it in some way.
Me, more money.
For engagement purposes, whether it's a super chat, a membership for yourself, a gifted membership for your fellow viewer, or tipping me, because we're gonna try to hit the goals just like I always do. Okay. So thank
Spoiler,
you
he hits the
all.
goal
And I'll be
again.
back in just a moment. Let me go post this up everywhere, and then we will begin. Be right back.
Oh, you gotta wait for him to come back.
Night 2
There we go.
of my live reacting to my own documentary by Joon the King called The Eternal Downfall
Again,
of
how would
Darkseid
you
Phil.
not
You
know
didn't see it
the
yet
story
last
behind
night.
some of the
It's
stuff when it's
archived on
literally
this
your
channel, DSP
story?
Reacts, and you can watch it in its entirety live as it happened. I did
Wouldn't
not
surprise
actually,
me,
like, cut out
Astro.
parts or anything. I made it one unedited
Gotta make sure he hits
live
that
stream
streak.
archive, and I'm planning on doing this for all of these streams over the course of this week, so you can basically watch them immediately the moment that the stream ends.
Now that he hides his tips, and oh guys, alright, I'll play the animation when I get around to it. Yeah, he can lie about the tips as much as he wants. This streak could go on forever.
Last night, we got through 1 hour of my documentary, the very first hour, and this covered my early days of Street Fighter.
No more vests, no more hats, no more
my ideas
glasses.
and how I became a YouTuber. My early successes, some early problems with copyright and Blip TV and stuff like that. And basically went through all the early days, all the way up
Blip
to
TV. I got
me
banned for
getting
telling a
together with
joke.
Now X, and doing things
He actually said that on Twitter. Guys, I got banned for saying a joke. It was stupid, but I own up to it. But you still don't own up to it. You still defend it as just a joke. A Howard Stern joke, guys. Howard Stern does the same joke.
from just plain gameplay, such as Project 7, okay? So, that's where we left it. And it seemed like we got great progress. We're basically like 57, 58 minutes into this 3-hour, 42-minute, giant, monstrous documentary. Tonight, we're going to start right where we left off. All right, continuing on with the Project 7 and then everything else after that. There's so much to cover in this documentary that I actually wonder to what extent...
You don't wonder anything because you've already watched it.
And I also wonder how much of this I'm going to know and not know, because a lot of this he goes into content like covering my trolls and stuff, and I don't really know that much about them at all.
So you know what the content is and what it covers, but you haven't watched it yet. Lewis, how's it going? Enjoying it?
Quite honestly, I just ignored them or raged about them messing with me, but I never
Yeah,
really
very
looked into who
passive
they
about
were or
getting
watched their
$100
content
dropped
or
into his
anything like
lap.
that. So if he actually like goes deep in, that's going to be all stuff that's completely new to me, that we're going to learn tonight, and you'll be getting my genuine reactions to all of that information for the very first time.
Genuine swine
We'll see how
reaction,
it goes
guys.
tonight, okay, I plan, if everything goes according to plan, just like last night, probably we'll get through another hour of the documentary tonight. This stream will probably last about 2.5 hours-ish, because I'll be looking for like a logical stopping point to stop on a topic that makes sense. Just like last night, this is a demonetized stream, meaning when you're watching live, there's no ads.
Which means you need to give me money.
Whatsoever, and I'm planning to go.
There's no ads streams have more ads on them than anything, because it's always him going, all right, guys, it's been 5 minutes. I haven't had a $100 tip. Where are they?
A straight, 2.5 hours without breaks. I'm probably not going to take any breaks unless I absolutely have to, like a bathroom break or something like that. But I'm planning to just go. All right. And so I hope that you guys will hang in there. And
Lord of Spirit, it's hard for me not to be playing Black Myth Wukong right now.
To do this, because
I want to be playing it right now. It's like, no, do the stream.
And so,
and then do the stream again tomorrow.
Every single night just to get it hammered out. So I hope that you guys will be along for the ride with me. Last night went really smoothly, but I will say this, okay? FYI, since it's demonetized,
FYI, give me money.
Awesome if you guys could support the stream. Last night you did. All right, so if you could, please consider contributing in some way if you're here live. There's many ways to contribute, including super chats, memberships, gifted memberships, and tips. And I will be stopping.
Plenty of ways for you guys to give me more money.
My live react as if it's a normal stream for me, so that we can hopefully hit the goals to keep it 32 straight streams where I've hit my King's Tips goal. Let's keep it going tonight. Let's crush it yet again as I go through the arduous task of reacting to my past. The
arduous task of watching a video.
The sweatier it's going to get. By the end, I'm probably going to have like daubing my brow trying to get through this dang thing. All, you know what I mean? It's going to get worse and worse. So we're just at like, we're at the beginning
total
stages,
wine reaction. Oh, that's
right?
a good one. I like that.
Stuff,
I have to pin that.
on, right? So, we're going to get started in just a moment. First shout out of the night is a $2 tip.
Only $2, guys. You guys being stingy.
Get them king from Fart Fella Smart Smella. There's absolutely no way I'm putting that name on the leaderboard. Fart Fella Smart Smella. But I appreciate the $2 tip. To get the night started. That's nice of you to give us the first tip before we begin here with the reacting. And what was your name? Fart? Here, FFSS is your name. That's your name. All right. So I'm going to turn on my air conditioner. I'm going to need it. I get the feeling. Get it blasting here. Get it cooling here. And
guys, it's too
John Smith, I have
hot.
absolutely no idea if
It's like 55 degrees out, guys. I'm sweating my ass off.
The first part, maybe it's a weird angle, so I can't really tell, but it could be. I'm not sure. Okay. That's it. I got nothing else to shout out, guys. Nothing else so far.
Intent,
So
nothing else to
we'll get
shout
some
out.
support tonight. Let's go ahead and get started with the reacting.
Yeah, he'll get tips,
So
he'll
we
get
can
super
make
chats, he'll
progress,
get
all right? So,
memberships.
FYI, as of right now, Joon the King's documentary about me has 428,000 views in about a day and a half. So I would predict that maybe by
It's
tomorrow morning, 2 days, maybe
actually
it'll
over
hit
500,000 now.
500K, which would be pretty awesome for him, obviously. I wish him the best. I hope that it continues to get reach. He even had said that this was his first ever documentary that he did that was trending on the trending tab on YouTube.
508,000 views, people. Over
So,
500,000
a
views.
boost, which is great.
Good for
It's
Joon.
all about engagement, right? It's about liking videos, leaving comments. That engagement gets you on the trending tab, and the next thing you know, your videos are getting
So he's
seen
monetized
by
9/11. He's
search. And that's what's happening.
monetized
So,
school
keep going.
shootings.
Thank you for watching. Not only
He
my
monetizes
reaction
everything.
to his stuff, but also watching his raw thing. The way I split it up here.
Actually, no, it wasn't a school shooting. It was Madden tournament in Jacksonville, Florida, wasn't it? Like it happened while he was doing a live stream. Like, I don't care about that, guys. Oh wow, I don't care about Madden, guys. Who cares if a Madden tournament got shut up? I'm not playing Madden right now. I'm playing Call of Duty or whatever it was. Can't remember what he was playing, but yeah, he was so mad that people were discussing a mass shooting at a Madden tournament in Jacksonville, Florida. I was like, guys, but I'm not playing that game. Why are you guys talking about Madden?
This gives you guys ample time to actually be watching this over the week before I even finish it. Instead of rushing through and doing it all in one go, this gives people tons of time to kind of get a preview of what's coming up, right?
You should have done a Labor Day marathon, jackass. You would have made
Very
so much
good.
fucking money on
We're
it.
about to start, but I just received a $5 tip from two last names.
I mean, hell, I made like 15 bucks on Labor Day.
Incident, yes. I think,
And I don't even have thousands of people watching me.
It's about an hour from where we are, but I do feel like we're gonna get to it. Like a lot of this detractor stuff, I'm just gonna press play and watch and listen and maybe kind of. I don't know that much to add to that stuff because I wasn't involved in it. I only saw it from
wasn't
my
bad,
perspective,
guys.
being trolled, so I didn't know what was really going on. It's gonna be more of an education if he dug the information up and everything about these guys. That's gonna be.
If he'd done a Labor Day
information
marathon
for
stream,
me
he probably would have
that I
gotten
never even knew. You know what I'm
easily
saying? So,
$3,000.
I'm fascinated by this.
I could
Let's
definitely
see
see
what happens,
$3,000 between
tonight as we get
super
through
chats
this.
and tips and memberships and all that.
Again, I thank you all for giving me your time. The funny part is, so last night we had a lot of people, and I'm curious, every night will we get just as many people on the stream? Right now, we're not even close to what we had last night, but I don't know if people were...
I worked Saturday and Sunday, but I had Monday off,
thankfully.
thankfully.
The earlier parts got more views when they're really not...
On Sunday, I went to the Fulton County Fair afterwards.
It's going to get
awesome.
ramped up and more dramatic every night we do this, seriously. So, okay, are we ready to begin? All right, again, any contributions come in, I will shout them out as appropriate during the stream.
Again, give
Let's
me
get
money.
started.
Capture card to improve the quality of his videos, he sought experimentation elsewhere.
Here we go.
Project 7 scam time.
Project 7 was Phil and Friends' answer to the higher quality of videos found on YouTube. A summary of the plot is that Phil's gaming talent was stolen and that
Joon, they weren't his friends. They were acquaintances. You got that
he
wrong.
has to travel through 7 gaming worlds to find and reclaim it. The stars were Phil, his best friend John Rambo, and their mutual friend Howard, which Phil claims was more so just John Rambo's friend. In charge of the editing, which was the heavy lifting, was more friends of John Rambo known by their channel Respect the Pact. They offered their...
Actually, already, Respect the Pack were actually friends of Howard. He was the one who pitched the whole thing, actually. He wanted me to do work with them somehow. And so we had a meeting at Starbucks, and we just pitched different ideas, and eventually we came up with the idea for Project 7 together after all talking about it in like a roundtable fashion.
assistance with the project for the sole purpose of a shout-out, which they hope will launch their
Guys, none of them were my friends. I swear. It doesn't matter if I fucked them over.
YouTube career.
Right.
Hello, I'm John, and I'm joined by Howard. Woo! So,
So this is going to be them in a video that they made about me in 2015, many years later, because Project 7 we made in 2011 and part of 2012. In 2015, after I'd moved away and all our relationships had changed, like we weren't close friends anymore, they did
All relationships changed. You fucked them over and they hated you for it.
Their side of a story that they had never even told me. So when this video came out and the audio you're hearing
Ace
is from the video, it's just
Man,
audio
holla
on YouTube, I was shocked just as much as everyone else because they had never expressed anything in this video to me.
Except they said numerous times they asked about money, and asked about help, and asked about support. And you said, but it's my money.
Me directly ever. They just decided to go around me and put this video on YouTube. Go figure. Okay.
That was a lot of work for them. I don't think it was much work for us. Despite what Phil would have talked about how hard the day was. It's such a
No,
long
it wasn't.
day.
It wasn't hard. It wasn't hard for us. It was hard for them.
Yeah, I mean, it was one day of filming.
Yeah.
Maybe 7 hours.
Respect the Pact put in a tremendous amount of work to edit the project that only made it to episode 4 because one of the members had a child on the way and the shoutouts that they got from the project did virtually nothing for their own personal channel.
That's
There
all
was
true.
also the fact that Project 7 was practically a failure. The entire 4 episodes, when adding up the views, did not
Close
even
the
surpass
program,
1
forgot
million.
to
It was
confirm the
far more
rendering.
lucrative
Oof.
for DSP to continue pumping
Not
out
that I've ever done that
low-quality,
before.
effortless gameplay videos that he had even gotten erased for mid-2012. Not only was he getting a set $2 per 1,000 views, sometimes he will get a bonus simply because of the size of his channel.
That's true. Now, just to make this clear, all right, because I don't know, as he says that, if he's trying to spin it like I decided to end Project 7. That's not true at all. I had idea to make upwards of, 10, 12, 15 episodes, make it a season, make a DVD, sell the DVD, make money, go to conventions, promote it. Like, this was a big thing that we were going to do. And they just quit after 4 episodes and said that it was too much work for them and they weren't getting anything out of it. It wasn't that, Phil decided he just wanted to go back to making gameplay videos because it wasn't lucrative.
Yes, they stopped because you wouldn't pay them.
That wasn't the actually truthful.
And you
at
showed up in
all.
a BMW
It was
after
they
telling him
didn't
you had no
wanna do it
money.
anymore. So I would have kept doing it. I had all these ideas for future episodes that never got made.
The rest of the crew still desired to continue making these, and John Rambo put forth the idea that if DSP offered respect
Oh, that's good,
money,
Lord DS
then they would
parody.
have no reason to stay.
That's completely false. That's not what happened at all. Respect the Pact contacted me directly and said, we don't want to go forward with the project anymore because we're not getting the attention and clout and growth on our own content that we thought we would get out of it. And we're getting too busy with other things in our own lives and we're just done with it. And I even said to them, would you consider under any circumstance doing it again? And they said, we're not sure. We were supposed to have a meeting. And this is truthful. I got food poisoning. I ate some old pizza and I got a bad stomach ache and I had to cancel the meeting. And then after that, I tried to reschedule. It just never worked. We never got back together ever again. The whole
Sounds
thing
like
fell apart.
bullshit to me,
So I
right,
guess you could
Ribu?
blame the
I
real reason
should.
Project 7 fell apart is because I ate bad pizza and I got sick because the meeting might have gone well. Maybe at that meeting, they actually would have said, hey, Phil, we want money. Right? They might have said that. And if that was the case, I
Except
probably
they
would have
said that
okay,
numerous
let's come to
times
an
they
agreement to
wanted
keep
fucking
going.
money.
I wanted to keep going. But we never had the meeting. They never contacted me ever again about it. It was as if they had just wanted to be completely out and I wanted to be hands off and nothing, forget about the whole project. And in fact, I reached out to a couple other people on the internet who were internet filmmakers about the possibility of stepping in to replace Respect the Pack. But basically what happened was after 4 episodes with the same crew, the same actors and everything, imagine if all
You
of a
fucked
sudden
them all
the giant
over and they
shift
got
in
tired of
tone
you
or shift in
screwing them
production
over.
quality or shift in, change, it wouldn't have felt the same. And I think a lot of people might have felt resentful if I went forward with this show with another crew saying, oh, but it was really Respect the Pack doing all the work previously. Why would you keep making the show without them, right? So I said, forget it. We'll just cancel it. And to this day, I really do wish that we had kept doing it, but it just fell apart. It had absolutely nothing to do with the fact that I didn't want to pay them or anything like that. The conversation never happened.
Except
The
they
upfront
said
conversation
they
was
want to be
just
paid, and
wanted
you said
clout
no.
on their channel and attention, and then there was never
There's
a
your
follow-up
money, and then you
conversation
showed them
about,
a
hey, we
BMW.
want money. Okay?
Then you have a number, and then split it the 5 ways and throw them the cash.
Yep.
And offer that to them. There's no guarantee that they're going to continue with the series, but hey man, at least try.
Phil did not do so.
That's right, because the meeting never happened. They stopped talking to me. Like the original meeting was never happened, and then they just stopped contacting me after that. And I was like, well, I guess it's done then.
Why should they contact you? You
Now I already
fucked them
talked about
over.
this, but I wonder if Joon will bring it up. The show made me no money at all. I lost money on Project 7, but let's see if Joon brings that up
Because you kept blowing your money on stupid shit like a BMW.
at all.
He even lied
Yeah.
to John Rambo and Howard.
Well, like,
and said
it's
that he
true
did
from
offer
my
them money,
perspective.
only for them
Bitch,
to
there's
actually
no
respect the pack
perspective to
themselves.
truth. It's
His
either the truth or
response-
it's not.
That's bullshit. I didn't lie. I'm telling you the truth. This is
I
complete
didn't
honest.
lie, guys.
Originally, up front, the original discussion was, what would you want out of this? And they said, we don't want money. We just want attention and plugs in the show. It was never once did they
This is
say,
from
"We
last
want
night,
money."
but
So
I
that's
had to work
bullshit.
at 6 o'clock in the
They
morning,
don't
so I
want
can't
money.
cover it live,
They
unfortunately.
don't want,
That's what they
they,
told
they
me.
don't want any money yet.
Oh, he'll never come
That's
clean.
told
not
me.
what he says they told him.
He'll be dead in jail
And
before
then
he
I
comes
asked them
clean.
about it, and they said he didn't even talk to them.
So they lied. In the initial discussion we had, they outright said, we do not want money. I remember the conversation that we had in
He doesn't remember anything, guys. He was an alcoholic. He was drunk. He was so fucking drunk all the time. He doesn't remember anything. But he remembers very specifically this moment, huh?
person at
That makes
Starbucks.
him not look
I
as
remember
bad.
it. I remember staring at, I forget his name. It was the guy on the left, not the guy on the right there, but the guy on the left that you see. See, Howard's in the middle with his New York Yankees hat. The guy on the left, him and me were there first, and we were talking, and he said right to me, we don't want money. We're looking for shout outs and attention. We want plugs in your videos. So people
He's
check out our
paused
content,
129
right?
times.
And then the follow-up email was again with him. I forget his name. It's been so long. And that was when we were supposed to have a meeting to convene on, do you maybe want something else? And then the meeting got canceled because I had food poisoning. And then no one ever contacted anyone ever again. Okay? So they lied to Howard, apparently, about this to save face. And now I'm the one who ends up looking bad because I'm the public figure. Isn't that great? Whatever.
Phil was bold-faced lying to his two friends.
No, I was not. That is complete
Yes, you
bullshit.
were.
You cannot prove that whatsoever. That's complete hearsay. That's nonsense.
This was already on top of
You have no proof that's what happened. That is not something you say when you're innocent. You have no proof I murdered my wife. That means you fucking murdered your wife, they just don't have proof, or at least you think that they don't have proof. When you're watching a murder mystery movie or a cop drama show, when the suspect says, "Ha, you have no proof I murdered my wife," guess what? That's when they reveal, da-da-da-da! Hi, I'm Daniel Craig playing Glass Onion. We do have proof you murdered your wife. Like, that's literally when the twist happens of, oh, that's when Columbo says, you know, I was about to leave, but I just had to ask a question about this. That's literally when the detective, Columbo, Daniel Craig, whatever, like, reveals that not only do they know you murdered your wife, they have proof. The second the guy says, ha, you have no proof I murdered my wife, that's when they say, yes we do, bitches. ED3, how's it going? Josh Rum. Yes, Taja, you know it, Taja.
Of other compounding, smaller problems, like Phil's jealousy of larger content creators and how he would lash out, creating unwanted attention towards his channel or just himself.
That part's
Comments
true.
would also sometimes spark jealousy of his friends and would create a response from Phil.
Case in point, in this teaser trailer, there's a funny scene featuring John Rambo, and everyone says it's the best part of the trailer, and I even saw a comment saying, wow, this is Rambo's the funniest thing. Guess what? I wrote that scene.
These small, inconsequential things would add up slowly and drive a rift between DSP and John Rambo. Like,
And you want to know why they did? My detractors, because at this point,
My
in
detractors,
2012,
not my
there's a group
fault,
of
it's
people
their
starting
fault.
Videos called "This Is How You Don't Play," which I'm sure he'll cover. Okay, and then
How did this how you don't play cause you to fuck your friends over? Please, DSP, please explain to me how this evil AJ's This How You Don't Play forced you to fuck your friends over.
based off of that, they wanted to try to create trolling and a rift between me and my friends. So what they would do is they would.
But
hear
you
me
said
say
they weren't your
something like that in a
friends.
video,
Only
and
Rambo
they would go to
was.
John behind the scenes, and they would flag him in all his videos. They like video comments on his YouTube channel. They would email him and be like, "Hey, John, Phil is taking all the credit. Phil is trying to say that you didn't do anything, and he wrote everything in the show." Obviously, that's not what actually happened there, right?
But that's what you were saying,
a
though.
little bug
Wait
in his
for it.
ear to piss him off, and it got to him, and he confronted me
Joon
about it.
drops
I don't
the
know if
proof.
Could talk about this or not. Let's see.
like when DSP lied about John Rambo not wanting to play Mario Party.
I start getting messages.
This I don't remember at all. I really don't.
'Cause you were
remember this at
drunk and
all.
an
Or, you know,
alcoholic?
maybe I did say that just to get people to shut up about it, perhaps. Because I think people kept asking, "Will you play Mario Party with John? Will you play Mario Party with John?" But then I ended up playing it with my ex. Maybe I lied about that.
My
just to get
ex?
people to shut the fuck
Say
up
your
about it.
name.
I did-
Say
I don't
Panda
remember
Lee.
at all, so I can't corroborate anything here.
And people are pissy. Oh, it's not mature enough for you, you big-nosed piece of shit.
Everything eventually circles back. Phil at first would pay John Rambo 50% of all the earnings in the Let's Plays he was involved in, but as it becomes more difficult to calculate the earnings with DSP's expansive catalog of videos, instead he would just toss him $100 every time he visited.
That's also incorrect. Joon made a few
Uh-huh.
mistakes here, or at least he's just going off of hearsay, okay? That's completely incorrect. I was giving John 50% of the revenue on the videos he was involved in when Machinima
Which
would
is what he
provide
just
me
said.
with reports on how much money the videos
Which is
made.
literally
This
what
was
he just
before
said.
YouTube had detailed analytics on YouTube. We're talking 2010, 11, and 12, okay? When by the time that those came out, we weren't doing this anymore, okay? So the only way I could get actual data on what I made on each video, I had to each month write to Machinima, my partner network, and say, "Can you please give me a report? Because I really need that data to pay my friend who's essentially my employee." And I would wait and wait and wait, and then finally,
Your employee, not your friend.
finally,
Good
they
to
would
know.
get back to me and send me a report. Eventually, Machinima had so much reorganization and change inside of their structure, they didn't ever provide reports anymore. I asked, they said, "We can't do that anymore." So, and there was no analytics, so there was no way for me to know what the videos made. Now, we could guess based on, view performance and what we saw, previous.
You were getting $2 per 1,000 views. So if it had 4,000 views, that's 2 times 4,000. Well, 2 times 4, whatever. You know what I mean.
making on a certain amount of
When it
views and
gets
stuff like
100,000
that,
views, then
per
it's a lot
video.
more fucking money, dude.
And basically what ended up happening
That
was
you
John
owed
and I
him.
came to an agreement. He would basically want, I think it was $100 every visit, every Saturday for his time. So $100 for the whole
That's literally what Joon the King just said. That after you couldn't get the analytics anymore, you paid him $100. He literally just said this, DSP. Holy fuck. Open your goddamn earballs.
day to hang out and play video games and stuff like that. Okay, and that was he wanted. That wasn't me saying, "Hey, I'll offer." That's what he asked for. I would have given him more. If he said, "I want $500 a weekend," I probably would have said yes because I enjoyed the content we were making together. And for the record,
And you
again, I
enjoy the
already
money
talked
you were
about all this
making.
when I reacted to the John and Howard video specifically years ago. But to clarify again, re-clarify, basically, I liked doing this so much with John. I just didn't see it as work. He apparently did. I thought it was a hangout session we were getting paid for, so I would have paid him whatever just to help him out. by the end, by like the last maybe year that we were doing co-op every Saturday together and I was paying him for his work, I was paying him more than the videos we're making. The videos that we were making for that one day, the co-op videos, we're not making $100 in ad revenue. They weren't. The views had plummeted. The views on our co-op stuff had gone way, way down for the most part. So I was paying him $100 a week.
Show the receipts, DSP. Show the receipts. Oh, wait, you
won't. I was
won't.
out all that money, but I didn't care because I was helping my friend. You understand? Like, that's all I really cared about was helping him out. If he had asked for more, I would have given him even more. Okay?
No, you wouldn't have.
So there you go. That's
you gave him the bare fucking
I
minimum.
already talked about it 2 years ago, and my story has not changed. Okay? So I don't know if Joon
Your
is going to play
story.
my side or not.
Not the truth hasn't changed. His story hasn't changed.
He's literally only playing John's side here when I have already reacted to this and given my side. We got a couple shout outs.
Your side. Not the truth. Your side.
Who did a $10 super chat says, I'm not going to lie, this is a lesson. You'll learn doing business in anything creative. Never take work from someone for free or they'll turn around under leverage and favor or lie about the agreement. Listen, I learned so much about this. Like, another thing I learned, even if someone's your friend, you always still have a business agreement in place. It's not just, oh, I'll pay you this or we're okay with this. Because look what happened. Everything along this whole ride where John was doing co-op with me through the years of like 2010 all the way through 2014 when I moved. He didn't say a word that he was upset about money, that he was upset about the arrangement of how he had to come to my place to film, anything about Project 7, literally nothing. He never said a word of complaint at all. He every once in a while complained, like, for example, that clip where I said, oh, I wrote that scene. He did complain about that because he was upset
because you're a jealous bitch.
Show when that's not what I meant. But again, that was my detractors interjecting themselves into the conversation, pissing him off. But
we just watched a video of you saying that you wrote it.
How would you even know that someone's upset? So you're absolutely right, Kruger.
You just watched the video clip of you saying that you did it.
Or I'm working with another crew.
Not Rambo. What the fuck?
In place. Oh, you can be well assured, guys, that Mike Klum documentary about me that didn't get made, we already had contracts in place and stuff about, you know, limitation of work, if there's going to be any pay involved. That was all done up front because I learned my lesson back then about this kind of stuff. Never in my wildest dreams did I expect that John Rambo, years later, would be making a video on the
Romance cat, you know it.
I'm such an unfair person and stuff. When in reality, he never said a word to me about it in person, and I didn't think we needed to make contracts because we were friends. So I definitely 100% learned my lesson on that. Thank you, Dick Jones, for giving 5
And then you still fucking lie about it.
And I also received a $10 tip from one sick puppy. A wise man once said, when things involve money, stuff gets funny. Yeah, you're right. Because again, until we started being involved in things like this, never was there a problem. It was just like a fun hangout session. Come over to my place, we'll play games. Maybe I'll film some of it or whatever. But then
I'll film all of it and then make sure that it gets put on the internet.
That's when it all fell apart.
And then get you fired from your job.
And again, for me,
that's something that actually happened. John lost his job because of DSP.
I didn't really look at this like, wow, this is like crazy hard work that we're doing to pump this stuff out. So to me, I didn't think of it like that.
Oh yeah, all the lies, all the retconning, all the bullshit.
And I guess that's on me for not being aware enough of the situation and really recognizing and reading the room. But again, they didn't say anything. So if they don't say anything, I don't know, you know. And that was the situation.
Guys, I was out to dinner with some friends, and I ordered a bunch of food, and none of them had money for food, so they all had to sit there and watch me eat, guys. Then like 3 years later, they all bitched to Joon the King about how I just ate in front of them and didn't offer to share any of the food that I ordered. In fact, the food I couldn't eat, I just threw away in the trash. I didn't know that they wanted some of the food that I ordered just because they didn't have any money. They didn't tell me. How was I supposed to know they wanted some of the food I ordered, guys?
Basically, they had passive aggression towards me. It all pent up, and then many years later, they made a video about it instead of just talking to me about it, which would have helped me a lot more. Okay.
But
it would have helped me, not us. It would have helped me, not us, not our friendship, not our relationship. It would have helped me.
DSP would move things towards wanting to record more Let's Plays rather than hang out outside the
dude, he totally overpaid him.
Because
anything over $1 would have been overpaid.
From these repeat visits, John and Howard noticed many changes that really just amounted to additions.
Now, for the record, because he's going to talk about what I think amounts to jealousy, okay? But no, when John came over, the first thing we would do is hang out for like an hour talking. Like, just hanging out. Just say, how you doing? What's going on in your life? I'll tell him what's going on in my life. Sitting down and shooting the shit.
Nothing going on in your life.
Before we ever turned on a camera. It was a hangout session, right? And then in between making videos and stuff, we went out, we got a meal and hung out together. So was there work involved? Absolutely. But were they also hangout sessions? Yes. Now, outside of the realm of making videos for YouTube, there was a couple other things that we did to
hangout sessions. I've never said hang out with my friends was a hangout session. And it's just, hey, we're doing football this Sunday. What do you need? Oh, hey, when you're on your way home from work, stop at Aldi's and get the dip that we all like. All right, I'll stop at Aldi's and get the dip we really like. It's not, all right, guys, I'm going to set up a hangout session. Then I'm going to record for 3 hours after hanging out for an hour. Then we're going to go get food, which you got to pay for. I can't pay for it. Fuck you. And then after that, we're going to do this for 2 hours. And then we're going to continue our hangout session. Like, what the fuck, DSP? No one acts like that.
hang out. For example, we would go over Howard's house and he would be having people play fighting games in his house. And I would go over there without a camera, without filming a piece of content, and just hanging out with them, playing games and stuff because I was good at Street Fighter and they liked playing against someone who was really good at Street Fighter. So the
And it
narrative
killed
falls
you
apart
inside, didn't
when you
it?
actually hear the full story. The problem is no one wants to hear my
Killed
side.
him inside that he
Everyone
couldn't
just wants to
record
hear
it all.
the negative drama side to it and emphasize that as the truth. But the truth is, a lot of this stuff is fabricated or over-exaggerated.
Pretty sure the camera's on the whole time.
Prove that I'm a bad
Hello.
friend and a bad guy. I wasn't really invited to anything. Like, for example, there was never a party that they say, hey, Phil, would you just come over to a party and hang out with us? That never happened. I'm serious. Only those.
Shouldn't that have been a sign, DSP? Shouldn't that have been a sign that you were never just invited over? That your so-called friends and went, hey, we're hanging out, come on over. That happens to me all the time. Fucking out on Tuesday night. It's like, my brother gets on to me like 7:30. He's like, dude, it's 7:30. I got work 6 o'clock in the morning. What the fuck are you doing this late at night inviting me over? Well, I just got done dropping off the kid at his mom's, and it's like, all right, that's great, but you waited until now to tell me, like, dude, it's a little late. But I get invited just because, hey, let's hang out. All right.
Street Fighter gatherings. Outside of that, it wasn't like, oh, it was John's birthday and I was invited to his house.
All right, that's getting pinned. Replace pin message. Hello, human. Would you like to engage in male-to-male bonding? We call it a hangout session, sometimes shortened to a shush. Oh, yeah, that's getting pinned. Oh, yeah, he got threatened by Jaha because he was talking shit to Jaha, and Jaha's like, man, I'm going to beat your ass. And he called him a ball and cried like a bitch.
Or, you know what I'm saying? Or Howard was having a cookout. That's the opposite. In fact, I did cookouts and things at my parents' house, and they came. So I have no idea what they're talking about here outside of the realm that maybe they wanted to do less work, but they never said that to me. So I don't know. Okay.
Like a leased BMW.
We start showing up to your house, and what do we see? The guy starts buying figurines, starts buying all this ridiculous shit that there's no need to buy. Then we show up to his house.
Because it's my money, and I can do whatever I want with it, Howard.
Oh my god. It's my money that I made. Yeah, with the help of others. You had the help of others making that money. And then you invite them over like, no, I can't pay you. By the way, come on over and check out my BMW and all my thousands upon thousands of dollars of collectibles and paintings and boo paintings and all that. But it's my money. I can spend however I want. But then you can't turn around and say, well, they wanted money, but I couldn't pay them because it's my money. Fuck you.
I'm the one who's working my ass off 7 days a week, pumping out tens of thousands of videos to make a lot of money. So I can spend my money however I want. If you came over my house and I was wearing a fucking platinum mink robe from head to toe, and I had gaudy jewels all over me and a big metal grill on my mouth, and I had fucking cocaine all over my countertop, and I snorted it right in front of you, you can't say anything because I earned it because it's my money that
I earned it. No, you fucking did it. You played video games. You were playing video games, DSP. You were not working. You were playing fucking video games. When I'm playing Black Myth Wukong, I don't say I'm working. I say I'm playing fucking Black Myth Wukong. Then a boss pisses me off because he's fucking cheating. That would make him urban. He'd have to chew his fingernails off. Womp womp. Holy shit. DSP, that's the problem. You didn't earn shit. You were literally playing video games. Then with Project 7, everyone else is doing the work. They even said it was like 7 hours of filming, but how much of that filming was with you on it? DSP, if you do 3 hours of work, someone else does 50 hours of work for all the editing and putting shit together and doing special effects, and then you keep all the money and buy a fucking lease a BMW, they have every right to be pissed off at you. Especially when you look them in the eyes. I don't have any money to pay you, ack. By the way, check out my new BMW I just bought.
I earned being a YouTuber. What is your point? What this is, he's ranting because he was in a few playthroughs in Project 7. And he thinks that somehow the few playthroughs in Project 7 that he was involved in would have amounted to like him making tons of money or something. No, Howard, it wasn't. It was me busting my ass in all those gameplay videos by myself.
Busting his ass playing video games.
Buy all those figures and I could lease the BMW with. So what are you talking about? You have no fucking point. All you're doing is you're exposing yourself for being incredibly jealous by saying these things.
House one day, and what does he have in the fucking driveway? A BMW. So how the fuck do you think I feel, and how do you think these guys feel after the fact?
I don't know because they didn't tell me. If they were jealous because I busted my ass as a YouTuber to make all that money,
You
I can't
weren't
help that.
busting your
You know,
ass,
they
especially
never
when it
asked me
comes
for
to
anything.
Project
They told me
7.
They didn't want money up front. I'm not psychic. You know, I'm not.
When it comes to Project 7, DSP, you didn't do the fucking work. Respect the Pack was doing all the fucking editing. All the special effects, all the video editing and all that was done by them. They did the work. Now, let's say you're Robert Downey Jr. and you're getting paid $93 million to appear in 2 movies. Is that work? Probably, because you know what he's doing? It's not just, hello, I'm Dr. Doom. It's, alright, take 1, take 2, take 3, take 4, take 5, take 12, take 18, take 19, take 20. Alright, that 12 seconds of acting has taken 20 takes. We're going to move on to the next scene. This scene is 37 seconds long. Oh, someone goofed up, or we caught a Starbucks coffee cup in the background, or this happened, or that happened. So it takes 50 takes. That 37 seconds of acting takes 50 fucking takes. And that's not even taking like, oh, hey, we got to reset this. Like, this thing falls over, and this happens, and you react to it. Well, every time we got to do a take, we got to reset that. And that takes a minute to reset. So now that 37 seconds of acting takes 5 hours to get the scene perfect. As opposed to, no, they took my gaming skills, ack. Alright, that was one take, you're done. But now they gotta spend 5 hours doing all the special effects around you. When people like, I'd love to be an actor, oh, it'd be so much fun to be an actor, it's like, yeah, it probably would be fun to be an actor, getting in movies, making all that money, but it's still work. When you gotta stand up, walk across the hall, across the room, pick up a donut, and take a bite out of it while you peer out the window at whatever's going on outside, and it takes 17 takes, well, you gotta take a bite of that fucking donut 17 times. Well, obviously, there's not gonna be enough donuts, so they gotta bring in more donuts, and they gotta make sure that the scene continuity works. So if they show the pile of donuts, there's 6 donuts, and by the time you actually get the final take done, there's only 3 donuts, like, hey, that's off, we gotta redo it again to make sure the donut count is right. Or we gotta go back and redo this scene, and redo it with 3 donuts, as that's what we end up finishing with, and then that new take takes 7 tries. Like, it's a lot of fucking work to even do 30 seconds of acting. And that's not counting the special effects. That's not counting redoing the lighting and lip dubbing. Famous case of lip dubbing. Jurassic Park. Samuel L. Jackson talking with a cigarette in his mouth. This code is wrong, this code is wrong. White Rabbit, EXE, whatever did all of it. How many lines of code would it take to fix? About 2 million. When he talks with that cigarette in his mouth, and he talks perfectly with a cigarette in his mouth, the way to do that is they act out the scene however many times, and then they have him dub over behind the scenes, so then they add that track to the video, so he's legible, so he's clear as he's talking. It's a great fucking scene of seeing him with a cigarette in his mouth, and talking, all the tech talk and all that. It's a great fucking scene. That probably took 10 hours of on camera, doing the camera pans and zoom in and out, making sure that Laura Dern and Sam Neill are standing correctly, making sure that Samuel L. Jackson doesn't actually drop the cigarette out of his mouth, and then later going behind the scenes, going to a studio, going to a recording booth, getting the recording done, then adding it to the video. Like, it probably took 10, 12 hours easily for like a 30-second scene. And yet he acts like, guys didn't have to do anything. All they had to do was like 1,000 hours worth of work. Well, I had to do all the hard work. I had to sit there and go, ack. Or Sopranos or anything like there's a lot of angles and lighting and audio. Like, it's insane what goes into a TV show or into a movie, especially nowadays. Especially nowadays, some of the shit they do. And it's like, when they use blue screen versus green screen, because the blue screen picks up emotions better. But then they got to change something because, oh, hey, the person was wearing blue, we're going to use blue screen, so now we're going to change the outfit. But they walk into the room wearing this outfit, well, now we got to go back and redo the scene, put them in a red shirt instead of a blue shirt, because when they get in front of blue screen, it's going to fuck up the blue screen effect. Like, it's amazing. Like, you go behind the scenes and all this shit, was why I love director's commentary. The only reason to buy a DVD or Blu-ray or whatever anymore is to get director's commentary, because you get all the behind the scenes stuff. You get the, this scene It was only 30 seconds long, but they had to drop him in the water, have him swim over here, climb out, and we had to get it perfectly. If they drop in the water and they drop down too far, and then they come up and they're thrashing about too much, it's like, well, no. They're Aquaman. They get dropped in the water, they're not going to be thrashing around like that. They're going to jump out of the helicopter, land in the water, then swim over. So, we have the blue screen behind him. He's standing on the ledge, jumps up into the water. If he goes too deep, he comes out and he's thrashing about. Well, that doesn't look like fucking Aquaman. Aquaman ain't thrashing about. So now we gotta wait for him to dry out, get the set redone and all that, and then have him jump in again. And this time when he goes to climb out, he stumbles a little bit. Well, fuck, now we gotta redo the scene because Aquaman wouldn't stumble out of the water. So we gotta sit there, dry him off, redo the scene. It's like, it's insane what goes into movie making and into TV shows and all that. Exactly, that Clonius. I'll say the whole reason I got Doctor Strange, the sequel, the Multiverse of Madness, because I want to director's commentary. And it's great commentary. So DSP sitting there, I'm like, I don't get it, guys. I'm the one who had to do all the work, busting my ass, sitting there going ack for 3 minutes. Then not understanding that it probably took 50 hours worth of work behind the scenes to get everything to work and all the editing and special effects in. Especially back then, holy shit. Nowadays, with like Vegas Pro and Adobe and like all the different stuff they have out, it's probably way easier, probably take half the time. But oh no, now it only takes 25 hours to get all the special effects and lighting done. And editing and all that. But it's still 25 hours of fucking work that these guys had to do that DSP paid them nothing for. And even as we just saw, he doesn't understand why they're mad that he shows them on a BMW with $10,000 worth of figurines and boob art behind him. I don't get it. They're just jealous. They're not jealous. They're mad that you told them you don't have any money to pay them while showing up in a fucking BMW. Say acting for Sonic with all the different CGI characters has got to be tough as hell. Case in point, the guy who worked on Jurassic Park 3 for the Raptors and all that also worked on Men in Black. And he talked about how it's easy for an actor to work on Jurassic Park 3 because, like, hey, that raptor the tail swings wildly and it broke Stunt Double's leg. Like, that thing can actually hurt you. It's easy to show fear to something that's right in front of you that can actually hurt you. Will Smith has a tennis ball hanging from a string. When he's talking to the alien, when he's talking smack to the alien, he's talking to a tennis ball. And yet he's such a good actor that he's able to do that. Look at a tennis ball and talk smack to it and all that and shit talk it as much as he wants and can to a tennis ball. It's going to cost $1 trillion. Why would he understand hard work, dude? He totally didn't get that job in the helicopter because of nepotism. His dad pushed him to go for the helicopter job, and then he just happened to get it. Now, understanding that, they're probably hoping that he was the next Dave Burnell. Dave Burnell's kind of old. He might be retiring about 5 years from now. But his son wants to work here. Holy shit. Can you imagine if we go from Dave Burnell to his son? Company set for another 50 years. Just find out that Dave Burnell and Phil Burnell have nothing in common but a little bit of DNA. Came out with a BMW smelled like when it was repoed. Gross.
What exactly do you want? So because I'm a YouTuber who makes money, you just want me to start giving it out to people in my life all around me who don't say that they want it or need it or anything like that. You just think I should just hand out money around me. Even though people distinctly tell me upfront they don't want it.
Like your dents hand you money?
Like, okay, I get. I mean, I really don't know what else to say in this situation. This is 100% pure jealousy exposed here with Howard saying this. Because again, out of all the people who had an argument, you could say maybe Respect the Pact had an argument because they did a lot of work on Project 7 that they didn't get any monetary compensation for. John got paid for his work. Maybe he was disgruntled about the amount of pay, but he never brought it up. But literally, Howard appeared in a few things with me. Every once in a while, I'd have a big bash, and he'd come over and do some gameplay with us. Again, Street Fighter stuff and Project 7, and that was it. He was the least involved.
What about the fight stick that you broke? Howard asked for it. He said, yeah, sure, whatever, it's broken. Then when Howard got it fixed, you asked for it back, jackass.
Of all of us. Yet he's the one who's freaking out in this video about how I had so much money and so many things and they didn't have it or whatever.
Yes, the
it's
greed
like,
is massively strong.
You are completely exposing yourself to the world, showing how jealous you were of me. John doesn't say any of this, by the way. This is all Howard ranting about this shit in this video they made about me. And he never said a word about this.
Howard made Rambo hate
but the funny part about it
me.
is, now that he said this publicly, it exposed the whole relationship that we had, because I had always noticed that Howard was kind of the guy who I would invite him and he'd always be on the fence, and a lot of the times he would cancel, or he would say he's going to do something, then he would cancel at the last minute.
Because he's got a wife or a job or a kid to go to and deal with.
He had everyone else over, like John and all the other players in Connecticut, and not me. He just stopped inviting me out.
Ooh, that's dark, Zach, but
I know
agree.
why. This was why. Because he was jealous.
DSP was spending ever more frivolously. In contrast to his 2011 4-minute condo tour, this new condo tour took a total of 1 hour, 8 minutes, and 27 seconds.
This is all true, and I do regret spending a lot of my money like I did back then. I 100% do, because if I had kept it all in savings, right, like a hoarder, then probably I wouldn't have gotten to half the financial troubles that I got into in the...
Wait. Having a savings account is hoarding? Did DSP just say that having a savings account is hoarding? What?
next decade. But instead, I blew a lot of it because I never had money like that before, and I was irresponsible, and I bought a bunch of statues and clutter and shit. However, to be fair, I was also making a ton of money. Like, take a look.
You were making a ton of money. Where did it all go?
20,000 views each. No exaggeration. This condo tour alone made me hundreds upon hundreds of dollars, which just buys another statue if I want it. So it wasn't like, oh, he's frivolously spending, but he's not making the money. I was making the money, and then I was frivolously spending it. You understand? This wasn't, I actually didn't even have like a credit card balance at this point in my history. I had nothing at all. I was clean. I had savings actually at this point in the bank in the tens of thousands of dollars. I think at one point I had over $40,000 in savings saved up. Okay.
Then what the fuck did you do with it? And don't say the move. Because if you had $40,000 saved up, then you moved. How did the move cost more than $40,000? How did you moving blow your entire $40,000 you had saved up then? Just saying. Yeah, how do you fumble the bag that hard?
Tip from Walrus Nipples. I don't think you should have said that about John in the writing the scene. It made you sound like a whole. We all learn from our mistakes. Yeah, and the reason I said it, do you want to know why? Because of my detractors. Because they were attacking me.
The detractors, guys, not my fault.
Good. Only the parts with John Rambo were good. Like, literally, they were saying the parts with Howard suck, the parts with DSP suck. Only anything involving John Rambo is good. So the point I was trying to make in that clip was, it's not just
you're a jealous
Rambo,
bitch.
It's a collective effort. Everyone is working on that show at all times. Some jokes are written by someone else, but they're spoken by a different character. For you to say that only Rambo's funny is actually kind of discrediting everyone involved. It wasn't just about me. It was about Respect the Pack and Howard and everyone. But of course, what do my detractors do? They spin it and say, oh, see, Phil's incredibly jealous of John. He can't even give him credit or anything like that. That's exactly what they did. It was them putting a wedge between me and my friends.
It was the detractors' fault.
And their effort to put that crowbar in.
Okay? It was the detractors' fault that I said that, not me. Reee, me.
All their bait. And I said all that shit publicly that I never should have said. I should have just completely ignored them and gave them no time whatsoever. But instead, I did.
Phil, you're retconning what happened. We just saw it happen on camera.
Okay, let's continue.
On the surfaces of his apartment, sans some of the walls and ceilings, it became a challenge to now find a square inch of clear space. There was even an update on the corner, now wall full of boxes and trash.
It's now quickly become a graveyard of shit that I can't either, I have nowhere to put,
Absolutely right.
For, I can't store, I don't know.
For the record, my home now looks absolutely nothing like this at all. The only part
of
my office here has shit all over that I'm using, and my closet is cluttered. But outside of this
show your house,
office,
DSP.
my entire house is organized.
Show your house.
And that's thanks in part to my wife, but also me. I like to keep a clean home. But me, when I was doing YouTube videos 7 days a week full time, I was a fucking mess. I was just constantly pumping shit into the place, and it was just a nightmare. I didn't take any time off to clean it or anything, so it just sat there, clutter.
I don't know what to do with it, all right?
You didn't take any time off work to clean. Well, how about you clean before work or after work? You're up till 3 o'clock in the morning, DSP, every single night, even back then. You're gonna tell me in the hours between work and going to sleep at 4 o'clock in the morning, pass out with a gin bottle in your hand, you didn't have any time for cleaning.
Yeah, Asmund Phil, you're right. I in the past have said, oh, I heard that Asmund Gold lives in like a hoarder's mess of a place. My place was pretty bad too. There was no trash. There was no trash.
He's trying to debunk as much as he can,
but it was a bunch of boxes and fucking shit all around me.
DSP had run out of storage for his baubles and memorabilia.
Oh, he totally wakes up at 10:45.
Too much.
That's why he's late all the time.
I have nowhere to put this shit. If I had somewhere to put it or sort it, I'd probably be able to see it. But it's all just a jumbled mess on top of my dresser. I need more room.
His closet, even with items optimally stored, was overfilled.
What I want to look at is just to show you what a mess the inside of my fucking closet is. I'm not going to go all the way because my Logitech.
Look at that nice closet space.
Look at all the boxes I've got.
Oh my god.
Phil did not value or understand money, except when it came to others. Phil, when talking about Project 7, classifies it as a financial loss for the t-shirts he helped finance and, more importantly, the props that he bought. This prop that Howard is holding is a Lancer from the game Gears of War and cost $300. It had less than 30 seconds of screen time and was even less relevant to the plot, yet was the majority of shared expenses. He would use this and other items.
Actually, if you want to know the truth, the handgun I'm holding was more expensive than the Lancer, because the Lancer was made of plastic, and the handgun I'm using was actually like a replica gun that had like metal and other things on it. So that gun in my hand is like $4.99 from when I bought it, and it lit up.
$500 on a gun, $300 on another gun.
Yeah,
but guys, it's not my fault.
I bought. We were gonna have a whole sci-fi episode, and it was gonna have like scenes with Mass Effect, and I bought a life-size replica of the Avenger rifle from Mass Effect that lit up and fucking made all this sound, and that thing cost, I'm not kidding you, cost $799, because we had already had all these plans laid out.
$800 fucking dollars on a single prop. What the fuck, DSP?
And then it got canceled after 4 episodes. So I lost a lot of money on this show overall. Well, they're talking about,
because you spent like an idiot.
Get paid, because the show didn't actually make me any money at all. What was making me money was the insane amount of gameplay videos that I was pumping out on a daily basis. That's where all my profits were coming from. This, again, like I say right now about my DSP throwback channel, I call it like a passion project. Project 7 was meant to be a passion project that hopefully we could finance to get off the ground, and then people would see what we were capable of. We could sell DVDs. We could appear at, circuits of conventions, get the word out there, and then maybe we could do other shows and shit. That was supposed to be like the whole idea. But it didn't. It only got 4 episodes, and then the whole thing just fell apart. So it ended up being a giant loss for me. These guys didn't lose anything besides time. Respect the Pack are the biggest losers because in this situation, because they worked on it the most with all the editing and everything. And again, I feel bad because yes, I do feel like I should have paid them. If they had asked, I would have. We never had the conversation. If they said that we didn't or whatever, that's a complete lie. I'm sorry that they would lie about that because they were so angry or upset or salty about the situation. But that's totally not what happened at all. That's complete bullshit. Doug Savona,
exactly
thank you for
what
a super chat. He says, this is for you, King. Thank you, Doug. And Papa Gino with a $2 super chat says, Howard sounds like a jealous bum. He's not a bum, but I do feel like he had a lot of resentment and jealousy towards me that he would never vocally say. It was passive aggression, I feel. Guys, if you're here tonight, please click like on the stream. Get some engagement. It helps this channel a lot.
Hit that like, guys.
If you're enjoying it so far, this is ad-free. I'm not running any ads on here tonight.
Or
so
even worse, the DSP thong that he used to
going,
sell on
tips,
whatever
so that would be
website.
great. Thank you for your contributions. Let's continue.
To try to convince viewers and friends that Project 7 was not profitable, disregarding his egregious spending habits.
Yeah, it's more about respect and being fair.
It's about respect, man. You have no respect for your friends, for your family. You don't give a shit about anybody but yourself.
But he didn't justify that statement. All he did was say it, but he never justified it. What are you talking about? When did I ever disrespect?
Why does he need to justify it?
What? My family didn't have any issues with me. These guys never even said they had an issue with me. So what are you talking about? He's just
I wouldn't want to use that for
crazy
toilet paper, dude. That's gross.
Say, this is the end. I don't ever want to have anything
his face that close to your ass. I wouldn't want that.
But where's the justification for what you just said? You don't even have it. And again, if this legit was
the justification is you showed up in a BMW while crying that you were broke and you had no money. Just like now, guys, I don't have any money to upgrade my stuff. Hey guys, guess what? I got a cat. Guys, guess what? I bought a bunch of stuff on WWE Champions for my second channel. Guys, guess what? Guys, guess what? I just did more door dashing. Guys, guess what?
John Rambo saying that to me. That would hurt so bad. But the fact that Howard's saying it, who had minimal input and work done on my channel. Minimal. It was Project 7 and a few playthroughs here and there, if that. That's stupid. Like, who are you? Why are you interjecting yourself into the friendship that I had with John and into this conversation?
My friendship.
You're the last fucking person who should open their mouth.
My friendship.
Me and John did more for my content than you ever did. So go fuck yourself, man. Seriously, like, get the fuck
Man,
out.
He hates Howard.
Bullshit, because you want to look like an internet tough guy.
There were plenty of examples of DSP's poor spending habits. Few trump his 3 custom-made quilts. These quilts, individually and also factoring inflation, cost Phil a minimum of $1,000.
Let me think about that. Probably right. He's probably right. Because they were very expensive, yes. But keep in mind, I was debt-free outside of paying my mortgage on my condo and this lease that I had on the BMW. I was debt-free. I didn't have any credit card debt. I was making more than enough money.
Then why didn't you pay towards the condo? If you had paid off the Connecticut condo, then it wouldn't matter that, guys, I paid $130 for it, but they're only going to let me sell it for $60,000. And if you had it paid off, that's $60,000 that you get to keep. Imagine he moves to Washington with that $40,000 in saving, and then he sells the Connecticut condo for $60,000 after paying it off. Instead, figurines, BMWs, and of course in 2014, the gotcha started with WWE Supercard.
To pay for all of this out of pocket. This was not me racking.
Oh yeah, he could have rented it out.
Debt. But he's saying basically this is laying the groundwork for overspending habits. I think that's what he's saying. So let's continue.
How much was Phil earning?
The good news is this, okay? I'm an intelligent person. I'm a finance major. I went to school for finance.
Bullshit,
I'm day
being
one when I
intelligent.
started making money off of YouTube that I was going to bank it. I was not going to go out there and invest in things that I couldn't get money out of. I'm still here in the concept.
Exactly,
I didn't go out
Clonius.
and buy a super over-expensive house, and
Yep.
I didn't go out and buy a sports car. Yes, I am driving a BMW, but it's actually a lot more economical than people really think.
On DSP Gaming alone,
No,
for
it's
the year
not.
of 2012, he got 85.19 million views. Dividing that by 1,000 is 85,190. Multiplying that by $2, not $2.25, which it could sometimes be, but $2 as a base CPM for Machinima, excluding the possibility of bonuses, would mean that he made a gross of $170,380 for 2012.
And yet that money's all
Probably
gone.
Close to true. I don't know if that's exactly true, but it's probably very close. I think my best earning year was 2011. That was the year that I made big bank. And then 2012 was probably
And
around
yet all that money is
2013, It
gone.
went down a little. And then 2014, 2015, it went down more. And then it just plummeted after 2015 because of the copyright strikes, which I'm sure we'll get to. By the way, thank you, Hard Nose. who
And
gave the
yet it's
membership and went to Hear It
all
Rock. Enjoy Hear It
fucking
Rock.
gone.
The problem now that he was presenting his audience, starting 2013, is that Machinima was renegotiating many other contracts.
Yep.
What this meant for Phil is he went from sometimes earning $2.25 per 1,000 views to a base $2.
In the year of 2012, my views really have dwindled. And what I mean is, I believe in the year of 2011, I probably got somewhere over like 10 to 11 million views.
Flush down
on
the toilet like
DSP,
he does
and then
bacon
2012,
grease.
I only barely reached like 8.5 million or something like that. I don't think the final number is in yet.
DSP lied and understates his views by nearly tenfold. Not only
I probably was talking about monthly, is what I was saying. I'm not talking about overall in the year. I think that would meant like by month. Because the highest I ever did on DSP Gaming was over 10 million. Because Machinima, I remember, specifically paid a bonus when you got over 10 million. And so I think, at least, again, I don't even know what video that is. I think I'm stating like monthly. The highest I ever did, I was bringing in like 10, 11 million views a month. But then in the next year, it did go way down. So no, that's not me miscalculating. That's me saying monthly. Maybe I didn't say monthly in the video, but that's what I probably meant, I would think.
is this proven incorrect by archives such as Social Blade, this is proven incorrect directly on his own YouTube channel where there are screenshots from the start of
Right, because telling you, probably meant monthly. It's not a big deal.
2012 to the beginning of 2013 that shows he got nearly 90 million views. It was also here that Phil was toting his financial responsibility.
You don't see me here with super expensive clothes on or anything, and you don't see me wearing jewelry and shit. You know, I'm smart. I banked my money. So
I did.
regardless of what happens,
What a surprise
in
move
this
for
next
midnight.
year, I'm still okay. So I just want everyone to understand that.
Phil was ever confident that, even though he was now riding a downward trend, he could survive. His tune would change in the coming months as he would have to navigate troubles that were exclusive to him and the culture he was inadvertently creating.
All right,
What
this is
could
the troll arc. Yes, here we go. Here comes the
Evil
troll arc.
AJ.
This is probably the arc that I will learn most from because, again, I don't really follow my trolls. I don't know much or anything about them. They all were hating on me, and I didn't even know who the fuck they
Evil
were. I'm just gonna
AJ
do my thing. So I might
time.
learn a ton in this section. I might be like, oh my god, I never knew that. But to just end cap that part, for the most part, he covered the most dramatic stuff about the John and Howard and Project 7 situation.
Yeah,
but
he had
literally
40K
only took
guys
their
before he
side.
moved,
He didn't even take
Then he
anything
blew it all
from
in the
my rebuttal
move,
years
like an
later
idiot.
that basically said, no, most of the stuff they're saying is fake, you know, or over-exaggerated, or it's really only from one perspective and it's not correct. Maybe he will later,
Mike
'cause I didn't
Clume
do my
documentary
response
would be
yet, so, like,
amazing, but
weeks
it'll
ago.
never happen.
Maybe he will later, maybe he won't. Maybe he'll just discredit and never pretend like I never rebutted. I don't know. But let's go. The two reasons. There are two underlying reasons why he would have made this video.
Come on. That's why I didn't want to fucking restart the game.
Number one, he's just insanely jealous of me.
Hey, not my fault. I love it.
The other is that the guy is one of these gamers, like I mentioned, who play the games to feel accomplishment.
What the?
So this is me. I think this is me reacting to
Bitching
this
about
time
Evil
Don't Play,
AJ.
a series that he's probably about to explain, June. And this is completely now I know, 12 plus
Yeah,
years
like
later, this
Duty
is
with his
insanely
5K
stupid.
in a single
This is the
fucking
worst way
month.
I
Go
could have possibly
him.
gone about reacting to this kind of stuff.
And he's still fighting for his
okay, I'll say
monetization to get
I'm
back.
Sure I'm about to be cringing and be embarrassed with this, along with all of you.
And even
because I was
without it,
so
he's still
eager
making
on how I
videos.
tried to handle this. Okay.
The fuck?
Even without monetization, he's still making videos.
What?
On February 15, 2013, YouTube user EvilAJ2010, in direct response to Phil claiming his videos are well received, uploaded a compilation of Phil's Metal Gear Solid 2 playthroughs with only the clips of his failures or Phil's obscene commentary.
How'd I fucking miss?
Even with that considered, the supercut was nearly an hour long. In addition to this, it included AJ's own text commentary and images of many comments found under Phil's original Let's Play. Where many channels failed to capture the negative yet entertaining aspects of Phil, AJ was succeeding. A month later, in March, his video was up to 77,000 views, and word was spreading.
DSP is a weird guy. It's like a train wreck that you can't look away from, that's on every day. 10
Exactly
times a
why
day,
I
24
watch
hours.
it.
Oh, come on, guys. Come on.
I don't know who two best friends play are, but yeah, this kind of stuff started happening. Like people started seeing This Is How You Don't Play, and this was their reaction. Everyone started talking about it, that they love This Is How You Don't Play because it highlights me in the most negative way possible as an inept gamer and a moron.
Because you are
You know,
inept and a
completely ignoring
moron.
the good parts of my playthroughs, and they loved that. Like they thought it was a laugh riot. So again, this up to this point, 2008 to like 2012, 2013, was like everyone
People
likes
loved me,
DSP.
guys. They
There's some
still
people who
loved
just love him,
me.
but don't. Over the most part, everyone's laughing with him. It's a great ride. 2013, when This Is How You Don't Play began, it started to be, we're laughing at Phil now rather than with him. He's the butt of the joke. He's the
They never
he's
laughed
the
with you,
wise
DSP.
guy
They all
success
thought you were
because look at
cringe.
how schlub he is as a gamer and a content creator. And this is where all the waves of negativity
They
started.
used to love
And
me,
like you said,
guys.
all
They
the
really
YouTubers are
did.
reacting, basically,
The
to
evil
those kind of videos. It's great
AJ.
talking negatively about me, and this big meme that Phil sucks started around this time.
The reason Evil AJ's video was so successful was both external to Metal Gear Solid and internal. The external elements that bring interest are that DSP has continuously bled viewers through his lack of editing, refusal to use a capture card, and poor gameplay. The elements that are internal, and why Metal Gear Solid was the perfect game to capture the essence of Phil, is foremost that Kojima, the person that heads the creation of the series, is well respected within the gaming community as
Unlike
are his
DSP.
creations. The Metal Gear Solid series chiefly requires critical thinking, as it is required to appropriately employ every item in your arsenal, as well as to react quickly in tense situations. It also requires patience to be able to learn enemy patrol patterns or learn from one's mistakes. Phil lacks severely in both of these fields and approached Metal Gear Solid 2 as an action game, forcing his way through situations that require nuanced approaches, all while criticizing Kojima.
Kojima wants to make movies. Kojima does not want to make video games. He will really, you can tell, he wanted to make a bunch of long movies or miniseries of this stuff.
Evil AJ, in April and July, will go on to release This Is How You Don't Play Metal Gear Solid 3 and Metal Gear Solid 4.
Some of the best videos ever
This
released.
manifestation of dislike of Phil could not have come at a worse time for him. Not only were his views plummeting, unrelated to AJ, he was also desperate to staunch the loss of viewership to the point he finally caved in and began using a capture card. He also began live streaming, though he was still not editing his playthroughs and pushing out more videos than the
never
average
would.
person cared to watch. Phil was still steeply behind on the curve, losing viewership to rising Let's Players.
This, how many more people are doing Let's Plays? Like, it's ridiculous the amount of people who've gotten into it, to the point where a website like YouTube, unfortunately, doesn't really feature anyone but the top 2 or 3 guys who are doing it. And let's face it, why do you always see the same people in related videos, featured videos? For the person who's not...
Because they allow
it's so
comments on their
hard
videos
to
and they allow
notice now
thumbs
on
up and thumbs
YouTube.
down, unlike
Were you
you.
expecting something else?
The irony is that Phil's accumulated viewership was influencing the algorithm to keep advertising his content. The
Okay, I want to do some shout-outs before I get too backlogged here. So Arrow Squirrel does a super chat. Metal Gear Solid was funny as fuck, but not
Gotta
with
look
me
at
and
his
Phil.
script,
Yeah,
make sure he gets
what
it
I have
right.
to emphasize here is that it was my shtick to always be over the top. If I was playing a difficult game, yeah, the game could be difficult, but I'm going to completely over-exaggerate how hard it is and yell and complain and scream. That was the DSP character people knew. They knew it from when I played online.
But it's
fighting
not
game.
a
If I'm losing, I
character.
freak
Howard
out
and
at the
Rambo
person,
confirm
right?
it.
So if I'm losing to Metal Gear Solid because it's actually a tough game, I'm going to complain about the game. I'm going to say it sucks. I'm going to say Kojima's a terrible game director. It's all part of my shtick. And the thing is, up until I did Metal Gear Solid,
You didn't say
no one
Kojima
really
was
cared.
terrible. You
It
called
wasn't
him a
like, oh, Phil's like
cocksucker.
an awful gamer, awful content creator. People thought it was funny. When I played Metal Gear Solid, all of a sudden, because it was Metal Gear Solid and Kojima that I was doing that to, it was like blasphemous. Like, how dare you criticize our
blasphemous.
gaming
How dare
god and
you.
idol? Holy Kojima may not be criticized. How dare you say these things? And
Exactly.
when I
Don't
saw that,
Say that to
okay,
Kojima.
I essentially hammed it up even worse.
Kojima is God.
This
Shut the
was not a
fuck
playthrough I
up.
did in a day. This is a playthrough that I would do in a week or 2 weeks. So I'm going to ham it up even worse. I'm going to make more fun of Kojima because you claimed that you were upset by it. That's how I was. I was this antagonist, and that's how I got a lot of attention for myself. So this was the first time where it actually blew up in my face. Before this, it always worked, and people
Before
liked
this,
it.
I was allowed to
This
call
was the
anyone a
first time I don't
cocksucker.
get
It was
I'm doing the same thing
okay.
that I used to do and people liked, and now people are hating on me for it, saying like I fucked up, but I swear to God, this is the same thing I did with every other game. So I'm confused, you know. But it blew up in my face. I received an $11 tip. Probably, maybe allegedly. So we're all big mad at Phil for living like a bachelor, filling his condo with stuff of his own interests. Why is this such a topic? Why Phil? What Phil does with his income? It always has been. It literally always has been a topic. And I think what Joon's getting at is that this is an established history of being financially irresponsible. That even
Yes, a history of you blowing your money on stupid shit that you didn't need, didn't even fucking want half the time. Like, he bought statues of games he didn't fucking play. Like, why are you buying statues of Team Fortress? You don't play that game. And yet he was wasting thousands on this shit. Again, on games he didn't fucking play. It makes no fucking sense that you would buy statues for games you didn't fucking play, DSP. Just saying.
even when I had money, I spent it on dumb shit. I didn't handle it well. And this is going to eventually lead to my financial downfall later. You know, declaring
You mean right
bankruptcy, having
now?
to beg my audience constantly for contributions, etc. Right? I think he's establishing a narrative and a pattern.
Yes,
This is
a
the
pattern of
storyline.
you
understand?
sucking
This
at
is the
life
ongoing background story
and being
of
a
DSP.
piece of
I mean,
shit.
it even said in the description of the video, I've been around for nearly 20 years, leaving a path of chaos and financial ruin behind me. So that's his story. His story is that I'm bad with money. So
You
expect
are
more of
bad
this story,
with
even more.
money.
If you're okay with a man spending his money however he wants, you're probably not going to like the rest of this documentary because it's probably going to be highly critical of me spending money. Okay? Okay.
The loss of viewership
Spending
was
money
because
while
people
crying
were
that you're
familiar
broke
with
and you're
what
gonna
he
lose your
produced and
house.
stayed away from it despite YouTube pushing it.
There's the kind of person who would say, oh no, I lost views, stop my feet, oh man. But I would say, no, I'm gonna stay positive, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing.
Phil was losing viewership and supporters. Chris, or Mighty Furtado, the 18-year-old that co-made DSP's website and was responsible for building his computer, actually
Oh,
had
I've seen clips from Twitter about this part. This is fucking gold.
a falling out with DSP. Starting with Chris calling DSP lazy for initially not wanting to adapt to direct capture.
That is true. If I remember correctly, he insulted me first, and it started this whole like feud.
He insulted me
But let's
first,
see,
so it's
I don't
okay for
really
me to
remember the
call him a
situation. I
piece
wanna
of
see what-
shit.
What Joon dug up here on this.
Which DSP demanded an apology for. At that point, Chris had had enough and stopped supporting DSP, leaving DSP to purchase the domain back.
Whenever I tried to help, he kind of just shot on me for it. So at that point, I was like, why am I going to support somebody who I've been trying to help for so many years? You know,
Whenever I tried to help, he shat on me for it. You didn't try to help. He was saying things like DSP is a dinosaur because he's not doing direct capture and live streaming.
Yes, he was trying to push you to do direct capture. Like literally every single other person on YouTube at the time. He was trying to help you move forward with your content and your channel and make more fucking money. And you called him a piece of shit for it. Jackass.
I actually just had this very same conversation with Keemstar the other day when I interviewed him, okay? I'm the kind of guy that if you talk to me with respect and being nice, I will listen.
If you kiss
to
his
and I will
ass.
actually cherish your opinions and your criticism.
If you
If
kiss
come
his
at me in
ass.
a very negative way, trolling, insults, I'm literally going to shut you off. Even if what you're saying is valid, I don't care. You came at me in a very negative way. It's the golden rule. Treat others how you want to be treated, right? I'm sure that he wouldn't have wanted me to immediately say, hey, man, you're an asshole, blah, blah, blah. Here's what you need to improve. Wait,
Except
what?
you did
But you
do
prefaced
that.
it saying that I'm an asshole, right? So if you preface it saying that I'm a
But
dinosaur,
you are an asshole.
I'm not going to
You're a
listen to you,
dinosaur.
all right? In his mind, maybe he thinks I'm helping Phil, but if you come at me in a negative, awful way, I'm not going to give a crap about what you're saying.
Exactly,
I co-created
JDX.
his
He
whole website,
fucking says
co-created
it,
his
right,
forums,
Roachbait?
co-built his gaming PC. I've helped him so much.
Yes,
And when I
on
try
your
to help him
knees,
try to adapt to
begging
direct capture,
for him to
he's
give
not
you the
kind
glory of
really
his
taking the
time.
suggestions from myself as well as everybody else in the chat during that time.
It doesn't end there. With Chris now persona non grata, DSP made extreme claims without evidence about the price of the PC Chris had built. Chris, not pleased with this, made a video in response.
He had made a video basically stating that he had sent us apparently $3,000, and that wasn't the case.
See, this is proof that he watched this video beforehand. He watched the video beforehand, so he could have this video lined up and ready to go. Guys, I think what we're going to be covering in today, guys, I think what the documentary covers, guys, what I think, there's no thinking. You fucking know, because you watched it ahead of time. That's why you had this video lined up and ready to fucking go. You know what, I'm just gonna, you being a piece of shit again. No, fuck you. Fuck you. Guys, I don't know what's going to be covered today, but hopefully it covers this and this. That'd be really cool, wouldn't it? When you fucking know what is covered because you had this fucking video ready. You had this video ready to go. Fuck you.
Right there, I only wanted to go maybe $700 to $1,000, maybe $1,200. I wasn't expecting to spend $1,600 on this thing. And as I was working with this guy, Mighty Furtado, basically he was like, well, if you want this, you got to spend more. If you want this, you got to spend more. And it just kept adding up.
Yeah, if you want
adding
something
up.
amazing, you
The
got
time
to
that I
spend
gave him the
more.
money, I was not happy, but I was like,
When I initially built my computer, it's like, all right, here's my budget, and I stuck to it. But then in the future, it's like, oh, hey, you know, I'm going to get this M2 NVMe hard 2 terabyte SSD hard drive and use it in the other slot because I had 2 slots on my motherboard. Well, then, for some reason, my PC would only detect 1 hard drive. Why? I don't know. Take it in, get it worked on. It's like, well, you know what? As long as they already got it open, they're already working on it. Let's get a 4 terabyte HDD to replace the 2 terabyte one. Well, I know as long as they already got it open, and Amazon has a good sale on the 4070 Super Ti thing and all that, let's get that. But I don't come to you guys going, guys, I spent so much money on my PC parts. Help! I knew what I was going into. That's why I budgeted. And then in the future, when I had more money to spend, you know what I did? I spent fucking more money because I could fucking afford it, unlike you, DSP.
Like, as long as the PC does what it's supposed to do, I guess it's fine in the end, right? I kind of felt like he was kind of leading me along. I get the PC and it's all fucked up. The door has a crack. The fucking half the RAM doesn't work in the PC. And it's like, dude, so not only did I pay
So it got knocked loose. All you gotta do is plug it back in.
But now
Mister, I build PCs. Like, guys used to build PCs and do LAN parties. Doesn't know to stick the RAM stick back in.
He hosed me. He gave me a PC that's fucked up. So I call him out on it, and he freaks out like I'm a villain for saying facts about the situation. Okay? In the original video, I said 1,600. I will guarantee you there will be people who will now say, well, we have all this evidence you said $3,000. Fine. I'm not going to be here to dispute what I said or didn't say because I'm not going to sit here and go through my...
Guys, I know I did it, but I don't care because I got this one video of me saying 1,600. I don't care that there's other videos of me out there saying 3,000. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that I said 3,000 in the past. All that matters now is I got this one video saying 1,600. So, fuck you.
My history of videos. I have no idea why I ever would have said $3,000, whether it was confusion, whether it was me misremembering, because all I can really remember is the emotion behind the situation. And I was just like, at every time that I thought the situation was over, someone would be like, hey, Phil, did you hear the new video Mighty Furtado made about you today, making fun of you again? Did you hear that he's hating on you again? Did you hear? I was like, what the fuck are we still talking about Mighty Furtado for? I bought the website from him, so it's not in his hands anymore. He already hosed me for the PC. Why is this still a discussion? And people just kept bringing it up. The guy like,
didn't
shut
hose
up
you.
about it. So it was an ongoing thing. He was getting internet notoriety for being a hater of mine, and it pissed me off. And I just wanted to be over. And
why'd I lie to make myself look better, guys? Bullshit.
Ladies and gentlemen, over 11 years later, I have not spoken a word about this man in how long? And in this fucking documentary, it's coming up again.
You talked about him in, I think, 2014.
Fuck about the PC, all right? I don't give a fuck about it. I don't give a fuck that I got ripped off or whatever. Here's what I want to do.
You weren't ripped off.
Mighty Furtado, I want you to move the fuck on with your life and leave me the fuck alone, because at this point, this is weird shit. 11 years later...
Mind you, he was just talking shit about Jaha and Mike and all these other guys from the FGC, which is even older. Guys, in 2005, I was shit-talking this person and that person. Isn't that awesome? I can't believe this guy to be upset that I lied about him in 2011.
And you're talking about this? Are you out of your mind? Like, what the fuck is going on? I have not mentioned this in so long, I don't even remember the situation to defend myself of why I would have said one thing and another. But you saw the original response I had. I said it was 1,600. It should have ended there. He kept going, and that's why the situation
You kept going,
and that's likely
so
why
he had to
I
respond to
probably
you being a bitch.
or exaggerated or whatever the fuck it is. I have absolutely no fucking idea. All right? If you have evidence, and I'm sure people will now have it, then I made it up, or I misremembered, or I lied, whatever it is. Who knows? I don't know, but I don't care either. I don't give a fuck. About 11 years ago, this fucking PC. This is 2 PCs ago now, right? Why the fuck do I care about it today? It was a dumb, stupid little thing that was a blip for me, but then became a giant, annoying thing as people who didn't like me made it into a giant molehill out of this tiny little, you know what I'm saying? Or excuse me, made it a mountain out of a molehill. That's exactly what it was, okay? Anyway, let's do some shout-outs. We've got Skunkgasm, who says, sometimes a viewer will give you advice or sometimes constructive...
Remember, guys, the narcissist prayer. That didn't happen, and if it did, it wasn't that bad. If it was, that's not a big deal. If it is, it's not my fault. If it was, I didn't mean it, and if I did, you deserved it. 100% DSP right here.
Criticism, and without negative delivery, at times you'll get aggressive. You're right, and that's something that I have to get better at.
Yeah, guys, the chat is right about this, but shut the fuck up about it.
Or if it is a detractor meme that's been going on recently, I do sometimes get very defensive at it. And that is something that I need to get better at, I feel. And I feel like I have gotten a lot better at that over the years, but I need to continue to improve with that. I agree with you there. Bloomkid does a super chat. If you ever said $3,000, you lied, so admit it. If I ever said $3,000, I lied. You're right. I see a video at the very beginning of this feud happening where I said 1,600. So that's the evidence I have. So I said 1,600 in a video I just watched. That literally happened at the beginning of the situation. So if ever I said it after 3,000, I guess I've just proved myself that I lied about it after, correct? But originally the video I put out said 1,600. And then the situation continued because he wouldn't shut up.
Cannot find the
I
video.
didn't care. Why would I keep talking about it? He's the one who kept bringing shit up and being a detractor of mine. It wasn't me talking about him, okay?
Yeah, he's very defensive, isn't he?
Cave Teeth to the super chat. Only 1,600. Phil is now Fitler. He's basically saying now compare me to Hitler because of this situation. Yeah, I know. Like this was one of the things, one of the many stupid things over the years that essentially got blown up by my detractors early. This is the early days. This is 2013, right? It was so dumb and innocuous and stupid and not a big deal. And I just wanted to move on with my life.
Might not be a big deal to you that you shit on someone and lied about them.
She said, I don't care. I'm fucking playing games. I'm making content. Can you shut the fuck up about the PC? I don't care about it anymore. I don't care about that guy. He doesn't exist to me anymore. I bought the website. I bought the PC. He's out of my life. Why are we still talking? And people would keep bringing it up to annoy me. And this is what it was. They knew that it got my goat, so they kept bringing it up to piss me off. And that's eventually when you get further and further.
And then you
down
let them
into
do
the
it, huh?
Depths of, oh, what did Phil say? Well, maybe I was pissed and I said 3,000, right? There you go. Okay. I received a $20 tip. Just a $20 tip. It's anonymous. Thank you so much, whoever sent that. I really appreciate that. That will get us to $50 out of the 150. That is my goal for the night. And we still have about an hour, hour and a half left on the stream, FYI. So it would be great if you like the content, if you like the fact I am reacting
it would be
to all of this.
super great, guys.
The way that I am. If you could contribute tonight, that would be very, very good. I would appreciate that very much. I want to keep this king streak going of hitting this tips goal every stream. I've done it 32 straight streams so far. So
I'll say $50 time to put the glasses on, but he retired the glasses.
All right.
And hat and vest.
To make matters even worse, it turns out
exactly,
Chris paid
yeah,
for shipping out pocket.
We actually paid.
Okay, well, he's saying that. I can't defend myself there because I have no evidence. I mean, we're talking about PayPal receipts from 12 years ago, so I can't dispute this.
An additional 150 from out of pocket from my side just to ship the computer.
That may have been the last of his direct interactions with Phil, but not with others that post him. A portion of Chris's second video is in defense of Evil AJ, even showing that he was in communication with him. And then there were videos coming out supporting Chris.
Very recently, there's been a lot of videos that have been coming out on YouTube about Darkside Phil, exposing him or whatever. The one that really got me was the one that was made by Chris, of Chris and Teo.
No, there weren't. At this point, there weren't. It was the This Is How You Don't Play videos were the ones that were coming out and getting traction. There wasn't a lot of videos that Phil's been exposed and shit. That's bullshit. Videos like this were getting like a few thousand views. It was This Is How You Don't Play that was bullshit.
A few thousand views? More views than you get on your videos today, DSP. Anything over 500 is more than your average, just saying.
Blowing up and was getting hundreds of thousands of views, and those are the ones I was worried about, because what I was worried about was, if people are just going to go watch This Is How You Don't Play instead of my raw gameplay, that means my business is going to suffer. They're not going to watch me put out the videos on my channel. They're going to wait for someone else to make This Is How You Don't Play, and they're going to get my.
Well, then how about you try not sucking at a video game?
Content, and I never did. That's where my concern.
Actually, when he tried to not suck at a video game, that's when he was buying all the guides and watching videos on how to get through parts, which made the content boring.
Was I didn't give a shit about people making this kind of video.
Who designed Darkside Phil's website for free and built him a computer.
There was a rising community of support, one that was built on the common dislike of Phil. The threads were being intertwined in such a way that new channels making This Is How You Don't Plays would sometimes pay homage to Evil AJ.
Yep, this is totally true. Again, this is all my fault. I will take all of the blame for everything involved with This Is How You Don't Play, okay? Here's why. If I had reacted differently, if I had laughed along with them, if I had maybe even taken advantage and started making my own, or having someone, paying someone to make these for me and putting up on my channel,
someone to make your own.
I could have capitalized on all of this.
You don't even pay your editors now. You don't make money.
Situation. I actually don't even feel that
exactly,
today,
John F. What business?
I would be in a situation where so many people hate me and I have these detractors.
That's the crouch jump.
Reacted completely differently to This Is How You Don't Play. But publicly, I will tell you all this.
The greatest jump in history, the crouch jump.
This is a confession. I've already said this before, but I'm going to say it again for the purposes of this react. I, at this point, thought my shit didn't stink. I was of the impression that if I was a successful YouTuber for 5 years, I knew what was good, and everyone else didn't know anything. Just because everyone else was going direct capture and live stream didn't mean I had to. I didn't have to follow the trends. I was being a contrarian.
Exactly.
Right?
Everything
says, no, Phil, you're a dinosaur.
that requires
like,
effort, he refuses
I'm
to
a
do.
dinosaur that'll keep making a good business, and you can go fuck yourself. That's what my attitude was. That was 100%.
So you are a dinosaur, like you were
the
accused of
wrong
being.
attitude to have. Because even though there were people coming at me in a negative way, saying it in an insulting way, a lot of people just wanted to see me continue to win. And the fact that they saw that my channel was losing views, I was starting to get made fun of by people. People didn't like it. Oh man, he was such a popular guy. Now look, everyone's laughing at him and shit, right? I didn't listen. I had opportunity to listen. I had opportunity to take constructive criticism and grow. But at this point, my head was so fucking big from being a popular YouTuber, from making the money I was making, and not giving in, not changing to trends, but still doing what I'd done all along and still being successful, that I refused to change for the better. Okay?
So successfully had to declare bankruptcy, guys.
That's absolutely 100% on me. Even when I adopted direct capture and live streaming in 2013, I ignored the stream.
Yeah, you're kicking and screaming the whole time, and John Rambo had to set it up for you. Without Rambo, you still wouldn't have it.
Yeah, I refused to talk to people in the chat as if they were there and have a conversation. I was like, you guys, the peanut gallery, you can watch live if you want. I'm going to pretend like this is an offline video. What?
That's a weird fucking thing to do, DSP.
I was. I literally 100% was a fucking moron. I never should have acted like that. That was a gold mine to have that interaction with my live audience to create new kinds of content, right? And I ignored it all.
And then you
I
fucked it all
interacting with the audience for 4
womp,
years.
womp.
4 fucking years. I'm an idiot, you know? But now I know that because eventually I said, okay, I'll change now. All right? I will,
again, you change when you're
totally
forced
listen.
to.
And in 2017, I changed, and all of a sudden it was like night and day. My God, my audience is talking to me. We're having a good time. where people are getting to know the real me instead of the
And then
asshole,
you
know what I mean?
call them
And then I
lazy
changed
for
the
not
better over the
watching
last 7 years
Pokemon.
to not even think that way. Now I cherish your criticism. I cherish your input and your
You
constructive
cherish nothing,
suggestions.
you
It
piece
makes
of
my
shit.
content way better. But back then in 2012, 2013, I was a big-headed idiot. I literally thought
Yeah,
I
Rambo
was
set
top
up
of the
the
world and
capture
everyone
card
else
for
sucked.
him.
How dare you tell me to improve? How tell you tell me to change? I didn't want to listen to anyone. And that's on me. And that's really one of the core reasons why I had that
Because
situation.
John
where
Rambo
everyone
was a
hated me
good
and I
friend
got
who
into an
wanted to help
absolute
his
drama.
friend
That's
out.
where really the origin of the detractors came from. Okay? But that's different from today. As you'll see, my detractors definitely evolved differently over the years to be something so
Evolved,
much more harmful
guys.
than just a bunch of people making fun of me on the internet with this is how you don't play. And we'll get to that. The crunchiest onion did a super chat. Do you not feel like sometimes a valid criticism has to be insulting because it's a harsh truth? Do you feel you've sometimes confused nice criticism as insults? Of course. Of course. Again, I'm a human, and I make mistakes, and I tend to get heated
I'm a
about certain
human,
topics and
guys.
things.
Believe
And
me,
yeah,
read me that I'm
absolutely.
human.
Absolutely, that's possible.
You're not human.
But, you know, that's just the kind of guy I am. As you know, if you say something in a certain way, it kind of pisses me off. If you're nice to me, it changes that fact. Look at me with Kino Casino recently. They're nice to me, and look at what happened as a result.
They kiss
As
my
opposed to originally
ass, so I
just
do
being
whatever they
fun and being
want.
dicks to me. None of this last month would have
He
happened.
even
All the
banned
toxic content, all the
Derek.
crazy stuff that's been happening, right?
Something we never thought would
RC
happen. He
$5 tip.
banned Derek because they were nice to him and gave him money.
Your next PC did cost $3,000. They take the new PC, they slap it on the Chris PC and cause confusion throughout the years. You have a hypothesis. The detractors did their own hypothesis on the price. I don't know about that. The new PC I bought in 2014. I don't know if anyone was saying that the new PC's cost is the same as the cost of the old one. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I think that topic was spent on so long for no fucking reason because it doesn't mean anything. It's just worthless drama that didn't amount to anything, right? But I get why Joon covered it the way he did. But I don't even care at this point. I played the video that showed that originally I said it was 1,600. I told the truth. If I misremembered and lied
Yep,
after
Uncle
that,
Pedo
whatever, I guess
betrayed
that
him.
sucks that I did. But originally I said the right thing. So there you have it. I received a $2
But what about
tip.
all that porn I sent you, DSP? Does that mean
If you
anything
thought
to
this is how you don't
you?
play was going to steal your views, why didn't you make the logical jump to making your own? Because I was a stubborn fool. Because I thought my shit didn't stink. Because I thought I was above criticism. Because I thought that I was the best
And
YouTuber
threatened
on
to
the
take the
planet,
money away
and
from
all my
him.
content was better than
When
everyone
Kino
else's.
Casino
and
threatened
no
to
one
take
held
their
a candle to
debt
me,
money away
and I
from
was
him,
grumpy,
then he
and I was
finally said,
jealous,
"Alright,
and I was
fine, it's time to
disgruntled
ban
about
him."
everyone around me was growing and getting all the views and getting the prominence, and I wasn't getting invited to be a featured guest at a convention anymore because everyone wanted to make fun of me rather than actually be having fun with me. I was a really, really miserable wretch. That's why. That's the honest answer. I received a $2 tip from Bio. I've been watching for a long time. Honestly, I've noticed some contradictions in what you've said over the years. Misremembering a PC price from 10 years ago isn't lying. It's a mistake, not a lie. You're fine. No, but they're saying that I misremembered like right away. Like immediately I was saying the wrong price. And again, that wasn't intentional. You know what I'm saying?
I'll
Like,
say he
wasn't
may have a new
intentional
stock
to be
account, but
at
he's
all
smart enough not to
say
talk in
the
chat
wrong
because
thing,
talking to chat will expose him
at all.
immediately.
You probably was something that was just, I was angry and I didn't care anymore. I didn't want to talk about it anymore. Soben Clay to the super chat. You really feel like you owe the computer kid an apology. You didn't give him the opportunity to fix issues before publicly shaming. I actually don't know. I actually don't know what happened if I just immediately publicly said negative things or if I did talk to him behind the scenes about it. I have no idea, nor would I. That was so long ago. There's no way that I would have any emails or receipts or anything. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Or memory
it's
because you're drinking all the
convenient
time.
for a documentarian to be able to reach out and get the receipts from him because apparently he saved them, right? I didn't save any of that. Again, back when I started on YouTube, there was no track record of this kind of shit, of internet drama that resulted from being a creator. I never thought in my wildest dreams that here we are, 11, 12 years later, and there's a 4-hour documentary being made about me, and now I need to try to defend my shit that I said back then or how I acted. I have no clue. Maybe I was an asshole. Maybe I did publicly take it and complain about it
Maybe.
right away.
Try,
instead of going directly
definitely.
to him first. Maybe I did go to him first. I don't know. Nor do I think that. I think we've already wasted
Try
like half an hour
100%,
on this. I just don't
definitely.
think that's such a. Again, it was a blip, a tiny little molehill that was blown into a mountain by people who didn't like me. It didn't mean anything, but it was because of my arrogance, basically. Like it shouldn't have been what it was, right? I was very arrogant and full of myself back then. Okay.
Say maybe I was doing that. Maybe I did do that. Maybe.
Continuing on.
But I was too drunk to
I
remember,
received
guys.
a $25 tip. I've been watching you for a few years. I honestly think your current content is the best stuff you've ever done. Lean into the good stuff and let the haters get fucked. Thank you so much, anonymous $25 tipper. I appreciate that very, very much.
So anonymous, guys. Totally not him. Making shit up. Just everyone
And
who
by the way,
comments is
following
loving him,
along with the
guys.
trends of what we're talking about
Everyone who gives
tonight,
him
how I
money
said,
loves him,
back in
don't
the
you
day,
know?
oh, by the way, the pop-ups aren't working, huh? Because I just did a pop-up and you guys didn't see it, right? Oh, I know why. They're not working because I'm on this screen. Let me go back to this screen. There it is. See, there's the pop. I was wondering. I was on the wrong screen. I told you that previously. It was the trolls and detractors who were trying to wedge themselves between myself and John Rambo, right? They're literally trying to do that right now.
I'll be doing that tomorrow, solid fool.
Yeah, did you
when I
know
get home
that
from work and all that, I'll be doing that again.
changed
Actually, I'm
and
gonna go to
now
work. Then I'm
you
gonna.
Really?
When I get out of work, I'm gonna go to the gym,
He's on
work out for a
vacation,
bit.
So what the fuck?
Then
are
when
you
I get
talking about?
home, I'll do it again.
He's on vacation. He's not making content. But this is what I mean. What they try to do is they try to stir the flames and to try to make shit, you know, drama where it doesn't exist. They're literally trying to do it at this very moment. They're so angry that there's people who I've done content with now and are cool with me. They can't take it at all. So here they are being totally negative.
No one gives a shit,
He was
DSP.
in the chat
Play
earlier.
the fucking game.
And I modded him so that way when he's in here, people can see that it's the real PPP. He's not here now. He was here earlier when I started. So where exactly do you see him turning on me, right? Anyway, let's continue.
Yeah, you watched it ahead of time. That's how he had the video ready to go.
Cat did a super chat and he says Philly cheese is
Could
showing
not have
up
had
for
that video
Philly
ready to go to
Land
prove
Court.
that he said 1400 unless you watched it ahead of
I
time.
jumped to this open play super chat first. Okay. Okay. Are we ready? Let's continue. Because already that was like a half an hour stall for something that was so dumb. Like this right here, I think is way more funny and interesting and pertinent than what we just wasted all that time on.
Like there are people doing walkthroughs of this game and they can easily jump up here, and I can't do it at all. Look, I can't fucking jump up here.
Crouch jump.
People able to jump up here. Look, I can't jump up here.
I say he totally has a script ready to go to try to cover up everything.
Oh my god.
Jump. You
Crouch
want me to
jump.
Jump. You fucking idiot.
Oh man.
Okay. Whew.
Viewers were quickly realizing that
That wasn't even what you were supposed to do, because then I got stuck and I couldn't make progress. It's supposed to be a crouching jump, which I never learned how to do in the tutorial.
DSP, with his near 4 years on YouTube, had a treasure
You mean you didn't pay attention during the tutorial where they taught you exactly what to fucking do, jackass?
trove of videos to sift through and inspire compilations or different forms of content. Whether it was Pandalee's abrasive personality and dislike of the Kingdom Hearts series,
I'm here trying to play a fucking game. It's hard to concentrate when a bunch of little immature shits get into a fucking argument with my girlfriend. Fuck you.
a DSP soundboard,
Cockadookie bullshit, mumblefuck nonsense.
or just DSP's giveaways that would sometimes just be empty video game cases.
So to warn everyone, just to show you for full disclosure, no game.
There was so much material dated by his pre-capture card era. Some of these videos were titled DSP Tries It as he tried to dominate his own Tries It series on the search results. An additional purpose of these
Well, I
was
do
to create
DSP
videos
Cries
that were
It,
shorter
'cause I think it's
snippets of
funny.
DSP rather than the long form This Is How You Don't Plays. Some just criticize DSP's habits outside of games, like
You were
DSP
in chat
Tries
with
It,
that day
both
with Panda.
spoiling
Oh,
and
that's
being a
awesome,
man-child.
dude. That's
A
old
video-
school shit
What
right
was
there.
I thinking of with the empty cases? I was giving away all the collector's edition content of the collector's editions of games. So even though I was giving away an empty game case, I was giving you the art book, the soundtrack, all the collector's packaging and everything. I didn't have the game because I traded it in. Back then, my methodology was buy a whole bunch of games, play through them within a week or two, trade them all in together at GameStop to get almost all my money back. Because back then you could do that. If you traded in 3 or more games at a time, you could get like a huge bonus on your trading credit. So even though I was buying an exorbitant amount of games, I actually wasn't spending that much money at the time. You see?
And now you
but
buy
people
everything
were lining up
online, so you
in
don't get any credit for
droves
anything.
to get those cases. I had a forums, and I'm not even kidding you. Hundreds upon hundreds of people would post in the forum, and I would use a random number generator to pick. I mean, at one point there was like 1,000 people posting in the forum to get that empty box because it was from DSP, because it was a bunch of collector's edition content they weren't going to get because they didn't buy the collector's edition, and I would autograph whatever they wanted. So to them, I'm giving them a free piece of memorabilia of their favorite YouTuber, and they loved it. But my detractors spun it as, oh, he just gives away empty game boxes. What they failed to mention
You
is the
did
time
give
I
away
gave
empty game
games,
boxes.
The time that I gave away a PS4 at the launch of the PlayStation 4 because I wanted to help my community. I thought it would be a nice thing to do. I had an extra one that I wasn't using, so I just gave it away. But they won't mention that.
More money blown on stupid shit that you didn't need. You already had one, but you had to buy a second one.
To them,
Exactly,
it
DJ.
never happened. All I did was give away empty game boxes, you know, because that's the narrative they want to spin. Cave Teeth gifted a membership to the community.
But you did give
Congrats to
away
Sofa
empty game
Ninja on getting
boxes.
it.
That's the
And
point.
I received a $2.51 tip. I find it funny how detractors make fun of people that donate to you, but then they directly benefit from it because you need to support to exist, and they spend so much time watching detractor content. It's a catch-22. Detractors are fans; they just don't realize it. And they, of course, they would never admit it, right? Thank you for the tip.
that covers Phil's newly released 2013 condo tour that shows just how much worse his living space has gotten.
This is what has happened to my condo in the past year. I've got so much stuff that my condo just can't. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at the floor. Look at this. It's a fucking hideous mess. And I wish,
Just like
I
DSP.
really wish that I had somewhere to put this shit, but I don't.
Tied to this was the curiosity
Sounds
about
very
DSP's
legal, Salad Fool, but
expenditures.
hey, what do
in
we know?
2013 alone, he took at least 4 trips. Every one of them, he paid for at least one additional person, whether it was John Rambo or Penn
Yes, he got it for Panda, but she wanted to get washed or something, instead of hanging on to it, he gave it away. God, that's fucking creepy. Like, really? Just a random woman in your closet?
Sometimes both. The reason this was becoming relevant was because of DSP's focus on his decline of views and earnings. His critics could be just as excessive with their own commentary.
Have you been on Darkside Phil's stream when he fucking flips out of people using adblock? About how you're it's like going into his house and robbing him and taking all his shit.
Man, you're taking the ad block, right? Because at the time, they weren't called detractors at this point. I think they were I called them trolls or whatever. They were literally going around.
Cut back and buying stuff. Never
watch
Wolverine.
Phil's
He needs that Wolverine toy. He really does.
With ad
His
block
Wolverine
on.
toy to make himself
That
feel
way,
better.
You can still watch him, but he makes no money. Right?
So yeah, Panda
now, today,
was
I want you to
more
think
from
about
Panda
that.
to cast such a
Today,
downgrade.
if someone said, "Hey, it's okay to watch everyone's,"
But here's the thing, Panda was a total nympho. She was always begging for it, and he never gave it to her. He never gave it to her. We watched multiple of the like vacation trips and all that, and she's on the bed, hands and knees. Come on, let's have fun. He's all, but Panda, I gotta set up the DVD player so we can watch movies. Like, bitch, you're with your like at the time like 19, 20-year-old girlfriend in a hotel room. She wants to get freaky, and you're worried about fucking DVD player. She wants to get it on like Donkey Kong on a bed that you guys don't have to clean up in the next morning. The hotel will take care of it for you. And no, you're too busy about watching movies on a DVD player. Just saying.
content with ad block on. A lot of people would be like, "Well, actually, it's not. You know, that's kind of messed up." But back then, it was kind of a new thing.
Yeah, John was
and
one true
so
love,
ad block was a
unfortunately.
hot piece of contention. It was actually things people talked about all the time. Should you have ads on? Should you not have ads on? Should you be able to make a living on YouTube videos? Is it okay for people to have ad block on when they're watching someone who they know that their living is made on YouTube ads? Keep in mind at this time, okay, during this time period, there was no live streaming. There was no super chats, no memberships, no subscriptions, no tips, none of that. It was just my entire living was made on ad revenue. I didn't even have any sponsorships or product placements. My shit was basically just ads. So if you're watching my content with ad block on, you are taking my livelihood away from me. And I directly talk about it, but I probably shouldn't have, correct? I probably shouldn't have said that at all. I should have just been quiet and never said
taking
a
it
word
like a
about
man.
it and just let people do what they want. Because what happens is when you bring shit up like this, it just makes it bigger. So what happens? More people do it, right? So by me addressing it and bringing it up, immediately more and more people start doing the bad thing that I don't want them to do, and it ends up hurting me. And that's my fault. I'm dumb for having brought it up and acted and addressed it in the way that I did, right?
Making my money. That's just like if you use ad block on one of my videos.
But you know what'd be great? It would really teach lesbians who went into his house and lynched him.
4chan was also in on this, creating green text that accompanied other memes. As to only help bring attention, DSP set out on attacking other creators whose channels
4chan.
towered over his own.
Holy shit. Oh, no. This is true. This was so bad of me because as I noticed that there started to be a decline and everyone started making fun of me, again, laughing at me instead of with me, I basically became incredibly
toxic,
sensitive, and basically started lashing out at others who were doing better than me, saying that I was better than them, shit like that. It was really bad. I would argue that this was a very toxic time of my life where I was saying really dumb shit and being very offended and offensive towards everyone.
Another YouTuber who's not a giant fucking Tobuscus PewDiePie idiot who loves gaming, is doing it for the love of gaming, and he's actually showing up in my fucking related channels.
PewDiePie's channel had over 100 times the subscribers that Phil had, and there was no doubt that they shared viewers. So these comments assured that those viewers would not return to Phil. What's more is that Phil would talk about how big of a fan PewDiePie was of him.
Yeah, that's right. PewDiePie has said he was inspired by me to make videos. He used to watch
Reee,
my content
me.
back when he had no money. No, that he didn't say that. That's a lie. Here's me being stupid, right? No, here's the truth. So
You lied.
PewDiePie used to leave comments on my videos. I've seen some of the comments. Before PewDiePie ever even uploaded a single video to YouTube to make his own content, he watched my old content, and he actually left comments on my videos. I've seen some of them, okay? Then, if you look at some of PewDiePie's early content, he talks about me. In his Heavy Rain playthrough, when the detective is on
The rain
the,
is very
with
heavy.
the wasteland where the
Heavy
first body
is
is,
the
and
rain.
Norman Jane walks out, he's investigating the body in the wet area, and the first detective walks up who has a goatee, PewDiePie says, "Oh, he looks like Darkside Phil," right? So 100%
That doesn't make him a
proven he
fan.
used to watch me before he even.
That doesn't make him a fan. Also, if I said that, does it mean I'm a fan? No. It means I know of your existence. Like the VTubers. Holy shit, the VTubers. VTubers make fun of him all the time. It's hilarious how many VTubers know who he is and make fun of him. The fact that VTubers know who he is and make fun of him all the time is hilarious. It doesn't mean they're fans, DSP. Doesn't mean a single one of those VTubers who makes fun of you is a fan of yours. It means they know you as a meme. They know you as the guy I'm watching his Twitch. They know you as the guy who masturbates in front of kids. doesn't make them fans. Just because PewDiePie can go, oh, hey, that guy looks like Darkside Phil, that piece of shit, doesn't mean he's a fan.
Even made content, and then he's referencing me in his early content, okay? Does
Yes,
that
they know
mean
him as
directly
the
that he's
guy.
inspired by me to make videos? No, okay? The only evidence I could ever say is that I know he watched me at some point, and he did reference me in his early content. This is me grossly over-exaggerating that to try to get clout. That's what this is. This is me being incredibly stupid, being dishonest, overly exaggerating
Just like always.
to get clout. And it was dumb. Because eventually, obviously, this kind of behavior was going to blow up in my face, saying dumb shit like this.
Yes, that's the
constantly trying to brag about
guy.
what's bigger or more important that I
Massive
asked for.
jealousy issues
Someone tipped
here,
me $5,
guys.
but it got frozen by PayPal. I apologize. This happens from time to time. I can't see your message, so I can't shout it out. I'm sorry about that. Whoever did the $5 tip, PayPal is.
He's very infamous.
Okay. To buy
Which
games.
pisses him off that
He
he's
wants me to
infamous,
play
not
the game.
popular.
That's how he got the idea to make his content. That's completely false. I have no evidence of that whatsoever. I made all that up.
PewDiePie did in fact like some of DSP's videos back in 2011, though as Phil's barrage continued, PewDiePie would have a change in opinion. As for now, the other gaming channel that he was personally at odds with was Tobuscus, who launched his own gaming channel. On top of that, he
Tobuscus,
promoted
shout out.
NCAA Football 2013.
I fucking hated this guy at the time. For a
Shout
lot
out
of reasons. I'm
Dewey
sure we're gonna go into them.
for
And
the
his video on it
sub.
was used as an advertisement for the game on YouTube. Phil, displeased with what he perceived as YouTube advertising his competitors, was quick to make a rant on it.
And here's why I'm upset. I'm not upset that he's advertising the game. That's fine. It's even a gaming-related ad. I understand why it's on my video. But at the end of the fucking ads, there's a link to his channel.
Phil was thoroughly lambasting entertainers and games that his audience enjoyed. Games that were rising in popularity like Minecraft for its lack of story.
Minecraft.
This made the rounds so much that even the creator of Minecraft commented on it.
Oh, I actually didn't know that. I had no idea that Notch had said something, or at least I don't think I did then. This is the first I'm actually seeing it in writing. But I have said this to this day. All right? I have said that my comments on Minecraft were some of the biggest examples of me being a misinformed idiot. Saying shit for absolutely no reason, talking out of my ass. All right? And then eating crow for it. Years later, after so many people telling me, Phil, you were wrong. You've got to try Minecraft. It's not just a kid's game. It's not some immature, stupid kiddie thing. You really should check it out. And then I played it, and I loved it. I was like, this game is really good.
If you loved it, you would have
It's
kept
got
playing
crafting,
it.
It's got survival. It's got...
I love Diablo 2. It's the game I played every single fucking year since 2001. You know why? Because I love that fucking game. Right now, playing the new season on Diablo 2 Resurrected and all that. You know why?
adventure, it's got
Because I
inspiration,
fucking
it's got
love that
all these
game.
elements to it that are fun and neat and creative. And then when I got it, I was like, I'm a complete idiot because I
You
talk
still
so
get
much shit
vlogs
about
from
this
back
game.
over
And that's not-
Facebook?
This is just
Damn.
one case. This is old Phil used to do this all the time. Someone would present something to me, and I would just blow up and say something completely dumb, and it would come back to bite me because people were like, no, that's not the common opinion. Why are you being a contrarian about everything, right? It was like I was purposely trying to make trouble to get attention. And I regret that tremendously today because today I look back at this kind of shit and I'm like,
Diablo 2 is probably my
this
favorite
is
game.
sad that I opened my mouth about
Fucking
shit I was
love
not
it.
informed on. And the thing is, I had a lot of people who followed me back then, who listened to me, who believed me, who thought, oh yeah, Minecraft is a kiddie game and shit. It's not. But I was dumb and I talked out of my ass because I thought my shit didn't stink and I was smarter than everybody else. I'm a moron.
Because of DSP's rapid decline, there was inversely a lucrative market to make content criticizing DSP. A group of creators
there
would
should
soon
be.
fly a banner that would be seen across various channels.
Here we
the
go.
Kojima World Order, or the
Kojima World
KWO,
Order,
was the
what?
unifying group for what was being called troll or detractor channels. The origin of the name came from Phil himself and his criticisms of Kojima.
I'm joining the Kojima World Order as of right now. Everything that Kojima has made is godlike, without question. Kojima World Order. Kojima World Order.
2013 ended far differently than it began, with DSP's views still on decline and a decline in how DSP was viewed. It made for Phil's worst year
Yeah, I
yet.
wouldn't blame him
And
either.
in 2014, the detractor videos and memes evolved rapidly. Phil could only add fuel to their fire.
Okay, what is up, everybody?
Oh, here it is. The video everyone
Yes!
wants to laugh at. That I freaking
The best
did an
video he's ever
unboxing at, that I
made.
didn't unbox the game. Let's see what Jude has to say about this.
Here, and welcome to Release Day Unboxing for Tuesday, February 11th, 2014. And before everyone says, what on earth is going on, you probably hear an incredibly annoying, high-pitched droning sound going on. That is the fire alarm in my condo facility. And the problem is, the fire alarm in this condo facility has a nasty habit of, during the middle of the winter, especially when it's very cold, of going off as a malfunction.
That was from DSP's release date unboxing video. The first 3 minutes, Phil is talking about the ongoing fire alarm. Then he shifts to criticizing prior games. Then to the fire alarm, and then DSP picks up the camera.
And then he
takes
never
it to
actually
door,
opens
and
the
shows
fucking
stuff paper
game.
towels in the slits to muffle some of the ongoing alarm. In the entire 14 minutes, DSP failed to open and quote-unquote unbox the game. This screenshot, which included DSP's comment realizing his mistake tied to the title of the video, is what DSP was now known for.
Wow.
Though few videos of his own rarely capture this entertainment from failure in such a way.
What's up, boss? Is it time?
As predictable
Yeah,
as
I
Phil
love
was
those videos.
in
Those
game
videos are
space with his
hilarious.
commentary, his decisions, especially the financial ones, were seldom predictable. Phil, mid-2014, finally committed to move. Some discernible reasons for a move were mainly tied to having a larger living space, allowing for more storage, and would give Phil and Panda Lee their own space as they were seeking to move in together. Common strategies would suggest Phil would either sell or rent his condo, and then
Before we get into this, I have a shout out to do. But this will be a whole new saga. This will be a good one. Hopefully we can get through this.
Yeah,
whole
that's
saga
what she
tonight. I don't
became a
know.
dent, which
We've
is
spent so much time
hilarious.
on
Like,
Super
how
PC,
does
it's
that
wasting a ton of
happen?
time.
How do you turn into a dent?
So I received a $5 tip. Someone said,
After
"Everyone is
making fun of
turning
him
page,
like
Your Majesty.
that.
For everyone to hate on you now, it's just ridiculous. There's no need for you to defend yourself. That was then and this is now. It's clear for all to see you've changed. You're the king, so it will remain. Long live your reign. Yours respectfully, I'm Troublesome." Thank you to I'm Troublesome for a $5 tip. So guys, with that, we're up to $91 in tips. FYI, I'm going to be broadcasting for about another hour tonight. We'll see how far we can
Intense.
get. Again, the goal is 150 by the end of the stream to continue this big streak. I hope that we can continue this big streak of 32 straight streams hitting the goals. Thank you so much for the support. And let's keep it rolling. Let's go into the next saga, the Washington Move Saga. Here we go.
move in somewhere close by. This would allow easy access to the condo for maintenance. The social elements are as important, like his friends and family that were all living in Bridgeport.
And they moved
With
as
this
far
in
away from
mind,
us as possible.
What does Phil do?
I got the confirmation over the weekend that we are good to go. We are closing this week. By the end of this week, I will be the owner of a beautiful new townhouse / condo in Washington State. It's probably going to cost me about $7,500. I shit you not, it's that expensive to move across the country.
It cost me way more than that. Way more than that. Because that was what the estimate was. And then when they actually hit me with the bill, it was more. After the move, I was like, what the fuck? And then, of course, I mean, you got to think of other things, like furnishing the house, right? Getting a foothold out here, all what it costs to do that. So it was way more than that.
Phil had decided to move from Connecticut to quite literally across the country to Washington to purchase a condo for $265,000. What's more,
Like an idiot.
for 2013, with Phil's viewership on his main channel, he had made just shy of $100,000 gross, a steep decline from the $170,000 gross in 2012. This indicates continued loss of revenue and pressure to pull back on spending. And even though Phil should have money saved up, he was still petitioning his audience for donations.
Right now, I'll be honest with everyone, the past month to 2 months, April and now May, up to now have been pretty slow. But, you know, I needed a little bit of help in these times when things are slow, okay?
The situation he
Just
was
saying,
revealing was
intense.
far more dire than initially thought. Phil
Okay.
was technically still in debt as he paid the minimum on his mortgage for his Connecticut condo, and as later revealed,
Like an
Phil,
idiot.
as he claims, emptied his bank account to finance a move.
That's okay. So yes, I basically emptied my bank account to finance the move. All my savings went to like the down payment on the place and or furnishing this place. I had to pay for the move of all my shit across the country. So basically I had no cash left by the time I moved. Then I racked up a ton of credit cards, which I'm sure is what he's going to talk about next.
Ton of credit card debt
Somehow,
on
the hundreds of
WWE
thousands of dollars
Supercard.
he should have saved were supposedly gone. In addition to this, he began using credit cards to continue his lavish lifestyle that was
What he doesn't know or he doesn't address, all the money I made in my early days of YouTube paid off a lot of debt from my previous life. So it paid off my student loans. It paid off credit card debt from the Evo days that he talked about earlier in this actual documentary. I had a lot of debt that I was dragging around for many years. And when I became a YouTuber, I had to pay all of that off. Okay. Basically, by the time that I moved in 2014, I want to argue I had maybe like $30,000 saved in the bank. And
Earlier
the
you
rest
said
of it
40.
was,
What happened
you
to
know,
it?
Well, no, I spent it all. Like all my savings were spent on the move across the country, 100%. And then I went into debt because I had to basically keep paying for shit. So I had to keep racking stuff up on credit cards and shit. And let's see how much he talks about because I know I've talked about this over the years.
was far beyond unsupportable. Quote, I'm a successful YouTuber and lots of people dislike me because I am successful and outspoken. I should have signed up here with a different name, but I didn't think that far ahead. I may do so now. Unquote. This was Phil in a forum for the mobile game WWE Supercard, which is essentially
That
a
he wasted
collectible card game of
thousands
sorts
on.
with an emphasis on microtransactions themed around the well-known American wrestling organization. Quote, I just got my second in the Hulk Hogan challenge and spent around $200. For $1,200, I think, you can buy a pack of 1,500 title matches, which is enough to win the event doing straight plus fives. Unquote. The jargon around the game was hardly interesting to any detractor. What was Phil's knowledge of the cost of items and his spendings of potentially thousands of real-life dollars in a time he supposedly did not have any money to spend.
Exactly.
I've already fessed up to all of this, okay? I've already fessed up to it. I moved out here.
Terrible
and
JDX.
Basically, I financed some of the move with my cash. The others, I racked up credit cards. And yes, I got into mobile game. It was WWE.
And you
Supercard
blew
was the first big one.
$1 million
The other one
probably
was,
at this point.
Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. And I spent a ton of money on them like a complete
Supercard, Dokkan Battle, Final Fantasy Estivus, Marvel Future Fight or Future Flight, whatever it was called, WWE Immortal. Let's see. Yeah, so Supercard, Immortal, Dokkan Battle, Estivus, Future Flight, or Future Fight, whichever one it was. What's the other one that he did? Oh, Street Fighter Duel, and then WWE Champions. That is 7 different gacha games he spent thousands of dollars on. Some of them hundreds of thousands, like WWE Champions. And those are just the ones I can remember. There's got to be more, though. Like, I can remember 7 of the gacha games he used to play. And you know there's going to be more. But at the same time, guys, I need your help. I'm gonna lose my house. Guys, I need to pay my back taxes. Guys, I got hit with business tax in the state of Washington. It's bullshit. I'm not a business. Guys. Oh, Fox Animation Showdown, yes. And Hearthstone, he was doing Hearthstone as well. Fox Animation Showdown, he spent a lot of money on. And then I just said it. Hearthstone and all that. Like, so there's 9. There is 9 gacha games we know of. There's 9 gacha games we know of just off the top of our heads. 9 gacha games. And we've all seen the way he spends on WWE Champions on his new account. Imagine he spends like that on every account he's ever made. Yeah. Wouldn't surprise me if he spent $1 million on gacha over the years. If not gacha, then gacha and wine and other bullshit all like that. And his statues and shit.
Complete moron. 100% I fess up to that entirely. That is all completely true. Okay?
He was financing Panda Lee's new soap-making business. Phil also renewed the lease.
It's true, too. My ex wanted to do something other than just a 9-to-5 job.
My ex, again,
So
not mentioning
she
her
wanted to make
name.
soap, and I financed the entire upfront thing. I bought all of the ingredients she needed to make the soap. I bought all the molds. I bought all the chemicals. I bought a printer so she could print all laser printers so she could print all the shit. I bought all the boxes. I did it all. I financed her entire business up front for her to make soap, and that would be her job/hobby. So she would have something to do to make some money and not be bored while I was working all day to pay for the move. That's exactly what happened.
On a BMW that he would drive at most 2,000 miles a year. Evidence of Phil's poor spending had been mounting for some time, but never has it been this overwhelming.
Once my equipment shows up, my new PC, I'm hoping to get to work with higher quality videos for you guys. So next week will be an interesting week to test it, right?
1, 2, 3, or 4 if you include the capture card Phil is using. That's how many capture cards Phil has.
No. It's 3. That Extreme Cap is the one I used for a whole decade and never bought another one. The other 2 I bought and didn't work. In fact, that one Intensity I just tried to use a year ago or earlier this year or last year, and it crashed my PC. The other one didn't even work at all. It was just the wrong card. That box, I don't know what's in there, but if I remember correctly, that was cables. That was HDMI cables. So, no, it wasn't 4 or 5. I did buy 3 capture devices. Only one worked, the Extreme Cap, and that's the one I used for literally a decade.
He purchased 3 new ones to test them out. The comments discuss the absurdity of Phil's purchases.
Yes,
Quote,
gotta keep her
so
busy.
he ordered 1 capture card, changed his mind, and bought another. Then changed his mind again and bought another, all before the first could even be delivered?
I don't remember the specifics. I would think I probably ordered all 3 of them at the same time, but maybe I'm wrong.
You got more money than sense, or your credit card debt is rising. Wouldn't it be worth doing some research before buying them? Dude, you could just figure this stuff out with a Google search. Lol.
No, you can't. That's ridiculous. A Google search is not going to figure out the best option for your business. You do need to kind of mess around with equipment. I wasn't as tech savvy as I wish I was.
How is a Google search not going to help you with that? When I saw the capture card that I bought at Best Buy, you know what I did? I went on the Google machine, like, all right, is this going to work? Went on the Google machine, yeah, this is a pretty fucking good card. All right, done. Now DSP, guys, how was I supposed to know to do that, guys? It's impossible for me to do that. It's fucking hell, DSP.
And I needed to mess around with an external and internal. I needed to mess around with different things, okay?
Unquote. What the
No, you
comments
didn't.
miss is that Phil also bought a new, pre-built PC from CyberPower within the week of the capture card video, and did the unboxing live, taking his chance to mock the PC mighty Furtada built for him by stating,
This is how you do ship a PC.
And it was broken. It was
Already a
broken.
broken piece of plastic. Already a broken piece of plastic. That might be why the top is moving.
Yep. The top, even with this PC shipped that way, it still had things broken on it. To this day, it's still broken. It moved, the whole top moves when you touch it. It doesn't stay in place. It's fucked up. But it still worked. Don't get me wrong. The PC worked. It's, and you know how it was supposed to. It's just the fucking plastic was loose on the front.
It's the post that goes through that holds this in place broke off in shipping.
the price of the PC was $3,000.
Correct.
Here it is in action.
What the hell? Choppy, look. The game's choppy as fuck on my new PC. Great. Yep.
So he didn't know that there was an option to switch from encoding with your CPU and encoding with your GPU. Like, he just didn't know how to use his PC.
Correct. That's absolutely correct. I was inept. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I was trying to listen to.
Remember,
advice
he used
from,
to
like,
build
people on
PCs, guys, and do
on how
LAN
to do shit,
parties.
You know, and
Built PCs
now,
and LAN
today what I do,
parties.
all right, is I capture direct capture with my, I think it's my CPU, and I stream with my GPU. But back then you couldn't even do that. We're talking about 2014. There was no way to do that. Now in OBS, there's options.
Probably
You
was a
capture
way
one
to do that. You
stream
just
another,
didn't know
you
because he's an
split
idiot.
The processing power to do these things, and that's I'm literally right now using the same exact PC to capture and stream as in this video right now. It's the same PC. The difference is when I got it, you couldn't do that. So here we go. Mighty Furtado trying to weigh in. Doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Okay. At the time, there was no way to do it. Because what happened was,
How much
my
you want to
viewers
bet
had
there was a way to
basically
do
buy
it?
this PC, telling me all this different stats about what I needed. What they didn't understand is that I both captured locally to my hard drive and I was live streaming, and it was two separate processes. What a lot of people were doing was just doing the stream, and then the stream archive was the on-demand video. But I didn't want to have pre-stream music in there. I didn't want to have breaks in there. I was streaming like a pre-stream first, where I talked to my audience, and then I would play the game. I wanted this to all be separate content. So I was splitting it up by recording locally and also streaming. So think about this. One process to stream, one process to record, one process to play the game. That's why my PC couldn't handle it. And at the time, a lot of people said, yeah, if you actually wanted to do that, you have to have two PCs. So but I didn't have two PCs. I spent $3,000 on one that wasn't good enough to do what I wanted. So,
But it
no,
wasn't his
that,
fault, guys.
I
It wasn't
split
his
the
fault.
processes between the CPU and the G. I couldn't do that at that point. From what my knowledge is, later on down the road, OBS, which is Open Broadcast Software, did allow you to do that, and that's how I do it right now, and that's why my situation is much better. Right now, this is a 1080p camera running at 60 frames per second. We're watching a 1080p video running at 60 frames per second. I'm both capturing and streaming this at the same time, and I'm not having any issues because they changed technology over time. But at this time, it just wasn't possible to do what I was looking to do with the one PC. I needed two. I needed one capture streaming
How many
PC
people
and
believe
one
that?
PC. Okay.
Freaking maxed it out. It went to 100%, so I cannot
Exactly, Roger
play a
Bait.
PC
Google would have
game
figured it out for him
on
in
1080p
5 minutes.
60 frames per second and capture and stream at the same time. It doesn't work.
The irony of all this is that Phil later cited Seattle's tech sector as one of the reasons for the move, despite not having any formal education or even general competence in the field. As for the exorbitant spending on equipment, DSP could cite that he was trying to improve the quality of his streams and also deduct the purchases for taxes, but he was ignoring the fact that gaming content was being improved by editing the unnecessary parts out. Phil was still refusing to do this. His cited reason, he was a gamer.
It's going great,
Quote, "I'm a
Danny
gamer,
Dog.
not a video editor.
He's lying
or
about
an
everything.
actor. I like to play games, not edit videos of them." Unquote. His choice of trying to improve the visual quality and not the experience of his streams was turning around to bite him at every angle.
Navy, how you doing?
If you choose to ignore everything around you, you're never going to remain pertinent, right? And I didn't want to change with the times. I didn't want to roll with the trends. I didn't
But
want
it's
to
still
stay up
Evil
on
AJ's
technology.
fault,
I
or
literally just wanted to
Tevin's.
sit here and play games and share that with the world. But I couldn't make a living doing it like that anymore because people didn't want to see that anymore. I really was a dinosaur. It wasn't 2009 anymore. It was 2014, 2015. People wanted more edited content, more scripted content, more other stuff. And I wasn't down for that.
You're not a piece of
obstinate.
shit.
My shit didn't stink in my own head. So because of that, I fell massively behind the curve of everyone else out there as a content creator. 100% Joon is right on the money with this here. Okay?
In November of 2014, a Twitch mod jumped into Phil's streams requesting he lower his bitrate. This is basically asking him to lower
Yay,
the quality.
Twitch stream.
While Phil complied, he was unhappy with the outcome, especially with all the money he invested in improving the visual quality. In an act of defiance, Phil deleted his Twitch account, opting to stream on YouTube where
I didn't delete my Twitch account. I think I deactivated it because I went back to it many years later and I used it again when Twitch upped their bitrate limitations and said, hey, you could do different bitrates and stuff. Okay? But yeah, that absolutely happened. I said I deleted it, but I didn't. I didn't delete it. I deactivated it and I went back to it many years later. Okay.
where he would not be burdened with Twitch's limitations. This move, that was meant to increase viewership via higher quality streams, actually had Phil lose viewership, as few Twitch native users were loyal enough to migrate. Phil was now going from blunder to
I was not getting only 90 views a video. That's false. That's bullshit. Even today, even on today, when I have massively declined, like the least video views I'll get on a gaming video is like maybe 200-300 tops over a little bit of time. On average, my gameplay videos get around 500 views. You know, if it's not a popular game, if it's a popular game, I'll get thousands of views. It depends. But those views were not representative at all of the time. It looks like he captured a moment in time when those videos had just been uploaded and only had a few views.
to blunder, miscalculating, misunderstanding, failing only in ways he could. For example, he allegedly launched a fan art campaign. The participants on Twitter gleefully joined in and shared their art. Only they weren't fans. This contrast, this continued failure was too much to even be documented. There was a nuance to DSP's thought process that was demanding exploration and criticism,
Oh, yes.
especially when, in December of
CCC.
2014, Phil was playing with the idea of starting a Patreon. But also in December, he was making more vlogs showing his continued poor spending habits that were discourteous even to his parents that Phil set up in a hotel instead of having them stay in the condo.
My parents are visiting for the Christmas week holiday, and they actually took the car. That's right. I let them take the BMW. So yeah, that's a lot of trust, but I trust my parents. They actually are staying at a hotel that's less than 10 minutes away. We got them up. We set them up at room and board. It's a nice hotel.
How was that discourteous to my parents? It was a hotel that was 10 minutes away. That was a really nice hotel room that I paid for. And they didn't have to stay in the one spare bedroom of my house that was really small and not set up to be a bedroom. How was that discourteous?
The bedroom that wasn't set up to be a bedroom.
Than what it would have been.
The bedroom that wasn't set up to be a bedroom.
BMW around town. He said that was discourteous.
It is.
Huh? Now that I'm really confused about. If
special situation like that, bitch, you sleep your ass on the couch. You have someone like that over, your ass is sleeping on the fucking couch. Or on the floor. Whatever. Guys, the couch wouldn't work for my back. Fine, then sleep on the fucking floor.
If you were going to go visit someone and stay with them for a week, and they had a small spare bedroom that wasn't set up as a bedroom, so you're going to have to sleep on like crappy accommodations, like a inflatable mattress on the floor or something, right? Or if they said, instead of that, I'm going to pay for you to have a suite. You know the suite at a hotel room where it's like the giant room where you have two rooms you walk between and it has all that shit. You know what I mean? A really nice
exactly,
one.
Seth. You sleep on the couch.
To stay there instead, I'm going to give you my BMW to drive around town while you're here. Would you be upset that I said I'm going to do that for you? Or would you like to just stay in the house that's in a bedroom that's not set up as a bedroom and sleep on the floor? I'm a little confused about that one. That one, I really feel like now we're starting to get nitpicky. My parents loved the fact that we got them the hotel room. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It has a big suite. It's got its own kitchen.
Actively watching DSP, who was streaming around 6 times a week for several hours at a time, was no small feat. What started as laughing at Phil's terrible gameplay had turned into a higher investment into his continuing dramas.
Yes, so here we go. Here's when it goes from literally, okay, Phil is a bad gamer, to Phil is a bad person. So now, let's go extreme into his personal shit in his life rather than just deride his gameplay. This is kind of where it starts.
Tumblr tries to capture the drama in 2014. From this magazine that states Phil whines about losing a lot, to Phil spending and conflict with creators like PewDiePie, who was now in on making fun of Phil. Phil's e-begging, conflicts, forum drama, a list of over 2,000 words. The most shocking fact was that it was still missing a fair amount of Phil's exploits. To capture it all and understand it all for entertainment was a process that loses its entertainment value.
And that's the thing, like, I want you to think about that. So these are the people who become obsessed. Most people are like, I'm happy to just laugh. I'll watch the This Is How You Don't Play and I'll laugh at Phil because he sucks at games, right? And it became a meme and I reacted badly. But then you get the people who become the hyper-obsessed people who, like, it is now their agenda to memorize everything I've done, what they consider wrong, okay, in a year.
Yeah, I love that. I don't know if he did it on purpose or not, but it really sounds like he calls him Fail, not Phil.
And start fucking really getting crazy stalkerish, right?
The majority of people are only interested in the wildest clips of Phil. Then you have those that watch hour-long This Is How You Don't Plays, then those that interact with Phil to try to get a rise from him and seek discussion of him. And then you have an entirely different people, one that tops the spectrum of investment and are not motivated by entertainment, but malice.
The following announcement has been paid for by the
SOK.
Hello everyone and welcome to the SOK cast. If you guys want to introduce yourselves, I'd be more than
What's
happy
going
to.
on, everybody? Fred Fox again.
And Superior
Fred
Artist.
Fox.
This is Renegade Operative here.
Evil AJ 2010 here.
That's okay.
And Carson, right?
Yeah, Miles.
And we are going to be joined by Lupo572 shortly.
That was his son.
At this point, I might just let this play for a while and I'll absorb it. I have literally heard absolutely none of any of this. I never paid attention to these people. I never listened to them.
Bullshit, you said they saved your ass.
It was only, I heard things about them.
You straight up said
I
that they
just made content
saved
and
you.
ignored it. So I'm going to be learning along with you. If you didn't know anything about these guys, I don't know anything either. Here we go.
Of Kojima podcast. This channel rallied the prominent detractors of DSP. Fred Fox was at the helm, a name chosen through an angry video game nerd video.
Fred fucks.
There are many things that make this channel exceptionally unique. Primarily is that this is a dedicated channel that trumps all others in terms of effort. The members that ebb and flow always had Fred Fox pathing the way, creating multi-hour-long podcasts, and though they put in much effort, they were getting arguably the least amount of traction for their investment. Rarely do detractors get less views than Phil himself, but when it came to the SOK, rarely did any other videos ever outperform Phil. The reason was that they were at the highest tier of investment in terms of Phil. They reached an extremely niche audience in an already superbly niche environment.
Right, if you're going to make it This Is How You Don't Play, right, that's making fun of a playthrough of mine, and it really highlights my shortcomings or whatever, and it's funny to the common person, that's going to work on YouTube. If you're hyper-analyzing each aspect of my life in such scrutiny.
And yet, there's a lot of people who do that, and they make a lot of fucking money from doing it. Just saying. Duty, $5,000 fucking dollars a month, dude. Just saying. $5,000 a month.
To the point where only the most obsessed person
Sir
would know what
Carl,
you're talking about.
what the fuck is wrong with that guy, Memoji?
Where the majority of videos were made to laugh at Phil's failures, the Sons of Kojima was trying to interact with Phil and in many ways make his life worse. On the surface, they were promoting what they believed was their moral superiority by leading a charity drive that funded the construction of a well in Africa. But they, mostly through Fred Fuck's will, attempted to dictate detractor communities beyond their own. They made the rule that detractors cannot monetize their channels and or make profit through Phil as...
If you're especially like Secret, like he puts a lot of hours into his work. He does a lot of editing. It's all hours of your life being given into this. You want to make money off of it? Fucking do it. Guys, I spent hours writing a book and then I released it. How dare you try to make money off a book you wrote? How's it any different? That's always my thinking is, how is, someone writing a book and then selling it, or someone making a short little video clip and posting it on YouTube. Like, how's that any different than making a video on YouTube and then releasing it, but it's about DSP and not a funny little cartoon or whatever?
To remain morally superior. Yet they, in the background, would work with others to strike Phil with illegitimate copyright strikes.
Yeah, he was probably
Banner
hoping
played a central
June would do
role in
something
this
to him.
campaign.
Yep.
In 2015,
Unfortunate for
the
him,
Sons of
June does
Kojima
it.
ran free, and it's difficult to say how many trolling campaigns they were launching during this time. A time where Phil's views, for now the third year straight in 2015, were on a steep decline. The trolling community was active like never before, and Phil continued to suffer from the ramifications of his terrible financial decisions. Possibly to offset his continued losses, Phil was committed to launching this Patreon.
See, it
But
sounds like
there
saying
was an issue.
fail.
There was
instead of
already a
Phil.
Dark Side Phil Patreon. This had many subscription tiers. On the low side was $1, or This Is How You Don't Donate tier. On the highest end was the 7 million tier, or the Theft tier. In between these were 15 more tiers, later with inside jokes making fun of Phil. This parody Patreon, as it reserved the name Darkside Phil, was sequestered, and in January, Phil launched his Patreon to mediocre success. In February, the number of patrons
Mediocre,
greatly rose to
womp
74,
womp.
paying out a total of $1,166. What influenced this surge was Phil redesigning his Patreon to center around milestones that once hit would guarantee the release of a video or a stream around a game.
And now I'll just say this, in retrospect, I bit off way more than I could chew, okay? I should not have approached Patreon in this manner, because already I was working...
Guys, you should just give me the money, not ask for anything in return.
6 to 7 days a week so much, and now I'm taking on even more responsibility to do extra content on top of that to receive more money from Patreon, and I was not
Like the crouch jump. Guys, that
I
tutorial
definitely
didn't teach
screwed
me how to
up
crouch
and
jump,
eventually
except that's
completely
literally what
changed
the
the way that my
tutorial
Patreon
does.
works, to not be doing these kinds
That's
of
why it's a
weird things
tutorial,
until
that
you
it teaches you what to
handle it.
fucking do in the
But I
game.
did. It's my fault. That's like I say today, I don't like to overpromise and underdeliver. I learned that lesson from my Patreon 9 years ago, from fucking it up. All right? So here we go.
Like Minecraft, that Phil had a change of heart with. Fans now understood that this was not so much a donation, but a guarantee, held by Patreon's milestone goals and Phil's own words.
But it's not just a way of saying, here, take my money, and thank you. It's a way of investing. You spoke in droves and said, we don't just want pure raw gameplay anymore. We want montages. We want better edited content in addition to the raw gameplay, and we like special events. You get what you want.
This had the added benefit of regaining some favor with his audience. He even began releasing edited montages around months or just his own game series. These, by their nature, were meant to compete against This Is How You Don't Plays, or
Which
at
they
least
did not.
capture some of the market. As
You
they
know,
failed to compete with
And
him, or even
failed.
just surpassed his raw gameplay videos, he
And
reserved them to a Patreon tier.
failed.
Also, during this time, some videos criticizing DSP were being taken down. While DSP blames these takedowns on machinima acting in their own interest, viewers took it as DSP wanting to suppress the negative attention.
Which wasn't the truth at all. And I've already formally covered this. Last year, I did a special event on this channel about my history with Machinima, and I showed the receipts. I showed that Machinima, who was my partner network at the time, heard about This Is How You Don't Play and heard about my detractors, and they emailed me and said, Phil, we heard about this. We want to take action on it now. So what we're going to do is we're going to use your channel to issue strikes and things. They screwed it all up. They never should have done it like that because even they didn't understand the.
So they used your channel that you're in charge of, but you had no control over it. DSP, how did they use your channel that's supposed to be your channel that you have control over, and for you to turn around and be, guys, I didn't control my channel at all. It's all Machinima. Machinima controlled my channel, guys. Bullshit.
The nature of DMCA law. They were issuing these takedowns without the intention of ever suing anyone. They were actually doing it wrong, but they were doing it through my channel, so it made it look like I was the asshole doing it. So now all my detractors are pissed at me. Why are you taking down our videos? I'm literally not doing it at all. I don't have control of this. They're doing it on my behalf, I
You
guess.
don't have
And it's
control of
kinda
your
messed
channel.
up.
Good to
So after
know.
doing that for a few months, like they tried to take down a whole bunch of videos, right? And what happened is all the people just disputed those claims. And so they all got reinstated. All those videos within like 2-3 weeks got reinstated on YouTube. And I said to Machinima, you realize now you made me look like the villain because you did all this in my name. And now people think I personally did it to them, even though I didn't. And now all the videos are back anyway. So now everyone hates me and the videos are still live. So then what Machinima claimed they did, they claimed they went through the content ID system and they claimed my detractors' videos. But they never once explained to me how much money it made, nor did they ever give me a breakdown of the payout for it. So I don't even know if they ever paid me a single penny for it. They might not have. They might have actually.
They may not have paid me, guys. It's bullshit. They should have paid me.
And this is how you don't plays, and pocketed the money and never said a word to me because I have no evidence that they ever paid me for it. So now everyone hates me.
How dare they steal from me,
hey,
Reee,
Phil
me.
copyright striked all our videos when I literally did not. Okay, I literally did not. And now everyone hates me. All my detractors are after me because of this. Okay.
As these take
And I have evidence. I have the emails. I showed the receipts last year.
That's
downtime
great.
in March, the channels willing to fight the claims were reinstated in April. But when
There
they
you
were
go.
reinstated, they were immediately claimed, meaning that they could remain up, but all the money would go to Machinima.
There you go.
The same month, DSP released a video of him performing various actions in front of a green screen. It only took one day for a scathing video that utilized the green screen footage to be released.
I knew that they would do that though. Like I did this because I wanted to have a green screen video up so fans could make shit, but I very well knew all my detractors were going to do it too. I didn't care.
This included reference to Phil's decline in views, his alcoholism, and the copyright strikes applied to detractor channels. Additionally, Phil's diet of fast foods was coming back at him in full force. After all,
Gout
per
time.
day, there is at least 17 and a half hours of footage of Phil consuming fast foods or foods of similar quality.
Yeah, my foot is incredibly swollen. You cannot
Oh, the gout saga. The gout saga. I didn't know he was going to put this in here, but okay.
tell from what I wanted to show you there. It's about, I'd say about 1.5
Remember, the gout was not his fault. It was his aunt's fault.
times the chubbiness of my other foot. So after doing a bunch of research online, and after what everyone's been telling me, it sounds to me like I might have gout.
Gout, or historically known as the disease of kings, is
The what? The disease of kings? Hold on a second. King Phil? King Phil has the king's disease? It's pretty funny now. It's pretty ironic now that that's what it's called because now everything that's happened in the last month, the memes and everything about me being a king, right? But back then, it was just like, fuck. I got this really painful thing going on, right? So guys, just so you know, we're going to go about another half hour tonight, okay? It looks like
Hint,
we're going about a half
guys.
hour. We may get to the point I wanted to get to in the documentary, which is good.
Only half an hour to go, guys. Hint,
However, as you
hint.
guys can see, we did not hit our tips goal yet. Now would be the time if you want to see the streak continue to support the stream in some way. Right now
Exactly,
we're at 300
Navy
likes,
for
over
life.
1,100 viewers. If you like the stream,
Burp,
you enjoy the
snort,
react,
throat
please hit
clear.
like. The engagement is helping this channel a ton. Consider contributing in some way, whether it be a super chat or a membership. But really,
Yeah,
it's
his
that
aunt
tips
passed
goal
away and he
that
was
aims
pissed off
tonight.
because she was
So if
paying
you
rent on
contribute
his
to that
condo.
right away, that would be great.
When she
because
dies,
we
she
move
stopped paying
on.
rent.
All right, thank you so much.
caused from a diet abundant of alcohol and red meats. This news spread quickly.
He has gout? How do you...
Gout, gout, gout,
How
gout,
does
gout,
he
gout.
have gout?
Gout, copyright strikes, continued loss of viewerships, and the rise of the Sons of Kojima were only the start of Phil's difficulties for 2015. His financial situation had gotten to the point that he was selling his statues that he could not accurately declare the quality of.
Yep, back of the box. As you can see, very durable. When it moved, it even got a little nick in it, but it did absolutely no damage to anything inside because it has lots of styrofoam inside. His comb has damage. Gotta call that out.
As poor as Phil was with communication, there was one instance that him reaching out very well saved his life.
They're all these super... Yep. Uh-oh.
The swatting.
Hold on. Hold on, everyone. Here it is. I might have some cops outside. Hold on. 2015, this happened when I was playing Batman Arkham City.
In the afternoon of June 24, 2015, someone called Phil's local police department claiming they had shot their parents and had a hostage. This was a swatting, and the police had to respond. Luckily, Phil had called ahead in fears that something like this would happen. Due to that, and because the caller did not identify themselves, they went in with the expectation that they were possibly not in danger. If not for these circumstances, this visit could have ended far worse.
Yep. Shame on you if you've ever made...
Then I love this part where he blames evil AJ making this how you don't play. Somehow, This Is How You Don't Play almost killed him, guys.
This is how you don't play about me. If you ever decided to follow me, make a clone account on Twitter, do this childish shit on YouTube, if you thought it was funny to dox me, if you thought it was the DDoS attacks were funny, you almost got me killed. You. Yes, you.
This shifting of blame and unjustly targeting the detractor community as a whole for the deranged acts of one person further soured relations with the
Again, Evil AJ almost got him killed.
detractors, yet gained a bit of sympathy for those that were not in this vortex.
So, to look at it now, of course, I don't think that This Is How You Don't Play has created that situation. But it's sad that what happens is you get the obsessive people, correct? It's like I said when I did the react to the Rich documentary on this channel with the guys from Kino Casino last month. I said, please understand that even though we're about to make fun of Rich, this is not us condoning and telling people to go out there and attack this man. This is not us saying, hey, go harass him, go do horrible things to him. We're going to make fun of him, but we're not going to say hurt him, okay? There's too many people on this planet that don't have that level of intelligence. They think that because you're making fun of someone. That you
Oh,
should-
Navy Vet for Life. Do you ever watch the YouTuber Fat Electrician? He's got a lot of great videos on there, and he had one recently about the PT boats from World War II. And how a lot of the guys on the boats made modifications, like PT-109 stole an anti-tank gun, strapped it on there. Great videos if you watch. Love Fat Electrician.
should hurt them. That they're like a villain or Satan or the devil, and the world is good and bad, black
It's Fat Electrician. Let me see if I can't find it real quick.
and white.
It should be
heroes and
pop right up
villains,
when I search
evil
for it.
and justice, and they don't understand that it's going to the extreme. It's like even on places
Yeah.
like KiwiFarms.com.
Couldn't get fat typed in yet before he
you know,
popped
Josh
up.
Moon, who I just spoke with a couple weeks ago. The philosophy there is you don't mess with these people who you don't like. You can make fun of them, but if you actually interject yourselves into their lives to hurt them, you are a bigger lolcow than they are, right? And that's the problem. Is this person, whoever this nut job was, okay, who did this swatting,
I tried to murder me, Reee,
was a crazy
me.
person who listened to This Is How You Don't Play, who listened to my detractors, who listened to everyone making fun of me and said, well, I'm gonna ruin his life today. I don't really care. I'll just do it. Here we go. And that
How did This Is How You Don't Play make someone decide that they're going to try to murder you? Hundreds of thousands of people watched This Is How You Don't Play, and yet none of them decided to try to murder you, DSP. So please explain to me how This Is How You Don't Play by Evil AJ meant that someone's going to try to murder you.
that's the extreme. So here's me, I'm so emotionally upset at what happened. The fact that I could have died that day, that I'm lashing out at the internet saying shame on you for all
I
this.
remember, guys, when there was a mass shooting at a Madden tournament in Jacksonville, Florida. He was like, guys, I'm not playing Madden. Why do you keep talking about Madden? I'm not even playing Madden right now. Why do you guys keep talking about it?
Shit that you've done to me now, because it's all led to this extreme moment of messed up shit, right? To some extent, that's true. But do I really think that the people who were making This Is How You Don't Play montages about my gameplay wanted me to get swatted? Of course not. It's just sad. It's a slippery slope with the internet that there are people who are this messed up who will do fucked up things because they don't understand the difference between a joke and messing with someone and making fun of them or actually wishing them physical harm and pain. And that's what happened on that day. I lost my cool.
They tried to murder
I felt like all those
me.
people were being irresponsible with the power they had on the internet, not realizing that the actions they were taking were actually leading to people hate me so much that they
Actually
wanted to
leading
kill
to
me.
them trying to
Phil
murder
was
me.
frustrated not just at the detractors, but also the fact that the media was not picking up on the story, meaning that this message that the detractors as a whole were at fault was contained to his own platform. Little did Phil know there was more negative attention on him than ever before. His streams, tweets, forums, Patreon were all being monitored and archived. The following month, Phil on his own forums equated using the chat function on his live streams but not donating as loitering. But it's okay because he's lenient. As much as he claims to be, his audience from both sides were not convinced.
That's absolutely ludicrous. That's
So yeah, he was laughing about it afterwards because it was not a swatting, it was a wellness check. Like I said, he reached out to him so they knew that it might happen, so they didn't show him busting down the door, shooting and all that. They showed him like, hey, you alright? Yeah, I'm fine. Okay, we're going home.
me just being really angry at someone and being an asshole. That's absolutely ludicrous. So it's not loitering. The only time that I will get upset is, let's say, for example, right now, we're doing a stream on this documentary, right? And you guys have been talking all night. You're on topic. Imagine if someone comes in here and all of a sudden a whole bunch of people start talking about college basketball. And now the entire chat room is college basketball. You derailed the stream. It's off topic. You're not supposed to do that. That's like...
And yet, several times during my streams, we've stopped and talked about football, or we've talked about anime, we've talked about movies, we talked about Marvel. Or like when NCAA came out, yeah, we had a couple streams and we were doing whatever, and it's like, oh, hey, who are you playing as an NCAA? Oh, I'm playing this team, I'm playing that team. I just I got the championship this year, and I moved my team to the SEC, try to get harder teams to play during the regular season, so I don't have to struggle as hard to get into the playoffs. Like, oh no, we're talking about NCAA 25, or we're talking about anime, or Dragon Ball Z, especially after Kira Toriyama died. Yeah. We spent an entire fucking live stream pretty much talking about him in Dragon Ball. And yet, not once did I threaten to ban you guys for it, because you know what? Dragon Ball's awesome. NCAA 25 is awesome. Football's fun. Anime's great. If you guys want to show up in here and talk about PT boats and PT 109 and this boat and what was the other thing? Torpedo juice. They were literally taking torpedo fuel, distilling it, then filtering it through a loaf of bread, and then drinking it. Like, that's how fucking crazy these sailors were. These sailors were distilling torpedo fuel, then filtering it through loaves of bread, and then drinking it. Like, that is fucking crazy. Sparkling Zero, I do want to get Sparkling Zero. I might wait for it to be on sale, but I definitely fucking want it. Los Oklahoma, boo. Say it's Bowling Green Falcons, I try to keep it at, normal, whatever they call normal. Varsity. Yeah, keep it at varsity instead of freshman. I have done a couple games on All-American. I'm going up against like the Akron Zips or the Buffaloes, whatever the fuck they're called. Like when I go up against weaker teams, yeah, I'll move it up to All-American. But the second I'm going up against Georgia, Ohio State, whatever, then I drop it back down to varsity. Bowling Green, BG. Battle for I-75 with Toledo.
Like going into a place of business, not
We're
spending
taking
any money while
TCU
you're
to
in
the
there,
net.
but just
Nice.
standing around, walking, taking up all the space, doing shit that's unrelated to the business, right? It's not allowed. It's called loitering. But no, you can come in here as long as you're respectful.
As I play the weaker teams, like again, like the Akron Zips or Central Michigan, Western Michigan,
dumb shit, you know, me
Buffalo.
unhinged at the
That's like I'm
spot,
going
you
against
know,
like actual
maybe
Michigan
like,
or
say dumb shit
OSU or Georgia.
Especially with the troubles on Patreon.
Drop
A
that
new
shit to
milestone goal
varsity.
At $1,250
Here it
was
is.
Project 7.
I knew this was coming. So here we go. Let's tackle the Patreon thing.
Rebirth. Quote, if this goal is reached, I will take away at least 2 days, if not 1 to 2 full days in August to write, record, and work on the renewal of Project 7, with the hope that I'll at least have something to show for it by the end of the month. Unquote. In no way, other than to drive Patreon donations, does this goal make sense. The original Project 7 was a failure by all aspects, and now Phil was here offering to relaunch the series with just 2 days of work. Likely due to this, viewers were asking John Rambo if he was playing a part in it. Coincidentally, John Rambo on his own channel released a skit perhaps related to the news.
Hi, my name is John.
Well, I'll be honest, it's a little disingenuous because he's not talking about the fact that we were supposed to be doing content. The moment that I moved out here, we were going to continue doing our wrestling podcast. We were going to continue to do gameplay over the internet. And basically,
As a Bowling Green fan, I don't really have a lot of, I guess, care of Michigan versus OSU, but I still root for Michigan because OSU fans are so fucking annoying. Living in Ohio, God, they're so fucking annoying. Like, if the fan base wasn't so damn annoying, maybe, but they're so annoying. So go
we
Michigan.
didn't do any of it because John kept backing out and saying he was too
Yeah,
busy.
he knew it was
I didn't
coming because he
understand
already
that
watched
resentment
it.
towards me that was revealed later on in that video that we've already gone over. But, you know, he's just saying, like, this just happened out of the blue. No, it didn't. Like, John was already kind of ghosting me and dodging me on working together and doing future projects and things. Already the friendship had unraveled by the time that this came out.
And I am special because I upload videos to the internet. But being so important does have its dark side. In fact, it means that my life is much more difficult than everyone else's. This is why I've opened a Pay Me Tons account. It's an internet website that allows people like me to receive lots of creativity.
Oh, that's
from people
neat.
like you. Simply log in and transfer the entirety of your bank account
How'd you get that?
into my Pay Me Tons account. I won't even get out of bed for less than $50.
With Phil's relation with John Rambo in disarray and no feasible way to relaunch Project 7, in August he announced the project would not be coming to fruition and would be replaced by another goal.
Actually, that's not what happened at all. But I'll tell you in a second. So Bloom did the
He decided to play Street Fighter 5, which he
Thank you
hated.
so much. And
Fucking hated Street
Captain
Fighter
Base Pants
5.
for the super chat. NFL starts on Thursday. Let's go Bills. There you go. Thank you, Captain Base Pants. Also, I received a tip. I want to shout all this out before we continue, because this is not what it was supposed to be at all. Okay, I received a $20 tip.
That's awesome.
Hail to the king from Anonymous. Thank you for an
Shut the
anonymous.
fuck up, DSP. You're annoying. Yeah, because back in the day, I did a little bit of work for Bowling Green, but never anything like that. That's especially before the internet days. Like internet, right? There was internet, but it was very early on. Yeah, I got to do some stuff behind the scenes. Got to go to a couple games for free. Got to hang out with a band because I used to be in marching band and all that. Yeah, no sports talk, guys. That's detracting from the channel. Yeah, fuck that. But guy I used to work with, he was a photographer for the Toledo Rockets. Like, he got to go to, like, when they went to bowl games and all that, he got to go and all that because he was their photographer and all that. Got to hang out with him. Got to go to a couple games myself with him. And after he graduated, he moved on to somewhere in California. But yeah, like, that was so fucking cool being able to hang out with him and going to these games. Like, hey, yeah, I'm going to be up in the press box, and then I'm going to go down to the field, take pictures. You want to hang out in the press box, that's cool with me. Just make sure you don't make a menace of yourself, which I never did, because I'm smarter than that. Got to meet Desmond Howard, nice. I think I got to meet Bruce Gurgowski. He's now a coach for the UFL. He used to be XFL. He's a coach for them. And then probably does other stuff now, but he was a quarterback for the Steelers, I think it was, behind Ben Roethlisberger once he got to the NFL. So, being behind Roethlisberger, he didn't get to play very much, unfortunately. Yeah. That's amazing, like, just making friends with people at work and like, oh, hey, yeah, I'm going to UT and doing this stuff, and then I'm working here, just, pay for booze. It's like, yeah, sure, whatever, and then, got to hang out, got to do shit. Or, there's a guy I used to work with that was close to the Toledo Storm hockey team before they were the Toledo Walleye. And like, oh yeah, I made a bunch of chili, made like 10 pounds of chili, went down to practice, hung out with them. I was like, oh fuck, I might want to do that. So I only got to do it once or twice, but I get to hang out with them during practice and all that with the Toledo Storm before they became the Toledo Walleye. Fuck, I'm old. Yeah, it's amazing. Like, just by knowing someone who knows someone or does something, like, hey, you get to have behind the scenes looks at the sport. You get to have, access to the press box. You get to go to practice for the Toledo Storm and all that. They used to be called the Toledo Gold Diggers. God, I'm fucking aging myself. But a friend of mine actually has a Toledo Gold Diggers jersey because his dad used to get him season tickets. And when they were Toledo Gold Diggers and all that. Like, fuck, I'm old. Matt Frank and Michael Vick, cool. BA Tech holds their booster meetings at Hidden Valley Country Club. Nice. I say it's got to be cool to meet people like that just because, like, hey, here's this big famous athlete that's, multi-fucking millionaire and all that, and you get to meet them in person and do stuff with them sometimes. Even if it's just something as simple as, hey, man, what's up? Oh, hey, come hang out and watch practice with me. Sure, why not? Played a pickup game with Michael Vick when he was in high school. In the same neighborhood as my cousin. Dude, that is fucking sweet, Navy. God, I never got to do anything like that, but that's amazing just because you know someone who might know someone, or the bass player and backup singer for Soiled Seed invited me out to Iowa to go see, he used to go to high school with the band members from Ice Nine Kills. Like, man, if you come out to Iowa when they're on their tour and all that, probably be able to get you backstage to meet them and all that's like, fucking hell. It's a straight shot down the turnpike. I get on the turnpike and I drive like 9 hours. But with my work schedule and all that, it just didn't fucking work out. But just because I knew someone, and mind you, he only knew me from me doing like music reacts on my channel. So I reacted to his video before, to his band and all that, and just like I almost had a chance to meet Ice Nine Kills, get behind the stage and all that, and behind the scenes and get to meet them and all that, just because I knew someone. DSP used to have that. Because of Machinima, DSP used to be able to go behind the scenes. DSP used to be able to meet game developers and content creators and do all this shit because of his connection with Machinima. And then he fucked it all up. DSP could have been a lot fucking bigger than he is if he just did what fucking Machinima wanted him to do. But he refused to. Because he was too fucking good for that. Guys, I don't want to do that. Don't they know who I am? I don't need to go to this after party, guys. I'm DSP. Fuck the after party. Gee, DSP, how come you don't go to the after party? don't you know who I am? I'm DS fucking P. I don't need to go to the after party. Well, guys, next year they didn't give me tickets. Gee, DSP, I wonder why. Wonder why they only give you tickets to 1 year when you refuse to do any of the other things they asked you to do. Like, hey, when you're there, go to this rooftop party and do some mingling, meet some other content creators, maybe make some connections with our content creators. You guys work together. Who knows? You might make a lot of fucking money for us. No, I'm not doing that. I'm going to hang out with Howard and John in the hotel room. Like, why? Machinima sent you there very specifically to coordinate with other content creators that work for them. To mingle. Maybe make friendships that you can then use together. Instead, DSP said, no, fuck you. I'm DS fucking P. I ain't doing any of that shit. Which obviously fucked him over in the long run. Because then he didn't fucking do anything. And he annoyed them. So much so that they didn't send him back to E3. Like, he got free fucking tickets to E3. They paid for his hotel and all that shit. They got him rooftop access to a party that's gonna have game developers and other content creators. Fucking hell. I don't know. Fucking WWE champion said, hey, you covered our shit before. Not realizing who I am. We want to send you to this content party where there's gonna be wrestlers there that like to play video games. And there's gonna be other content creators that played our games and they'll talk about WWE stuff. Would you be interested? Well, fuck yeah. Even though I only know WWE champions because I shit on them, but Scopely gets a hold of me and offers me a deal to go, oh, hey, fuck it, what's the name? That, Big E, Kofi Kingston, New Day. Oh, yeah, New Day's hosting a rooftop party where they're going to be playing a new WWE 2K26. You bet your fucking ass I'm going to be there. If I get an invitation like that, I'm going to fucking be there. Not DSP. Guys, I'm too good for that. Guys, I don't need to make friends with other content creators. Don't they know who I am? I'm DS fucking P. Fuck the other content creators. If I help them, they're gonna take views away from me. Reee, me. Not realizing that, holy fuck, DSP. You get together with another content creator like that, you make even more fucking money. But nope, not DSP. He's too fucking good for that, don't you know? He's DS fucking P, guys. He is too fucking good for all that. He's had so many opportunities over the years, and he threw them away. Oh, PewDiePie used to be a fan of yours? PewDiePie used to watch you? And you never thought, hey, Machinima, PewDiePie, you know, he's pretty big right now? He used to watch my stuff. He's commented on my videos before. Could you maybe reach out to him? Maybe we can do a co-op. He's playing that new Fortnite game. He's about to be crossing some bridge in Fortnite. Well, how about I get in contact and with you guys and you guys in contact with him? And, hey, we do a co-op stream together. How big would DSP be if he had a single fucking co-op stream with PewDiePie? Even if, alright, Michelle was like, man, he doesn't want to do it. He said he'll only do it if we pay him $10,000. Yeah, but we pay him $10,000, but, and also if it's Fortnite, fuck it. We do a whole night. We're going to do a 12-hour marathon with PewDiePie, and he's going to be playing with all of our different content creators. No, for the first hour, he's playing with this guy. The second hour, he's playing with this guy. Third hour, he's playing with DSP. Fourth hour, he's playing with her. You think Machinima couldn't have set that up? You think Machinima didn't have the fucking money to be like, all right, PewDiePie, we got 12 content creators want to do 1 hour marathon sessions with you on Fortnite. How much? Well, fuck, I mean, I'm hosting on my channel, right? Yeah, I'll be hosting on your channel. We'll be sponsoring it. All right, so I'll get money through that? Yeah, you get money through that. Fuck it, make it 10 grand. Right? Fuck it. 12 hours, make it $12,000. Fine. Your channel hosts our content creators for 12 hours. You get $12,000 plus whatever you make on your stream. Then we get a huge fucking boost to our content creators. How many other content creators could have been exposed to new audiences for the first time because they were live streaming with PewDiePie and got set up by Machinima? Instead, he did absolutely nothing with all these connections. He has a $100 million or however many $1 million company standing behind him with Machinima, and he doesn't use it for anything except for getting Fallout 4. Guys, I got Fallout 4 early. What more do I need? Oh, I don't know, DSP. Maybe you might need more contacts and more connections, so in the future you can make more money by doing a co-op stream with PewDiePie. But then again, I could definitely see DSP being like, no, I'm not working with other content creators. They're going to be stealing views away from me. And they go, all right, well, I guess we replace DSP with someone else. Then, of course, you know, a month later, guys, bullshit. They offered the spot to me, but then they gave it to Justine. I can't believe Justine got that spot just because I turned it down. She probably gangbanged everyone in the office. I could totally see that fucking happening. He has complacency and refuses to work with anyone, kill his career. All he had to do was work with others. Again, he got sent to E3 and was told, hey, go to this rooftop party, and he didn't fucking go to it. If he had gone to that rooftop party, if he'd made a single fucking connection that helped him in the future, who knows where he'd be right now? Instead, he didn't do any of that. Because there's too much fucking work and he was DS fucking P. Don't they know who he is? He doesn't need to do that. He doesn't need them. They need him, guys. Don't they know that they need him? That he's DS fucking P? He doesn't need them. They need him. I do not. I do play the Zombie Chronicles for Call of Duty 3 Zombie Chronicles Edition. It's all zombies, so it's all teamwork with my friends. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of Call of Duty. Never have been, unfortunately. I'm just not very good at it for the most part. Unfortunate, I know. Yeah, see, that's why I brought up Justine and the gangbang thing, because why does Justine get to host something at E3 for EA? She probably gangbanged EA executives and all that. Which came from out of fucking nowhere. Thanks for hanging out, Blast Chambers. Alright, I guess that's enough derailing my own stream. I guess we'll get back to the video.
This $20 tipper. I appreciate that very, very much. Because we are very close to the goal right now, guys. Very close.
Hint, hint, they're very close to the goal, guys.
We're at 111, guys. That's what, 39 away? Let's crush it. Let's hit it. Let's continue to keep the streak alive. All right? Now, the true story of what's going on here is that Patreon goal was not Project 7 involving everyone else, and it's the old that series. It was the previous series, because what Joon didn't cover is that Project 7 originally was a little rinky-dink video series I had done in like 2009 or 2010. It was not that overblown edited series that you saw there. That was the reimagining of the series, working with that group Respect the Pack to make a creative piece of work that was different and completely, you know, of a different level. The original series was basically that I was stuck in my condo and this character named Deathface, who you can actually see dancing on screen right here with the $10 tip animation. Okay, that's Deathface. That this guy had kidnapped me and caught me in my condo and wouldn't allow me to leave until I played one of my most hated games of all time, the original version of Final Fantasy VII on the PlayStation 1. And it was going to be an ongoing series.
Oh god, I forgot that he hates that game for no fucking reason other than Tifa's hot.
Deathface character and basically ranking on the game, but also doing funny things.
Of course he hit it again. Why wouldn't he?
Raw gameplay. So that was the original idea back then. Exactly. I got Jigsaw. It was like Jigsaw capturing me and forcing me to play this game I don't want to play to save my own life. Okay, so the series changed in 2012 when we did our version of Project 7. The Patreon goal was supposed to be I revived the original idea. So I sit down offline. I'm playing Final Fantasy 7. And I'm doing edited videos and shit like that.
Bullshit. He stated in the past that it was going to be for a Project 7 trailer. Now he's retconning again. No, it was to resurrect the original series, not the one with Respect the Pact and all that, but the original version. When before he said no, it was going to be a trailer. Guys, we're going to be doing a trailer for Project 7. Oh yeah, he said he hated the cross-dressing thing, which, dude, that's fucking hilarious. And in the remake, it's probably some of the best content that they've remade from that. Like, redoing the game and having that section there was so fucking good. It's like, so this may have been what they wanted to do originally. They just didn't have the power for it. Because yeah, the remake version is so fucking good. That remake version is just incredible. Just like the content they put into it, the elaborate dancing and all that, like, they took an idea and cranked it up to 11 and it was fucking great. Bringing it up to 11 was amazing and well deserved.
That, okay? That's what it was supposed to be. Had nothing to do with John, had nothing to do with Howard, had nothing to do with Respect the Pack whatsoever. But what happened was I 100% overextended myself. And that month I was so busy doing other things, I just didn't have time to get around to it. Yet I had already accepted an additional, I think it was an additional $250 to do it because I had tiered rewards. And I think the reward below was like $1,500, and then that one was like $1,750, or it could have been $1,250, $1,750. Anyway, it was hundreds of dollars that supposedly I'd accepted.
Hundreds of dollars that you never paid back.
I told everyone, listen, my
fans you ripped
time
off.
is so pulled, tight right now we could do two things. Either we could cancel the whole thing and we'll have to think of something else, or I could do a trailer for Project 7 that's just
Oh, that is such bullshit. He never said that. This is all fucking lies. He never said anything like that.
a short video clip. You tell me if you like it. If you like it, great, we'll continue. If not, you know, forget it. We'll cancel the whole thing and we can move on and do different goals next month. And my viewers, I'm not kidding you, said, we don't care about this Project 7. This was you coming up with this idea because you wanted a Patreon goal, but we don't care about it. So don't do it. Like, literally don't do it. We think that it's going to be boring. We'd rather see you play games and do other projects and other things. So I said, okay.
That
do it.
never
Let's cancel the
fucking
whole thing. So
happened.
we did, and then I had another goal in place of it. Well, there was 2 people who were upset that were longtime fans. One forgave me, one did not. One literally said, I'm never going to deal with you ever again. Okay? I'm never going to do ever again because, FYI, I really wanted Project 7 and you overpromised and underdelivered. And I said, you know what? Fair enough. If we never speak again.
They said you overpromised and underdelivered. Really, DSP? They use the exact words that you speak. Right.
I accept it. It was my failure. I overpromised and I underdelivered. That's on me. Okay? Funny enough, years later, that person did come back and was a fan of my content again. But that was it. There was no controversy. There was no giant, weird thing going on where people hated me for this. It was only my detractors that made a big deal out of it. Because keep in mind, it was only
And the 2 fans.
like a few $100s that was raised for the goal. So to see me do another thing, which I did, I think I did a different project, a different game or something in place of it. Everyone was fine with that. There was no big controversy in my community and viewers. It was only outside that these people would take this nugget of truth. Oh, Phil didn't reboot Project 7 like he promised and turn it into something full blown like, oh, he's a liar. He doesn't come through on his promises. He stole and pocketed money. He scammed his audience.
You did.
It literally didn't happen. Okay?
You
but
fucking
they'll
did.
never admit that because they all talked about it for so long like it was a big deal. They just fucking, you know, blew it up. And now they all believe it. They all literally believe I scammed my viewers for Project 7 when it
You
never
did.
happened, okay? I got a $5 tip. Very interesting hearing your story and growth. I'm originally from Seattle. Very nice. Thank you for that. Thank you for the $5 tip. Let's continue while I put that on the leaderboard.
Similarly, his Alan Wake montage that the patrons voted for would also be canceled after a single episode.
Oh, good. The power went out. I'm not even kidding you.
Almost as if it was retaliatory, fan art that Phil used in his videos was being used to illegitimately strike his channels. To avoid further strikes, he deleted the videos that include the art, which amounted to 600 videos off his channel. This amounted to around 4 million views removed, and on Social Blade, it showed that for the month of August, he netted a total of negative 1.37 million views. That's why in November, he insisted that through a strange, unverifiable string of events, that this deletion of views was causing a drop-off in his channel. In this near 44-minute, long-winded video, Phil recounts to his audience that it was Machinima that instructed him to delete those 600 videos that caused a small dent in his total viewership, but does not provide evidence of Machinima doing so because he claims he was instructed via a conference call.
That's correct. It was a conference call. Machinima was on the call with YouTube, literally got off the call, got back on the line with me and said, delete the videos now because if you don't, they're all going to get stricken. They said that there's a ton of fake strikes in the pipeline, and if you don't delete the videos, you will get stricken down and your channel will be removed from YouTube. So I had to delete 600 videos, all of which had tons of views, 40 million views or something like that, deleted from my channel, showing that I had negative views that month. And it literally kicked my YouTube channel out of the YouTube algorithm, meaning if you searched for me, you couldn't find me anymore. You would only find my detractors' content, and it hurt my channel. Just went way down after that.
Then he claims an anonymous insider told Phil that this subtraction of views brought him down in the invisible total rankings, and that YouTube was still using that archaic system of promoting videos via their channel's total accumulated views. The only thing is...
No, that's not true at all. What happens is if YouTube sees that you have deleted several videos, or if your channel has a huge deletion of views, it sees that as something very negative happened, and the algorithm will no longer favor you. Keep in mind, up until 2015, the algorithm favored DSP Gaming, because for 5 straight years, I've been putting out so much content and getting so many views a month that my channel was at the height and forefront of gaming. Even though I wasn't nearly as popular as I once was, if there was a new game coming out and I played it at release day, I would be in the top search pages for new game releases, okay? After this happened, after I deleted all those videos, I no longer showed up in search results for big game releases ever again. I was gone. I was erased from the YouTube algorithm because of this change of deleting all these videos.
He was erased, just like with Thanos
It
Snap.
has to do with YouTube seeing you delete shit. Then the algorithm says, oh, something was wrong, right? Like the channel had bad content and had to be removed or whatever, and the channel was punished. Now, funny enough, okay, YouTube didn't mention this to Machinima. When YouTube told Machinima, tell Phil to delete his videos, they didn't say that. We only found this all out after the fact, months later, when my channel was no longer getting as many views as it used to. It was way declined, and I wasn't getting any view boosts in the fall, when notably I used to get giant spikes in viewership for new games. I just stayed plateaued and declining. So I used to go like this in the fall, and instead I went like this. only after I deleted the video. So obviously there's a correlation there.
That all existing evidence works against him. The strongest evidence is in his social blade. Contrary to what he is stating, he has had far worse drop-offs in views. And actually, late 2015 were the most stable than they'd ever been. From November of 2011, he was losing over 1 million viewers on a daily basis.
Who knows?
Now, in late 2015,
Space Cat may have
he was
gotten
worried
into the
about a small
catnip.
fluctuation of around 200,000 viewers. What's more, the deleted views against Phil's total views would have been so insignificant, it would have no effect on his channel. Then again, there is a benefit in...
That's wrong. My point I was making is, in the fall, and you could see it on Social Blade, every fall, when the new games came out and I was playing all the hot new releases, I would get a spike in views. After these false copyright strikes hit and I deleted all those videos, I never received a spike of views like that ever again. Why? Because YouTube wasn't promoting my channel for new releases anymore. I wasn't in the algorithm. The evidence is there if you actually look at the right parts of Social Blade.
and framing this natural downward trend as an emergency.
But when this shit happens with YouTube and I have no control over it, I need your help. And if you really want to help, Patreon's the way. $1 a month.
This hardly helped his Patreon that was already being scrutinized due to his unfulfilling of initial goals, and more than just his patrons were distrusting of Phil. On Thanksgiving 2015, Phil uploaded an Ask the King episode where he answered fan questions. Fans seeking an update on John Rambo asked Phil where he stood with him.
I hope that people don't take this the wrong way. But in life, if you have something that you want to say, or you have an issue with someone, all right, say it. Bring it up. Hash it out. If something happens and you don't bring it up and you let resentment build up, that's when relationships get ruined, right?
Yeah, just
Fans
nugget of
uncertain
truth,
with Phil's
guys.
answer,
Nugget of
like with
truth.
the relaunch of Project 7, were reaching out to John Rambo on Thanksgiving to ask how he felt about Phil.
I want you to think about this. Fans were reaching out. Oh, you mean call me beggar? It's not my fans. It wasn't my fans reaching out to John Rambo. It was my detractors. Just like it was my trolls for telling John Rambo during Project 7 that I was taking credit away from him by saying things like I did.
You were taking credit away from
It was
him.
always the trolls. It was always the detractors. They were the ones wedging themselves
You
into
were
the relationship,
taking credit away from
causing
him.
resentment, causing stress and problems. And
We
harassment.
just watched a video of you saying, I wrote that saying, I wrote that saying, not Rambo. You don't like Rambo. You like me.
John into saying, I don't want to have anything to do with Phil anymore because look at all the stress that it's caused me.
2 days later, on November 28th, they, including Phil, were given their answer.
That's
Hello.
weird, Lord
Here it
DS
is. Here's the
parody.
video.
John.
Why is there such a
I'm joined
huge
by
break
Howard.
between physical and the
This
digital
was the same
version?
podcast that was used earlier in this video that talked about the production of Project 7. John Rambo decided to upload this to a separate channel and then deleted it about a day after. Then it was re-uploaded in perpetuity by channels archiving the material. And
Yeah, you have to wonder, when he uploaded it, right? He uploaded it, but maybe he felt bad that he had uploaded it after retrospect, especially because he probably saw a troll. It basically gave the trolls exactly what they wanted, and I'm not sure that's what he was going for. I think maybe he was trying to just put something out there to get his emotions out of how he felt about our relationship over the years, but it fed into what the trolls wanted. So I think he thought, oh, maybe if I delete it quick, it'll go away. But no, that's the problem with the internet. When something's out there on the internet once, it's out there forever. So
Like when you
immediately
did
it was
what on
re-uploaded
camera?
Here and here and here. Every one of my detractors re-uploaded this fucking thing, and it was just there forever.
And so in permanence was this about hour-and-a-half podcast of evidence where John Rambo details his falling out with Phil. From Phil unfollowing him on Twitter, to Phil drunkenly messaging him late at night while watching their Let's Plays, and not calling him even though John Rambo said he preferred that over text. It was all this, plus other minute issues like merchandise both parties invested in, Phil's susceptibility to trolling, his self-destructive tendencies, and other private elements that caused his falling out. At the end, John Rambo offers an olive branch by stating that a phone call could fix this. But Phil never did call. And so Phil lost touch with the last
Womp
friend he had.
womp.
Not even a month later, now closing 2015, Machinima informed
And by the way, he was not the last friend I had. That's ridiculous. It's just, that's way over dramatic. I still had friends, just not friends like John Rambo who were public friends on YouTube. That's absolutely ridiculous. And by the way, if you want the
Name your friends then. Name any of your fucking friends.
full story, okay, from both perspectives, a couple years ago, I reacted fully to that hour-and-a-half podcast that John and Howard had released over on my DSP gaming channel. You could search for it there. It's like DSP reacts to the John and Howard video, and you will find the full story of that over there, okay, in detail. I basically play the entire thing, and I react to the entirety of the thing so that, you know, you'll get my full
Yeah,
reaction.
Kino
He
Casino
actually covered
and
the whole thing.
Keemstar don't
So
fucking
obviously
count
you're
as
not gonna get
friends.
the true both sides
Neither
of the
does
story
Boogie
there.
or
You're only
Wings.
gonna get what he played there. Okay.
Phil that they would no longer honor the
They go to a
$2
different
CPM
school.
contract and would instead swap to paying him with the raw ads, which would further decrease his earning potential. Everything appeared to be working against him, and the idea that was meant to breathe life into his channel did not come. What did come was something else.
Oh, here we
Yes!
go. This is where we're gonna end it. For tonight, I said the
Oh,
incident would be a perfect place
bullshit.
to end it for tonight. So let's do the incident, and then that's probably where we will end it for tonight. Okay. So by the way, last chance if you want to support the stream. It looks like the king streak may end tonight because this is it. This is the finale of the stream for tonight, guys. Okay.
Guys, I'm just saying, this is the end.
What
The
is up,
only
everyone?
end.
Hello, hello, and welcome. Oh, the camera's on.
The camera's been on the whole time, huh?
Phil attempted to dismiss what he was doing by saying he was doing quote-unquote various stuff, like scratching his leg.
That's right.
The bombardment of memes and other media would not allow Phil to dismiss this so easily. It was already clear that he was pleasuring himself on stream and forgot to turn the camera off. Keemstar, the owner of Drama Alert, a trending drama channel at the time, quickly picked up the story. It was then that Phil came clean and admitted to what he was doing. After Drama Alert and the internet as a whole spread the news, Darkside Phil would be known, above all else, for this. A new nickname was passed around as DSP would be known as The Guy.
You didn't even know the camera was on.
Every inch of my
Are you the guy?
Because in theoretical conversation, when one introduces the subject of Darkside Phil, the other participant would respond with, "Is that the guy that pleasured himself on stream?" Phil handled
Is that
this
the guy I'm
well,
watching his
making
Twitch?
jokes about it and accepting his new identity in stride.
You're absolutely right. That's what I'm known for.
You got exposed for doing that.
I got completely exposed.
His partners and Machinima were not so enthused, and sought to take down any re-upload they could find of the event. Whatever goodwill Phil had gained through the acceptance of this recent event was quickly lost.
And I did not tell them to do that at all. They did it on their own. And I actually, they came out to me, like they wrote me, and I literally responded to them saying,
I did
"No,
nothing,
do not do
guys.
anything. Like,
It was
I'm
all
cool with it. I
Machinima.
don't need any help. Everything's fine." And apparently they went behind my back and they did shit to people who were actually like talking about it or showing it on their streams and shit. That was not me. That was Machinima. And again, if you want the receipts on that, last year on this
That's
very channel,
Machinima.
I
Oh,
did a
wait, we
whole
can't. They don't
event
exist
about it, and I
anymore.
showed all the receipts. They wrote me saying
They wrote
wanted to
me,
use acting
Reee,
for it.
me,
It had nothing to do with
guys.
me. I told them no, don't do it. I even showed that on stream. So if you want the receipts for that, you could find that already on the channel in the separate event from last year. Okay. We got a couple of shout outs. I got a $2 tip. Only Ice Infinite name one friend besides John Rambo. What do you mean? At that time? Well, first of all, I was living with my girlfriend, right? So that was a friend. I still had many friends from back home who I talked to, and like old school friends from Street Fighter and shit like that, who I still had contact with.
Bullshit.
I had the Airy Lord and Coruchado, who I did co-op with online. I had other people like Brian at the time, I think, that I was playing Street Fighter with. There were tons of people.
Brian, oh, the guy who's no longer allowed on your channel because he told you Derek's a pedophile, doesn't want to hang out with anyone that's a pedophile.
And that's just a few off the top of my head. So nice try, but you're wrong.
Guys,
I
he's
received
dead.
a
He doesn't
$10
count
tip.
anymore.
It's just a $10 tip, anonymous $10 tip. Thank you so very much. Go to the anonymous $10 tipper.
She's just a friend, guys.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Purple Pickle Yum Yum for a super chat who says, "It's the guy, you're the guy." Yes, that was the meme. That was the meme for a very long time, right? It really was. And thankfully, I reacted to it the way that I did. Because I do feel like if I didn't, that would have been the end of me. Like, that would have been the end of Darkside Phil. No one would have ever wanted to see content from him ever again. Just laugh at him. But because I handled it the way I did, I was able to persevere and continue, thankfully. Okay?
Very poorly.
I received a $35 tip from Ponage 101. He says, "You can say the king streak will continue, which it will. I want to see it as an ongoing train of positivity. It is official." With that, $35 tip from Ponage 101, which actually is our biggest tip of the night. Despite my amazing self-embarrassment and felting in this very moment that was on the screen, it is official.
Or that's
The
something our
king
friends
streak
had in
continues
elementary
at
school.
33 tonight,
Mhm.
which means it is time to
God, I'm
make it
fucking old.
rain. Thank you all so very much yet again for joining me, Anon,
Let's fuck up.
for an incredibly generous tip as well. Ponage is the top tipper, but Alpha Anon also with $26, which gets us up to 177, right? I gotta put Ponage as 35. I gotta
And
give him
yet,
credit for
somehow,
that.
he has no money.
All right. I think we should go a little further. I can't go too much later, guys, but I want to go a little further. I was hoping to get one more segment into this, so let's go.
In this single post on his forums, he insults 3 different creators who have audiences larger than his.
Because I'm a genius, right? Because I'm a complete genius. No, I'm basically, all right, at this point in my life, just to tell you a little bit about the incident. Do you want to know the truth of the incident? I'll tell you right now. The incident happened because behind the scenes, my life was falling apart. So my channel now is on a big decline of views constantly. I'm not making nearly as much money as I used to financially because of my decline already, and then the trolls hitting me with those false copyright strikes. So my money is declining massively. I'm trying to find ways to recover from it. None of them are really working. On top of all of that, all right,
My girlfriend left
relationship
me.
with my girlfriend fell apart. We basically stopped really being romantic. It was more like 2 people living as roommates rather than like a
Like
romantic
with Kat?
relationship. Hence, this is why that happened. Like, I saw my time in this
Like with
office,
Kat?
the door closed, shut off from her being somewhere else in the house as my only private time away from her, right? So that was the time for me to do things like that, to have a release. before I streamed for the day to relieve stress. Because outside, stress when I was over there because we weren't getting along. Stress when I'm in here because I'm not making enough money. My detractors are shitting on me constantly. So, that was really me, sadly, doing something incredibly stupid. All right. And obviously it never should have happened. But that was like me saying I was depressed. I was drinking very heavily.
I was a depressed alcoholic guy, so you can't blame me for jerking off in front of kids.
Life, my public life, everywhere. And that was like the lowest low for me. And when it happened, I was like, let me put it this way. Like, so many things were already going wrong. It's ironic. It's just the next thing. So fuck this. Who cares? It's not even a big deal to me. And so I could have reacted very poorly. I got some really good advice from one particular person, and that person knows who they are. And they said, even with everything going wrong in your life right now, just let it roll off your back, like water on a duck, right? Just play it off like nothing. Roll with the memes, roll with the jokes. Tweet at Drama Alert and joke about it.
She loves that DoorDash. She really does. She loves that DoorDash in her belly.
I saved my fucking career because if I had reacted poorly to that, that literally would have been the end of me on the internet. I believe that firmly. Okay. But everyone wants to laugh about it and think it's a funny moment. It is funny if you don't know the context. The context is very depressing. Like, my life was falling apart.
Your entire life's depressing, DSP.
And that was just another thing to pile on the dog pile of shit that was going poorly. So, even though I reacted well there, now here we go.
No, you didn't.
I'm upset, and I'm fucking insulting people left, right, up, down constantly. I'm constantly being goaded by people to say things about other creators and shit, and it just blew up where everyone hated me, okay?
He calls Total Biscuit's reviews overanalyzing, calls Jim Sterling's reviews that fool you into thinking they're intelligent with fancy wording, and Angry Joe's reviews bloated with skits and cosplay for kiddies to retain attention.
Angry Joe put more work into his content than DSP ever will. Skyrim or The Witcher 3 review are way more work than DSP's ever put into any of his content. Shut the fuck up, DSP.
The cherry on top was the purpose of this post was to represent his own views.
All right, do you want to know the absolute truth? Are you ready for this one, folks? Do you want to know how bad and hypocritical I was? Because I'm going to fess up to it right now. I swear to God, this is God's honest truth. I have never seen a piece of content from Total Biscuit or Jim Sterling. And I said those things. I have literally never watched a piece of content from either of those creators. I will fess up to that right now with all of you. I was just talking out of my ass, insulting people for no reason. Because I just felt
wow, DSP, you don't say.
I did see Angry Joe's stuff. And some of Angry Joe's stuff is quite good, and some isn't that good in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. But out of those 3 people that I just crapped on, I literally only saw one of them ever, and I just shat on them anyway. Again, the same pattern of me shitting on Minecraft and all this shit, it continued. The bad behavior was continuing over these years of me being this really just curmudgeon,
toxic,
salty,
being
really
toxic,
upset, jealous asshole.
Yeah, Joe, I know a lot of people may not like him anymore, but he put fucking effort into his videos, unlike DSP and a lot of others. He was at one time so big that when he was doing his Skyrim review, like, Bethesda heard about it, like, hey, do you want any props? And sent him props for his review. He was so big that game creators would reach out to him and be like, hey, you're playing a game, right? So you're going to be doing a review, right? Yeah? Well, hey, here's some props to make your video look better. DSP could have had that. DSP could have had game content creators like, hey, you're playing our game right now. Would you like some props to know, maybe like he does right now, like would you like some props put in the background while you're playing the game, and then when you review it, we can send you this or have you do that. But because the DSP is a piece of shit and so fucking toxic, never fucking happened and never fucking will.
All right. Can you imagine saying shit like that when you fucking never even saw a piece of their content? Like, why did I do that? I don't even know.
Because you're a piece of shit.
As superior. Quote, or if you actually want an honest review from an honest guy who's played video games all his life, has a huge wealth of experience/knowledge to draw upon, and doesn't have any bias towards anything, you can watch my review. Unquote.
Right.
Persisting on this path of self-destruction, the following month, Phil made an Instagram.
This I remember. I basically took a stab at PewDiePie, and he gave me the
womp,
stupidest
womp.
response, and I was like, so confused. So let's see.
Post calling PewDiePie's new book meaningless for brain-dead idiots. This produced a response from PewDiePie, who simply responded with, quote, DSP upset he can't read.
That was literally his response. DSP is upset he can't read. I mean, honestly, I don't even know why he responded, right? Like, I'm so beneath PewDiePie, I have no clue why he even responded to my incredibly mean-spirited, salty...
Because you stuck your nose in his business, so you responded. Shut the fuck up.
I would have been like, this person's beneath me. They're obviously, have a grudge. So fuck this person. They're not worth my time, right? But he responded in the weirdest response ever. I'm upset I can't read. It's not even like It's not even like oh, based, oh, he razzed him. It's like, huh? Like, who'd even say something like that? Like, I mean, literally?
You, motherfucker, you would say
okay,
that.
Sure.
Unquote. The source of Phil's frustration was his continued bleeding of views. He was jealous. And over several posts on his forums, relentlessly defended the idea that not editing his Let's Plays is what made him popular, while simultaneously furious at being disadvantaged, stating that the only barrier between him and hiring an editor is money. There was something different in Phil going on here. A panic, a lashing out.
And now, he has editors who work for free.
A misrepresentation of the truth.
Correct.
Not
He is nailing it on the head right here. He is 100% nailing the situation on the head as hard as you possibly can. That is exactly what was going on in my life. My business was falling apart, my personal life was falling apart, and I was changing for the worse.
And
nothing's changed
but to
since
try
then.
to fool himself. He was not concocting long-standing lies that would reach various people or form some campaign of misinformation or unverifiable fact. He was arguing with individual members on his forums with multi-paragraph long responses.
For no reason. Why the fuck am I doing that? Because I'm insanely insecure at this point and falling apart in my head.
As the users had grown accustomed to,
Wah,
Phil was blaming
wah.
This Is How You Done Plays for his failings, calling them slanderous. A user of his chat was even banned for stating that they enjoy their job and wouldn't prefer streaming. Phil was fighting with the very concept that the loss of viewership was his fault. It's a wonder what this fight with reality was doing to him. Out of his continued desperation, he was back on Twitch asking for more paid subscribers. Phil's
Exactly,
loss
as
of
man,
viewership
he
had him
has
left
no
with
life.
the most dedicated supporters and detractors watching his streams. The worst part for Phil was this balancing act between dismissing detractors and appeasing supporters. Quote, I seriously need to start convincing people that YouTube isn't going to support me anymore, so they need to pledge a Patreon and or sub, give bits here. Because at this rate, it's a joke. I'm on pace to make half as much in December this year as I did last year, playing 4 new games. Just got a notification my bank account is overdrawn. Luckily, my machinima payment is literally coming through today. Unquote.
And yet, at the same time, he was playing WWE Supercard. He was spending thousands on WWE Supercard.
To add salt to the wound, the infamous clip of Phil was strong in circulation even at the end of 2016.
Yep.
That face.
2017 started just as bad for Phil, as he announced that he had been renting his condo out in Connecticut, but that was no longer the case. More would be lost this year than any other.
Yep. Basically, what happened was, when I moved
Your
out to
aunt
Connecticut,
died and you got
I couldn't
pissed
sell
off
the
at her.
condo because the value of the condo had plummeted when I owned it. So I owed way more on the mortgage than it was worth. So I couldn't sell it. If I sold it, I wouldn't have enough money to pay off the mortgage. So when I moved, my aunt moved in there. Okay, now my aunt was elderly. And the thing was, she was going to live there for many years so she could be closer to my mom, because the condo was right near where my parents live. You know, my aunt was the sister of my mother. And so the arrangement was she was going to pay me a certain amount of money a month as rent, and it was going to be working like that for as long as possible. My aunt fell down, broke her hip, and was stuck on the ground for almost 24 hours. No one knew. My mom went to visit her and she had the key to the house, found her on the floor, basically near death. And so
Guys really
she had to go
fucking
into
dark.
hospice for the rest of her life, which only lasted about another year. And now out of nowhere, I'm stuck with a condo with no renter.
Guys, it's bullshit that she died. How dare she die on me? She knows she was supposed to be paying me rent.
And I contacted certain rental agencies in Connecticut, and they actually said, we refuse to rent your condo and take care of it for you, because you could pay a company to do it for you, to find a renter and handle all that shit, because your condo is in what's considered a high-risk area of Connecticut, where there's
Nope. This is bullshit. They said, hey, call us. No, I'm not calling you. Just do an email. This is literally what happened. They said, hey, call us to make sure that you know you're real, you're not someone fucking with us. And he said, no. Send an email. And since he refused to call them, it would only work with email. They said, all right, fine. Pound sand, asshole. And so he never got to rent it out again, because he refused to do a single fucking phone call. Much like with Keemstar, where, no, I'm not calling you. Send me an email. Send me an email. Oh, look, can we just spend 10 minutes talking about this? No, send me an email. Well, there goes $50,000. Who needs $50,000, guys? The asshole would have emailed me, then maybe I would have made $50,000, but he wouldn't email me.
There's so many people who rent and then don't abide by the rules or don't pay rent and squat that no one wants to touch it with a 10-foot pole. So I couldn't rent it. So literally, not only am I losing all this money, my personal life is falling apart. Now this supplemental income that I was receiving every month from my aunt is gone, and there is no prospects of me finding a way to
How dare
replace
you,
it.
aunt, die
I'm
like
fucked.
that?
And this was the beginning of my monstrous financial downfall. This was the beginning of the end for me.
And
at
yeah,
this
he was
point.
still playing
Okay.
WWE Supercard.
On February 26,
and
2017,
Dokkan
Phil
Battle and
participated with his
Estivus and
viewers
Future
in a
Flight
game of Quiplash 2.
and Hearthstone and
a game with pre-established
cartoon
questions
game.
that could be answered in any way. The goal is to win the favor of the competitors with the most compelling answer. This quickly delved into the memes both surface level and personal around Phil. For example, his seal laugh or ack ack ack.
DSP tries a KFC Gold Chicken or make more ad revenue than Phil.
The seal, that's cool.
They're both good.
None of these had any major effect as Phil played along with the roasts. It wasn't until a player shoehorned in an answer that caused chaos.
Uh-oh. I don't even know what that means. Leanna's fake engagement ring. Huh? What does that mean? I never gave her an engagement ring. So I don't know what that even means. I don't understand. Is there something in the detractor circles about a fake engagement ring? What are you talking about?
I don't even know about this. Let's see what this is about, because I don't remember this at all. A fake engagement ring? Maybe this will be where we end for the night on this topic. Let's see.
I didn't give...
How do you not know about the engagement ring? It was literally your girlfriend. What the DSP, you're going to sit there and say that you had no idea about the fake engagement ring, even though obviously this happened live on his stream. And obviously he was living with her. What the fuck? God, it's so fucking good. Let's keep going.
Give her an engagement ring? What? People are weird. What does that even mean? There's some stupid inside joke that I don't understand. What does that mean? It won, and it makes no sense whatsoever to
Poor
anyone
Panda,
trying
she
to
was an
make
Asian.
Circle jerking circle. That makes no sense at all. What does that mean? Is there actually like some kind of a joke about an engagement ring? Huh? Leanna posted it on her own Twitter. What are you talking about? It's about one of her Twitter pictures.
I really don't remember this at all. I don't remember this. Let's see what this is.
Now, he did say he was drinking heavily and he was super depressed, guys. So maybe he really doesn't remember this. Fuck, Phil, you're an alcoholic.
Still don't remember this. No, I'm not bothered by it at all, Bruno. I literally don't remember this happening at all. So I'm curious, like, what this is. Keep in mind, again, during this time, there's a lot of things going on between me and my ex, and our relationship was like on and off, falling apart. So I really don't even remember the specifics.
And you were drinking heavily, yes, we know.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm just
That's
as
hilarious
confused as
because that
past
just
Phil.
shows how mind-fucked and stupid the people are who do this shit. These detractor idiots. Because no human would know what the fuck they're talking about. It's some completely inside...
Fresh, right there in the chat, Fresh Jive TV said, bro, this is your girlfriend. You don't read her own Twitter post? No, I didn't read her Twitter at all. I never read her Twitter post.
joke they made up for themselves. That...
What? You're living with your girlfriend and you don't read her Twitter posts. You're just not acknowledging her existence at all? Like, DSP, what the fuck? That is super fucking weird. You live with her. She is your girlfriend. And you don't read her Twitter posts. He no longer owns the Connecticut condo. It got foreclosed on. Then Midfirst Bank sold it for a profit. Midfirst Bank had a good bounce on the bubble and was able to sell for a profit, unlike DSP. Womp womp. Holy shit. You didn't read her Twitter posts. That is just fucking crazy, DSP.
No one would know anything about it all. It doesn't make any sense. It makes zero fucking sense. And it ends up being the big winner at the end of the game. That's so fucking stupid.
As was revealed to Phil through a video game, Panda Lee had been wearing a fake engagement ring to her job. Dissatisfied in the relationship and the lack of progress towards marriage, this was her way of lashing out and participating in the drama on Twitter.
No, I don't know about this at all. I really don't know about this. This is the first time I know of this. I swear to God, I didn't know about this. I just must have blown it off that night and never looked into it ever again. I had no fucking clue that she was wearing a fake engagement ring to work until this very moment. Wow. I told you I was going to learn some stuff watching this. I had no fucking clue. None.
Quote,
This is
"Oh
fucking
shit,
crazy,
he knows
DSP."
about the fake engagement ring I wear to work that I wear all the time? How could he have known? Unquote. Panda Lee then posted the ring itself, captioned with Ringgate 2017. Panda Lee allegedly also took off work to experience the live drama that was unfolding. With her displeasure with Phil near its climax, it was a surprise they did not separate there. In the limelight instead was Machinima. With the
No, I don't even... That's it? That's all he's going to say? I don't remember this. No, I don't remember this. I still don't remember this. There's like a hole in my memory. How the fuck?
Fucking hell, DSP. You're drinking way too fucking much.
How do I not remember this? Did someone? I feel like Will Smith came in here and flashed my head like Men in Black. I don't remember this at all. I have, you know, again, maybe because again the relationship was falling apart. So maybe I just like really wasn't aware of it. Because again, we weren't spending all our time together and everything. We weren't. She was out hanging out with other friends and shit, and she was barely in the house for a long time. You know, so maybe that's when it was happening or something. That's probably what it was. I told you we were living together, but we were essentially roommates. Like we weren't actually like
just like Cat
anymore for almost a year during the end.
Drink with your family, drink with your friends, drink till you're fat, stomach distends. Beer is liquid bread, it's good for you. He likes to drink till he spews. Ew! Who cares if he gets fat? He'll drink to that. Holy fuck, DSP. Alcohol is a hell of a drug.
End of that time period. So very much, maybe she was doing it. I just had no clue. I wasn't aware of any of it. I was basically fooling the internet. I didn't tell anyone that this was happening. So everyone was under the impression that we're all still close and we're, you know what I mean? But that we weren't. So basically, this all happened behind my back and I had no clue and I never ever understood it. That's what I mean. I wasn't reading her Twitter at all. So I don't know anything about this. This 100% has blindsided me. Holy shit. By the way.
God damn, you're an alcoholic.
A $2 tip. Let's see here. Before the Goodyear blimp says my tips are off, it actually should be $10 more. So it should be $187. Okay. And this is a $2 tip. All right, thank you for that. Ooh, excuse me.
Hard to do math when you're that drunk, am I right?
Why is Pandalee's name a warning by Nightbot? Because people would come in here, my detractors, and would say it all the time to harass me, basically. Because they're idiots. So that's why. Just like after tonight, after we're done with this documentary, no one's going to need to bring her up again. You know what I mean? It was just detractors would come in here with bots and shit with her name. So, okay.
Once again,
the super chat. I
refusing to say her name.
My exclusive release on stream, how exciting it was. Okay. Should we do? All right. Should we do one more segment? How long is this segment? I'd like to do one more. It's only 4. Okay, let's do it. Let's do this quickly. This will be where we end. And then I guess tomorrow we'll pick up with the breakup. Okay? All right, let's do it. Let's do this final segment about Machinima and Poltavi.
Apocalypse in full swing, earnings down, and the company model a complete failure, they had less support to answer creators who were feeling the brunt of the loss of ad revenue. Contacts meant for dire situations.
Oh, no.
That's when on February 28th, a Machinima employee reached out to Phil and gave...
I used the wrong keyboard and it fast forward. Let's do this again. I screwed up. Sorry about that.
Trying to hide something, huh, DSP?
In the limelight instead was Machinima. With the apocalypse in full swing, earnings down, and the company model a complete failure, they had less support to answer creators who were feeling the brunt of the loss of ad revenue. Phil being
she wanted to sax with him. He's the one who refused. He's the one that literally go on 10-minute rants about how hard it was to set up a DVD player to the TV at the hotel room, while she's literally on the bed on her hands and he's saying, fuck me.
These creators reached out, but Machinima was slow to answer, and so he was emailing not just former employees that had been fired without his knowledge, but emergency contacts meant for dire situations. That's when on February 20...
That's not true at all. I only emailed 2 people. One person used to be a contact who I worked with at Machinima who had offered me free like free games and stuff as promotions with Machinima, and the other person was supposed to be my direct line of contact for Machinima on anything. It was not an emergency contact only for emergencies. Like I could talk to that guy about anything. Neither of those people had worked for Machinima anymore. They were laid off.
28, a Machinima employee reached out to Phil and gave him the basic advice to increase his audience retention and kindly to not message other departments. Phil's full, alleged response was locked in on Machinima's request to not message other departments. Phil used his history with the company as a reason to act in the way he pleases and demands better treatment. If he is not treated better, he states he is better off not working with them.
That's right.
Machinima, more than happy to oblige, released Phil from the contract. After all, per their contract, they were only losing money with Phil because he was earning 100% of the ad revenue. Phil was relating this moment to when he got fired from his office job in 2010. As seen per Fred Fox capturing of Phil's Twitch chats, Phil was acting as if he was blindsided by his own requests, stating, quote, "There is no 2 or 1 month notice. That is complete BS, lol, but this situation is pretty unique," unquote.
DSP, it's not a regular job. It's not an office job. Yes, they did not give you a 2-month warning. Sorry.
In a video released shortly after, Phil dissects his separation of Machinima, then dissects it again and again and again, then loses his train of thought, thanks his followers, asks for donations, and again restates what has been overtly established, yet never provides a satisfactory answer. That's why his video is nearly 2 hours long to explain that the contract with Machinima has been terminated. And as per the description, quote, "I cannot give all the details, but in this video I explain what's going on," unquote. This is all beyond minutia, that besides Phil's uncreditableness or dishonest nature is why few would ever care for his side of the events. His long-windedness buries his own reasoning or retelling of events even further than it...
This is cool. This is cool. The picture right here, it's like animation and stuff. That's supposed to be like my room. That's a really cool animation.
Notice that he's talking about the
Several uploads
animation,
a
not
day
the
ago.
content of the
For
video.
any controversial moment, Phil is certain to extend what should be a clear and concise response into a multi-page long essay or hour-long video. It took about 10 days or so for Phil's channel to be fully released. And then, it took about an additional week for him to fight various content ID claims himself, as would normally be the responsibility of Machinima. Phil was quick
I love that he completely ignores the content of the videos. Just, oh guys, look at the cool animation.
to find a different multi-channel network to partner with. This time it was Curse. Unlike Machinima, who was trying to inflate the numbers, Curse did not give
Mojo
Phil a
Jojo, how you
100%
doing,
cut
dude?
of ad revenue, nor was he in a managed partnership. This means that they would not be responsible for his 30 or so content ID claims that he was getting a day on his 40,000 uploaded videos. The ongoing developments of 2017 were scarcely predictable. In April, Phil submitted to Panellee's request, and per her Instagram post, were now engaged. The detractors' persistent monitoring allowed them to find the ring almost immediately. It was one that Panellee personally liked on her Blackcurrant account, which is the name of her soap-making business. Detractors, tracing this back to Amazon, found that Phil had spent on the lower end for this ring, a testament to his detractors' obsession and/or Phil's dwindling finances. By May, Phil had concluded a 2-month-long talk with a different network that introduced themselves as Poltavi. They offered Phil a cut similar to Curse and a managed partnership. And while he found Poltavi unprofessional in their exchanges, he found their offer to be too enticing to give up, and severed his partnership with Curse, though Phil had made a great mistake.
This is all untrue. Well, it's half true. Okay.
Half true, a
Poltavi's
nugget of
scam.
truth.
They don't exist. They were a different company entirely. They had lied about who they were. But I had talked to Curse about this, and I said, I like being with you guys, but I mean, you have to understand this company's like promising me the world. I'd like to experiment with them, but I'm not going to give them full control of my channels. I'm only going to give them control of one of my 3 channels, or excuse me, one of my 2 channels. No, it was 3 at the time. I had 3 channels at the time. That's right. I said, I'm going to give them only control of one. I'm going to see if they live up to their promise of making it a managed partnership. If they do, then I'm going to go fully with all 3 channels. If not, I'd like to really go back to you guys right away. And Curse 100% understood what I was saying and said, yeah, if you can get a managed partnership with someone else, we understand why you would want that. Go with it. And if it doesn't work out, come back to us. Okay, so
Bullshit. Bully, bullshit. There's no way they were, oh yeah, sure, go ahead, leave us high and dry. Go, yeah, go tell us to pound sand, DSP. That totally, oh yeah, we totally agree with that. Oh yeah, just fuck us. There's no way they said that, DSP.
had this agreement with Curse behind the scenes. I never fully trusted Poltavi at all. I never gave them access to all of my channels at all because I did think that they were over-promising a lot of shit, and I wanted to test the waters and see if it was gonna work.
Poltavi's unprofessional nature was foreboding, and they quickly turned around and disregarded the partnered element. With all this happening in the background, the sons of Kojima found out through Phil's channel's source page that he had a new partnership. Not with Curse or even Poltavi as Phil understood it. He was partnered with an entirely new network known as Leveria Media, and as revealed, was using Poltavi as a front to disguise their own network and shady practices. The CEO was found to be just a student at a university. Phil, understanding his mistake, sought to leave his new network. The sons of Kojima allegedly even got the CEO of Leveria Media on for one of their podcasts. This was
exactly.
a
Why would
set of events for
Curse
everyone
help
involved.
someone that's
While
going to
all
hurt
this was
them
going
in
on,
return?
Phil
Like,
was
fuck
in the
that
process
noise.
of purchasing a new car. For the past 6 years, he had been leasing a BMW. In the last 3 years, he had only driven the BMW 6,000 miles, and so never changed the oil.
Yeah, BMW. That's true. That's absolutely true. I never changed the oil on the car. What he's not saying here is that I didn't want the BMW for 8 years. I had a lease in Connecticut, and I had renewed the lease, and I was only like a year.
They saw a sucker and decided to take him for everything they could.
Into this next lease. And when I moved, they basically said, if you don't like take the car with you, you have to pay the remainder of your fucking lease right now because you signed a lease. You can't get out of it. So I kept the car, and they actually
Yes, you
shipped
signed a
BMW
contract.
all the
How
way
dare
across
you.
The car or across the country. When I moved from Connecticut to Washington, I was stuck with a BMW, and I couldn't afford it really. It was expensive, and I was stuck with this lease for like another 3 years. I was rejoicing when the lease finally expired in 2017, and I could go get a less expensive car. So BMW really kind of screwed me in that regard and stuck me with this contract that I didn't want.
They
It was
stuck
supposed
me
to
with
get
a
maintenance
contract
for
that I
free,
signed,
no matter
guys. It's
what. That's part
bullshit.
of the deal. That's why the car is so expensive, and they never contacted us to get it changed.
Phil's audience long understood he was financially illiterate, but hadn't been yet exposed to how illiterate he was with cars or the contracts related to them. That's why whenever other content creators discover both, it makes for an interesting watch.
In 3 years, we only drove the car 6,000 miles. So if that gives you any idea.
Hey, what? He leased a car for $400 or $500 a month, and he's only drove it 6,000 miles in 3 years?
Yes.
I barely drove at all. Cherry Dude's like, oh, you could have engine damage. No, Cherry Dude, that's not how it works. BMW has a diagnosis computer inside of the car that tells you when things go wrong.
Fuck that. Even my Kia has that. My old Kia had that. What they have, though, is a machine that they can plug into your car, and it hooks up to the computer, and it's like, all right, you have a misfire on this piston. That's all it does. But they had to hook up the computer to it, or the scanner. My friend's Snap-on dealer. Guess what he sells? Those scanners. Whenever I have an issue, guess what I can do? I can go to his house and be like, hey, plug your scanner in. Plug. And yeah, you got a misfire on this cylinder. Ta-da! Done. So he's saved me so much fucking money being able to do that shit for me. I say, yeah, it's like, it has a computer, I'll tell them. I was like, yes, but they had to plug a scanner into it. And he's got the cheaper ones. Actually, it's pretty funny. He's like, he has the cheaper ones for like $3,000, but they can't be updated. So it's like, all right, well, as long as you decide to quit being a mechanic before the new models come out, you're good. And he has like the $6,000 or $7,000, even $8,000 scanners. But hey, when the 2025s come out, I give you a free update, and ta-da, you're good for the 2025 models. Oh, you still got it in 2026? Well, guess what? You can get a upgrade or whatever update to your scanner, so you're good for the 2026 models. As opposed to buying a $3,000 scanner, then, well, fuck, now we got 2025s coming in. This scanner's no good. He makes a lot of fucking money off those scanners.
So if there were engineers...
Oh my god! Hey, this guy is a living meme! No, there is. It's not. BMW has diagnosed his computer in the car, okay?
And they never... it does. BMW does have a diagnosis computer in the car. That tells you when things are wrong. That's completely true. They never contacted us to get it changed.
Why would they contact you to change your oil?
Because under the terms of the lease, BMW is responsible for all maintenance on their cars, and they are supposed to contact you when you have the time limit expire to change the oil. But because I moved the car from Connecticut to Washington, they shirked all responsibility and...
No, DSP. In fact, I've set up my oil change and tire rotation for next Friday. You know why? Because it's fucking due. Kia didn't have to call me. Kia didn't have to email me. Kia didn't have to do a single fucking thing. I just know, hey, it's about that time to get it done.
pretended like they didn't have to do anything. I called, and the place out here was like, we don't service your car. That's a Connecticut car. You only get that service in Connecticut. I was like, what?
Oh, shit.
BMW literally fucked me, okay?
Destiny, the person reacting to Phil's explanation, calls Phil the salesman's stream. Wanting to help Phil out, Destiny jumped onto Phil's stream and began typing in his chat, attempting to provide financial advice. Phil, of course, ignored this, and on his forums he posted, quote, Destiny, a Twitch streamer who I never even heard of before 2 weeks ago, came into my chat and practically begged me to stop what I'm doing and talk with him. What the fuck can this guy tell me about buying cars that I don't already know? This guy probably didn't know I went to school for finance.
That's great.
It absolutely
no, that's
did
really great.
you no good.
That's hilarious. No, he didn't jump into the chat, all right, during my stream and be like, hey, you know, you're talking about cars and I want to help you out. No, I was playing a video game. I was doing a video game stream. I remember it was that game Prey. And I was not talking about cars, nothing. He comes into my chat and he's trying to derail my entire stream. Hey, can you drop everything you're doing right now with your business to talk to me about buying a new car? No. If you had contacted me and said, hey, Phil, would you like to set up a stream we could do together to talk about cars? Maybe I would have said yes. Maybe I would have said no. He literally wedged himself into my stream. Imagine if right now Destiny came into the chat and said, Phil, I know you're reacting to your own documentary, but I really want to talk to you about this great financing on dishwashers right now. Okay? Do you want to know what I would do? I would ban him. Just like I did then. I would say, what the fuck are you doing? Get the fuck out of my chat, and I would ban him. Okay?
Of course you would, because you're a piece of shit. Yeah, but they don't. Like, they're not calling you to set up appointments. Why the fuck would they do that? And there's no way they're going to go, oh, yes, it's a BMW that you bought and have a contract with, and you signed a contract, and we're going to honor that contract, but we're not going to honor that contract. Like, why wouldn't they honor the contract? Like, you had to honor it. You're going to really think that they're not going to honor it? Dude, what the fuck are you talking about?
That's all that happened. All right?
Unquote.
Exactly, Lord D's
Phil,
Parody. It
still
doesn't
in
matter
mindset
where
of
you're
discussing
at.
the drama around the networks, was talking about it on stream.
I trusted YouTube system to work properly, okay? Here's what happened.
Fuck
So,
beepers.
That was Monday.
I hated those.
Okay. I think, uh-oh. Hold on one second, everybody. I'll be right back.
It's the panic attack.
Folks, I've got a family emergency. It came...
Oh, is this... Okay. This is, I think, where I wanted to end it. This is the next topic, correct? Yes, this is the breakup. So, all right, this is where we'll end it for tonight. Perfect. Now we know where to end it, at the breakup. This is where we'll pick it up tomorrow. This is actually exactly the time I wanted to end it at tonight. So that's good that we did that. And we do this tomorrow. We do the breakup, the continued downfall, new relationship, Phil is a meme, taxes, no one likes him, bankruptcy, WWE champions. Hopefully we can get through all that tomorrow. And then the goal would be for the final stream to be the last stuff over here, okay? We'll have to see. But there you go. All right, everyone. So as I went late tonight because I wanted to get to the point I wanted to get to. We literally wasted so much time on that incredibly stupid PC story. I can't believe we wasted so much time on it because it's so
You wasted that much
to
time.
anything.
Pause
But here we
count,
are. All right.
222.
I want to say again, thank you all for everyone who was here live. It was a great audience. Thanks to those who supported the stream. 33 straight streams crushing it, right? Thank you. Really awesome. And we're halfway through. So we're in, now we can actually officially say tomorrow, we're heading downhill. We're in the home stretch, okay? And I will leave this as an archive
Definitely heading
stream. For
downhill.
those watching this on demand, I hope you enjoyed it. You know, and thank you everyone. Same time, same place tomorrow, and we continue on. All right, everybody? I got to get out of here. So thanks so much for a great night. You were a great audience. Tomorrow we do it all again. Have a good night, everyone. Peace out, and see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
I know he's going to continue a little bit, duh. Oh, he's not. All right, never mind. He's out. Oh, duh, because he hit the goal, so he's out. Quick. Exactly. It's WWE Champions time. I love it. Fucking hell. God, I can't wait to do this again tomorrow. I have to get out of work and get out of the gym, get home to get a shower and all that, make something to eat. I'll be hopping on here again and covering whatever bullshit he says tonight. I'll do the same thing again on Friday. God. This is going to be a good week for me. Yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with me. Holy shit, I have 35 watching right now. I had a peak of like 56. That's fucking awesome. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit that like button. And like DSP, I ain't gonna private anything. I ain't gonna be chopping this up. This is all staying on live on my channel. Fuck, this has been a good day. 8 hours of work. I had to pick my mom's groceries on the way home from Walmart. Get him up to her house, hang out with her for a bit, see Benji and play with him and call him a good kitty and how cute he is and how fluffy he is. And get home and do this. So that, I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you for watching. As always, like, subscribe, comment down below, and have one hell of a day and see you tomorrow. Ooh, I can hear my neighbor playing music. Maybe I'll go hang out with him for a little bit before I go to bed. Because unlike DSP, I actually get along with my neighbors. As they live in the middle of nowhere, he can sit out there and listen to music while drinking, much as he wants while having a bonfire. Yeah, I think I'm going to stop this. I'm going to head over there and see what he's up to. See you guys. In 15 seconds, so I can stop at 3:21 exactly. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,